Anyway, we're back talking about season 4.
Let's go.
Although we had a little bit of a break in between, but
The last season.
The last season
of arguably one of the best games of all time.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
I will preface this by saying that this was actually the first one you played.
Yeah, it was actually.
Okay,
yeah.
that's my bad, because when
Has it really taken us this long to mention that?
it has. Well, I think
Shit.
mentioning it would have probably maybe tainted the other videos, but
Yeah, maybe.
well, because I was showing you, I was gonna show you them, and I was like, oh, which one would you like the most? And I was thinking in my head, I didn't want to play, because I've played season 1 episode 1 so many times. I was
yeah.
like, I don't want to go through that again, and I'm worried that he'll get bored of it and he just won't want to.
Well, also, you didn't preface it by telling me that you were thinking about making me play a Walking Dead game. You were just... We were looking for a game to play, and you knew I liked sort of teen survival.
Well, I knew you like
guess.
decision games, so I was
Decision-based
like,
games.
oh, okay. And I just thought that you'd be turned off by like the first ones,
Yeah, and-
like graphics and shit. So
yeah,
I was like,
you chose
okay.
this one. I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
You
what it
had
was.
no context
I
behind anything.
Because the game is the reason I watched the show and everything, right? So I went into it completely blind. I'd obviously heard of The Walking Dead, but never seen anything from it, whether it be the comics, whether it be the show, whether it be the game. And so this was like my doorway into it, you know?
I fucking regret.
Season 4. But I don't, it's fine. Because like, I've subsequently gone back and played it in chronological order. But I think it was a good decision of you. No, I think it is. I think it was. I think probably some people wouldn't think that, but
No, I'm gonna get.
I'm
fucking
happy with the
grilled.
way it went out.
Yeah.
I'm happy with the way it turned out because I still love the game, and it hasn't. If anything, you know, you're probably surprised by how much I like it than you had even imagined. So,
That's fair. Yeah. Also, before we do go into episodes, I do want to say again another preface that this was like one of the last games Telltale ever made.
Oh, it was the last one they made, no?
I want to say it was the last one they released before they
Because they hadn't even
revived.
finished the game by the time they went bust.
Yeah, because they had to like another studio or like the publisher had to like finish the game, and this was like at the tail end of fucking Telltale's like release 1,000 games in a year. So like I'm pretty sure everyone was exhausted.
Yeah, towards this point they were just
because they had been like working non-stop since 2012, since the first game came out, like endlessly. And it's like, I mean, the fact that this game even came out is remarkable.
And the fact it was finished was great. I mean, it would have been awful for people to watch, like, and especially the people like you who had played it from the very beginning. It would have been so upsetting to watch your favorite game end, not even with a conclusive ending.
Yeah.
Like, just halfway through a season, which you knew was going to be the last season, but you would have had no closure. That would have sucked so bad. And honestly, I'm so surprised at how well it turned out, because even though you would imagine this one would have been the most rushed, because there would have been an added pressure in the studio to get it out, to get it finished, I actually felt like playing it was the most relaxed experience of any of the other seasons. It almost felt like they hadn't rushed it at all.
Well, I mean,
That's how it felt.
I mean, I think sometimes you can feel like the time constraint things. Like at certain points, you kind of feel like, oh, okay, maybe they wanted to do something different, and like they couldn't. Mostly with like the amount of time they spend at the school.
Yeah, well, you got to
like,
remember
that isn't necessarily a bad thing.
I guess that's something very different this season, is the fact that
you're
a
mostly
lot of it,
in one
everything
location.
revolves around the school. But I don't mind that, honestly, because we're so used to these other games being constantly on the move, new locations. And I think the school is a great... If it was a bad location, then I'd be upset about it, being there so often and so frequently. But I like it. And I think it only adds to character development and getting to know everyone and where you are and whatever. Alright, should we go into episode 1 then?
To an expert, yeah.
Okay.
You first.
Me first?
Yeah.
Alright, so...
I've been doing it for 3 bloody seasons, mate. I had to do it... Well, I didn't do it with season 3.
Yeah. I mean, so season 3 leaves you off on a kind of ambiguous ending, where you kind of have the idea of, okay, Clem's going to go after AJ.
And that's what you would expect season 4 would be about, is her getting to get to AJ.
Yeah, yeah.
But like by the time you cut into it, they're already together.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure the very first scene is you in the car,
yeah,
with AJ. And you kind of, you just know that she's gotten him.
You can figure it out.
They leave that up to your sort of imagination. It does get... Later on in the game, they do give you flashbacks and hints as to what went down, and I think it's called Macaro Ranch. Yeah. Is that right? But yeah, you start off in the car with Clem and AJ. I'm pretty sure AJ's hungry. They already give you straight off the bat this like the great chemistry between the two characters, the dialogue choices and stuff.
Well, I mean, it was good enough for it to engage you with as someone who had
straight
no
off the bat.
context.
I didn't even
for the
know
prior
who
games.
these guys were.
You were just like, why the fuck are you
I was
showing
just
me
like,
this game?
I just kind of like the whole thing with like two kids in the apocalypse. One of them's like obviously the motherly figure, but she's like what, 17 or something?
17, 18 or something like that.
Yeah, so yeah. And I think you basically, AJ's hungry, you offer him some chips, it's not enough or something, and then you make the decision to stop at the train station because just in hopes of finding anything, because you get the idea they've been on the road for a while. And yeah, and then you get out, you pick up your crowbar, and this is like this is the first scene where they give you where it's kind of free world view, do your own thing.
Well, this whole
you get to explore the train station.
Well, this whole section is like tutorial, right? Because they're teaching you like, oh, you can pick this stuff up, you can like do this kind of thing.
Yeah, they give you like 1 or 2 walkers to fight.
And they introduced that thing with the because you go up to the bell and it has like an orange symbol around like where it would be for the interact button. There's an orange symbol, and it says, oh, there will be a consequence for this decision.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that doesn't play. That ends up not playing into the season that much.
No, yeah, I actually forgot about it until you mentioned
exactly,
it. To be honest,
and it shows up occasionally, but doesn't really play into it that much.
Yeah, I think that was something they were probably trying to incorporate more, but
it drops off by like the second half when which is fair because they were literally bankrupt.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah,
but they start as they mean to go on with they give you the idea that this game is going to be slower paced. You get to explore the train station a bit. I mean, I think you can find 1 or 2 collectibles around the thing.
You do the
but
Jane.
I do love
I'm pretty
that.
sure you do the Jane kick stab thing.
Yeah, they give you the stun kill option, and I do love the whole. Like, I know I kind of talked bad against it in season 1 with the free world stuff where you just get around, do your own thing, but I think they do it better in this season. And once you've explored the outside of it, found a few collectibles, not knowing what they are yet, pretty much. You go into the train station. Oh no! Before you go in, you have a scene with AJ, and this is the first.
Swing.
Yeah. Oh, and that. Yeah. And you have the first sort of dialogue option.
Oh, are you referring to the elderly couple?
No. It's even.
Christ, what are you talking about?
Even before you get in, you have your first sort of. This is why I love, because like it's so good, man. You have your first scene with AJ where it's basically. How have you taught AJ? Because I think it's, what do we do when we go to a new place?
Oh, you do.
Do we look through the windows? That's one of them. Do we find a way out once we're in there immediately? Something like that. And I just love that because it shows you that Clem really cares about AJ. She's been making sure he's survival ready, like she is, teaching him everything she knows, the fundamentals, and it makes you, it gives you an understanding of why these two are by themselves and how they've been able to survive this long by themselves, because they're so adept at dealing with it.
His dialogue will change, especially around it. Well, not just with like the swearing thing that they did in season 1, but like I'm pretty sure he will go to a door, or he will mention doors.
But I think he like
if you say look for a door.
Yeah, like he repeats your instructions back to him at points throughout the thing, which is just a nice small touch, like a small detail they didn't have to add.
Personalization.
Yeah, a small detail that they didn't have to add, but they did, and they didn't have enough of it in season 3, for example. But it's just one of those small things where you're reminded that your choices matter, because I know a lot of people don't think your choices matter in Telltale games, and that's like a big thing. Like overall people are upset about, but I think that in season 4 they really do matter, and they make sure you know that. So after that, you go in, you have the decision with the after being able to explore the train station room for a little bit, and you basically get the idea that these guys are pretty well off, because you find their table with like loads of food, loads of plates that have clearly been eaten off, and then you see the couple in the chairs.
Well, that's the first moral dilemma, and it kind of it shapes his view of walkers, I guess.
It shapes his view of
his
walkers?
first beginning view, because you have like because they wrote a note saying we want to be left as walkers, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of interpret that as, that's what they wanted as people, so we should leave it like that, or they're monsters now. It's not the same.
Yeah. It's like,
and that eventually comes kind of full circle with James, because that's kind of like a reoccurring theme here.
Kind of is,
about, like,
how
walkers.
important is a human's
about life
before
and
they
consciousness,
die.
or something like that.
And you're basically teaching AJ, basically about just humanity in general, and whether to respect people's wishes when they're still alive, or if in this world of survival that doesn't matter, and the things that we appreciate today, moralistic things, don't matter. in the apocalypse.
And I made him kill that old couple with his bare hands.
I think a lot of people did. I
Not
think that was
bad.
the majority decision, is to kill them, because you see a hole in the you see a hole to get through, and basically the thing is, do you let AJ take the risk of going through it because he can fit through
Season 2-esque with the Civil War museum.
Yeah,
basically
true.
thing.
or do you
With
kill
the
the
Civil
couple?
War, there was something there.
Yeah,
Also, this
yeah,
one
there
was just
wasn't
like,
this
send
time,
him through.
thankfully.
In fairness, with that decision, right, I feel like if there was a zombie in there, it would be like standing up, or if it would be crawling, you'd hear it go like.
Yeah, true, but I guess they don't know if there's any more back rooms in there or something.
Or
I don't know.
You just stick your head in and go, oh, something there, AJ. I guess we'll take the key.
I think it's understandable enough for them to make a decision.
Well, I get
out of it.
I get the
Yeah,
dilemma.
that even just reading the note is just like, I love getting put in the scene of, okay, yeah, we're in the apocalypse here, the atmosphere and stuff. I like it when they give small things like that. I think I actually chose to let AJ take the risk, which in hindsight I wish I didn't. But you gotta remember, this was like the first decision I made in the entire game, pretty much.
No, true. Well, in fairness, I did it just because I was like,
I thought you killed
Probably.
the couple, no?
I didn't kill the couple, no.
Oh, I thought you said you did. Oh.
No, I would never kill that couple.
Oh, okay.
Or because I guess I just kind of thought if there was a zombie in there, I probably would have heard it.
Yeah.
And I mean, AJ can fucking take care of
I mean,
himself.
can you imagine if they did something to AJ that early
Or
on?
they kill AJ, and it's like, oh fuck, what's the rest of the
It's a
game?
determinate decision. But yeah, so you get in there, you find, I think you go down to this like attic room, and you find a shit ton of food,
Well, in
like
there.
canned food, jarred food. Just when you get your hopes up, the thing is rigged. Freaking grenade rolls into shot. You have to close it real quick.
The old
You
people
jump on
really
AJ.
do that.
This is what I was thinking of, yeah. That is fucked up.
They're like, leave us be.
Please
Just
leave
leave
us
left us be, then that would be like, if they hadn't killed you at that point.
That is actually a callously selfish thing to do.
Unless it was like a different group of people who did that.
Yeah, so then you're kind of like, okay, that's shit.
Yeah, that's the exact words.
That
Well, actually,
sucks.
that's a little
Oh, that
shit.
sucks. And obviously, a grenade is a pretty loud noise. So that's going to draw
You figure that
the
one out.
attention of walkers. And
Well, that's kind of when you get fully involved in the combat aspect.
Yeah.
Which I do think is kind of weak. And I do, a part of me does kind of prefer the more simple, like, button mashy kind of, like, just kind of ducking out of the way or, like, pressing buttons at the right time. And you still have stuff like that. But I don't know, to play it, it isn't as, to, like, just kick them in the shin, stab them in the head, move around.
Well, would that
kick them
not
in the
be?
shin.
Would that
It's
not
kind
be,
of basic.
Would that not be like a critique of yours for all the seasons then?
Well, no, but those sections are only part of Season 4.
What, stun and kill?
The stun and kill ones. Yeah, when you move around and, like, there's a bunch of zombies coming towards you and you have to move and then you got...
Yes. There's some scenes in season 2 though.
No, there aren't.
Yeah, when Jane teaches you in episode 4 and 5.
Yeah, but it's not like
that.
press...
I guess it's not as well. It's not the free world view, is it?
Yeah, I'm not complaining like the idea of the stun and kill because like I'm just
You
saying
think they overuse it?
I prefer the more scripted version of like the way of doing it
think
rather
there
than
is,
like walking around this little arena that you can't walk around that much and then you have to kick, stab.
I think
like 50 times.
I think I'm fine with it. I just wish that Clem could move faster.
Yeah,
Because she moves so like
or expand
tediously slow.
Or if you're gonna do it, maybe just give you more options or just go back to the old way of doing
Apart from the stun kill stuff though, because I think you have to do that while you're escaping the train station. But then you get this really cool tension building scene when you try and get in the car and take off.
See,
with the
those
keys.
are the sections I like a little bit more.
Yeah, it's dramatic, music's going off, and then you have the button mashing.
You have to like aim the reticle. At
Yeah,
the thing,
into
like,
the circle.
Pull out the car key.
Yeah.
And it is a little absurd. Like
No, I
but-
think that scene's great though.
I'm saying it's a good scene, but like the way she's like pulling out a car key and stabbing someone in the eye with a car key, it's a little like John Wicky, like actiony, but like it's good.
Either way, I do like the whole.
No, that's a
tension
great
stuff.
sequence.
Yeah, the suspense and stuff, and then you pull off, and then eventually you crash into a tree. Once you crash into it, they basically black out, and you see a mysterious figure when the cars flip, taking AJ away. You can't really do anything about it because
Kenny.
Clem backs out again. Maybe it's Kenny. Maybe he's back to be in every season.
Anyways, maybe he picked you up and then Marlon took the credit.
After that, you wake up in the familiar setting you find yourself with for the rest of the season, in the school, in the room.
Sure, you're like fucking shackled up and shit.
Yeah, well, you're strapped to the thing in case you turn, and you make your way out after finding a screwdriver and stuff.
Well, don't you meet 10? You meet 10 for the first time.
Yeah, like when you leave, you
With a
see
shank.
10 come around the corner, and then you hide behind a like a bookshelf, I think it is, and you see 10 come around the corner. First time you see him, he's a pretty cool character to look
Worst
at
character
visually.
in this season.
Oh, a lot of people don't like 10. And yeah, you get to see his like character for the first time. He's a really cool looking character.
With the burns.
With the burns on one side of the face.
Why didn't we get an explanation for that? I need an entire season just about the burns.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be the fact that like you see part of the school being burnt.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure one half of the school is just black.
Yeah, I mean that could relate to him being burnt.
Potentially.
Or he could have been burnt in an entirely separate adventure, which
Either,
deserves its own comic book series.
Either way, we want to know.
The 10 Adventures. The Adventures of 10.
That could be the side hustle series.
If only.
Yeah.
Nobody would
I would play it.
We'd play it.
Because I like 10.
Well, half of the people who played the season 4 would be like, fuck 10, I don't care how he got burned.
Yeah,
I'm just glad he's dead.
People don't like him. I mean, I was going to say they have a place to stand with that, but
no, they don't.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Well, unless if anyone is even watching this,
unless you're,
you can let us know.
Completely
unreasonable. You can let us know in the comments, because I would actually be intrigued.
Make sure to comment and subscribe and hit that bell icon for more. I'm being serious. I'm trying to...
For more Walking Dead related
For more Walking Dead content.
Walking Dead.
See you in the next video.
Okay. Back to the story.
Well, you get Marlon comes out with the bow.
Eventually, you're cool with him. Well, you kind of just... Yeah, you both truce. You both drop your weapon. And, yeah, it's the first time you meet Marlon. Quite a controversial character.
Is he controversial?
Not controversial as in people don't like him, but just controversial within his character is. Because you've got this whole thing of... Is he a nice guy? Is he?
I'm just a nice guy.
Is he a nice guy? Is there something going on behind the scenes? And I think you even like think that before you get the blatant hints,
confirmation
with like Brody and stuff.
Oh yeah, because you'd naturally be suspicious of somebody who just picks you up
plus
and
he's
says,
like,
oh well, we're nice now, we're cool.
Yeah, and he's just, and I guess he's the leader.
He's creepy. He looks creepy.
Well, he's just kind of
like his rat face with
sort
his
of
nasty mullet.
He's mysterious. He doesn't open up a lot about his personal life like a lot of the other characters do. Throughout albeit he doesn't make it past the first episode, but a lot of the other characters at school you get to know at least a bit about their background. But his is so mysterious,
just like Omar.
His is so like yeah, just like, oh yeah, Omar, of course.
He's the worst character in any video game ever fucking made. Anyway,
he's better than Gabe.
Yeah,
I like him more than Gabe. I'd rather Omar was in season 5 than Gabe.
Yeah, that's like a plank of wood versus a piece of shit, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like, yeah. Well.
Anyway,
save that for the tier list.
Well, that's what you get. Willie comes up to you, doesn't he? And he like stares at you weird.
Yeah, because they haven't seen anyone. They haven't seen anyone like external from their group.
Even though it's like Clementine doesn't look like a weird freak. She just looks like
no, but I think it's just meant to just Willie's weird.
Or he's probably got a crush.
Willie's a strange. Yeah, probably.
I mean, yeah.
You can be a real dick to him though.
Yeah, you can be like, what the fuck is your problem?
What the hell are you looking at?
You're such a fucking asshole.
But I just put hello there.
Season 2 Clem coming back in full force. But then you go into you go inside, and then that's when you meet Ruby, because she comes up to you and she's like, "You little fucker bit me."
You gotta follow the music.
Yeah.
From this guy called Lewis, who you don't know yet.
Yeah. Just follow the music. Yeah. Lewis is just kind of
little motherfucker.
I fucking hated her when she said that. I was like, "Don't you fucking talk about my kid."
I mean, he did freaking bite her though. But then again, what do you expect? Yeah, what do you expect? You gotta
you took away his mum from him, and he's scared. You came up to him like,
you gotta have a bit of sympathy. You gotta have a bit of sympathy for a kid who's clearly, not with people he knows.
Yeah.
Either way, you walk in. Yeah, Lewis is there chilling. The introduction of one of the best characters in The Walking Dead all the seasons. In my opinion. You not like Lewis?
No, I like him.
You like him?
Yeah.
I think he's great. Like he's a funny character. He's an extroverted character.
Sometimes he's funny. Other times I'm like...
And this is Charles.
I was thinking exactly of that, and I was like, that is dog shit.
I love that. No, because it fits in with him. He's the sort of dad jokey, not actually funny guy.
Well, he seems like he'd be like on Tumblr, like making jokes like that, like fashion, and being like, "Yo, this is Charles. I'm just so quirky." Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Except the Clementine song, I fucking hate that when he starts singing.
Oh my darling.
I wanted to fucking kill myself.
Why? I didn't even. When that came on, I didn't say anything. I just let him continue.
Well, he's like.
I wanted to hear that.
He's like a good singer, but I don't want to hear him going like, "Oh my," like trying so hard. "Oh my darling."
He's trying to impress. Well, he has a crush on her. He's got to try.
I mean, duh, but like, get that shit out.
There's a few problems. Like,
also, there's a weird audio glitch, which is even when he's not playing the piano, you hear the piano.
I had that
in the background, but you do get the reunion with AJ, which I think is nice.
Yeah, and they hug each other, and then she gives him his gun back, and that causes a bit of well, not anger, but like Lewis is a bit skeptical.
Well, because he's like, does he really need that?
Yeah,
that's because
that's actually a theme with
Lewis.
You're
a sheltered, posh piece of shit.
Lewis reinforces his belief that AJ shouldn't have a gun, which kind of becomes more important in the later episodes.
Yeah, well, because he's always like, give us the gun. Which, I mean, in a survival scenario, maybe he should have a gun on him. In like the worst of the worst apocalypse, maybe it's all right. But I guess because he's been at the school, he's like he's still sheltered with the realities of the world. Because they've been like the safe zone, which you learn about later, which is like they barely even. How many years they've been here? They like barely moved out of like
they don't
the
need
surrounding area
because they're like their base, if you will, is kind of secure.
So he's still got old world morals of children shouldn't have guns.
He's sheltered from the extremes of the apocalyptic world, both like literally and metaphorically, because he doesn't think AJ should have a gun.
Wait, do you come out of the out with AJ? You get the little scene with.
I think Marlon comes in and says, "Oh, we've got walkers. Do you mind helping us?"
And then Willie goes, "Marlon, we got walkers on the fence."
Knowing Willie, it's probably some grandma walkers or something. He says.
You remember that shit?
Yeah, I remember
that shit.
He comes in and then you gotta go out and basically this is your chance to prove yourself to the rest of the group.
Well, you meet Violet though for the first time because she's like on the gate and she's just like,
and
you're a bitch.
Yeah, you don't like Violet at first.
No.
She's like, she says sort of a snarky comment. I think it's
so somebody who attracted them all here.
Something like a loud noise.
I wonder if a car crashing attracted them. I get it, bitch.
So you think she's a bitch, which is Violet. Violet's kind of got this cold personality where it takes a while to warm up.
You immediately find Violet likable, like as soon as you leave that area, like after that first area.
Literally after the fighting scene,
you're like, okay.
And the thing is, she doesn't even say anything overly nice or even apologetic, but she just says something which gives you the idea. Okay, she's gonna be cool, and she is.
They don't even like bother to try and like have like the is she really a bitch? Is she really?
Yeah,
they're just like, oh no, she's.
Cool. I don't mind that though because she's just one of those characters where you just even if you don't know much yet, you just know okay when I do get more scenes with her, you'll end up liking her because she's loyal and stuff. But yeah, the fighting scene you have more. To be fair, the combat does shake up a bit in this scene with the traps. Some people think it might be a bit illogical to have massive tree trunks up there. First of all, many questions arise. How do they get them up there?
Boulders too.
Boulders and stuff. Functionality and
to kill one walker that's like a foot away, like a foot away from you.
Yeah, but suspend your disbelief, and you'll find.
I could have stabbed that walker in the head once with my knife, but dropping a boulder on it that we will then have
it is an illogical thing. But if you suspend your disbelief for one moment, it is. If they do get them up there and it does kill a walker, it's safe.
I guess they could have made it more practical, like just have like a little trap that like,
or even just a smaller log, not a tree trunk.
Well, just like a sharp. If you just get like a sharpened, like little log.
Yeah.
Just like.
Yeah, that would be more. You could explain that a bit better. I do like it. It's refreshing. Yeah, it's a different style.
You get to also do like a sim.
It's the first time you get that.
Meet a sim.
Meet a sim. You meet Brody.
I wish a sim was more major as a character. He gets cartoned off a bit by.
By the other like Violet Lewis.
Yeah.
He deserves more screen time because I think a lot of people like him.
I do like how you learn that he's like documenting the history of like.
Yeah, I was actually thinking.
That's like an interesting concept.
Yeah, I wish they expanded on a bit more.
I mean, you would because you'd probably just make a new dating system like after because you've got BC AD.
Yeah.
Make it like after Apocalypse AA.
Yeah.
Like 1 AA after.
And I do get that some of the stuff he was writing was probably personal, but I think it would have been cool if you were able to read.
Because imagine reading that in a textbook. You're just like, so the Great Walker invasion of however, and then there's also just like an entire chapter.
Yeah.
There was a very cute girl.
Yeah.
What relevance does she have
I would
this?
like to have read maybe a page or two.
I don't mind not because it's like it's kind of ambiguous.
I think it would have added to the whole.
Well, there's an AJ can read it, right? He nicks the book. And then he's like, don't.
Oh, well, even if you can only read a little bit. And I mean, I've never had that scene when I'm playing it because I just think that's such a dicky thing to do.
Yeah, who fucking would make their kid you're fine.
Even before that, though, like, a sim could die if you don't, like, well, it's not determinant, but you have to save him by killing a walker who creeps up behind him.
For a second, I thought, holy shit,
No, I had to make that clear because that could have come across.
In fairness, he doesn't have that much impact on the plot, so him dying that early wouldn't actually change that much.
You would have lost out on a kind of cool character, but... Yeah, it wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
No, I do like that section because obviously after the hunt, AJ fucking elbows Marlon in the balls.
And Dick, yeah.
And I'm like, and I like that whole section. That's probably one of my favorite sections is when you have to go up and apologize.
The bonding scenes.
Yeah,
they are the best.
You have to like walk up and like apologize to them, or you get to see like kind of interact with.
Well, yeah, scenes like that. We have the freedom to talk to who you want to and stuff. They are like one of the major reasons that makes me love this season. So which one do you want to do first, Ruby?
Nah.
No. That's quite a cool. That's quite a cute scene, though.
All right
Awesome
then, Mister.
scene.
It's a cute scene. Do it then.
When he has to apologize to her and he asks you because AJ always looks to Clem first. He's always seeking her approval before he does stuff.
You actually just word for word said what the game tells you. In the top corner it goes, he seeks your approval, he looks to you for...
Yeah, I gotta reaffirm that.
We get it, he does what you do.
Clem is everything to him, and then he asks you how we should go about apologising to her.
Break it with a joke. Do something funny.
The joke one is so cringe.
Yeah,
it's
that shit is terrible.
Movie doesn't even like fake laugh to make him feel better. It's just so cold expression. Yeah, I think I put... I think I just put something boring, like just... Say how you just tell her how you have that thing.
Say how you
he has
feel,
that thing, right?
be honest.
Yeah, he has that thing.
Be honest and open and forgiving.
If people go up behind AJ, he'll fuck you up.
He'll knock you in the bollocks.
Yeah, so that's that scene with Ruby. That's where you basically learn she isn't a total bitch.
No, she's like,
to be honest, she isn't a bitch. She isn't a bitch at all. It's weird.
She's only bitch in that
just
moment.
Yeah. And I mean, later on they tell you about her at school.
But like her short temper never really comes up after that moment.
They talk about it.
They do talk about it in like the
school
scene with the
reports
boxes.
and stuff. Yeah.
But like as in the game as is.
Yeah.
It's
But
only
I think
really that one.
maybe that's her just starting to like them.
Yeah, because she's like, oh sugar, fuck her or whatever.
Okay, Mitch and Willie is quite a quick
Willie.
one. It's probably the most boring one.
No, I didn't mind kind of the build up because Mitch kind of like builds up as like he does the thing with the knife and then that kind
Pretty
of
cool, huh?
fucking up some monsters and I'm like, shut the fuck up, man.
Cringe, bro.
I think that could have been kind of implying that, or maybe Mitch would have been like a secondary role model to AJ, because obviously AJ sees him with the knife and he's like, oh, that's cool. And then maybe there were plans for him to do shit that would like...
I don't know, man. I feel like Mitch's sole thing was that
to get killed.
Well, to get killed, but also he's Willie's sort of role model.
And I prefer Mitch to Willie. I think I would have preferred Mitch to go on rather than Willie, but that's...
No, that would have been too sad, man.
This
that would have been
series
too sad.
This series is not past children dying in horrific ways.
It isn't, but I think Mitch dying is fine, honestly. Especially like because they do well with in this episode 2 with explaining him a bit more. But I'm pretty sure this scene where you're apologizing or just getting to know people is the only scene that Mitch is like active in the
No,
first
it's the
episode.
greenhouse.
In the first episode.
In the first episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all you get from in the first episode. A lot of people just forget because obviously there's a big time jump for people to wait for the second episode. People genuinely forgot who the fuck Mitch was.
Or because he fucks with you.
Yeah, luckily I got to just play the second episode
As
soon
is.
after, so I remembered him.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Omar, the best character in the
Omar, oh my god, I
actually wish Omar was in season 1.
I have pages of notes.
I wish Omar was Kenny in terms of his longevity.
Why didn't he come back? Why
Yeah.
didn't he come back for a season 5?
I mean,
should have just had a season 5.
Is he just always alive no matter what you do?
Yeah,
He always survives. Let's go. That's a survivor,
which
right
pisses me off. That actually pisses me off.
You can
That
eat or you
he's-
can eat right.
That
That's why.
he's such a terrible character. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to pretend.
I
to be
don't.
sarcastic.
What were they doing with
He's
him?
fucking
What were they
terrible.
doing?
Because everyone else has characterization. Even like Willie and Mitch. Have character.
Actually, I was gonna say even Mitch and Willie. Yeah, even they do.
They have like
Ruby.
they have a little bit of something.
Even Brody and Asim.
Like,
as well.
why the fuck is Omar there? You could have just made Lewis a cook.
He's just meant to be the chef, I guess.
Why isn't Lewis just a cook? Just make Lewis a cook.
Well, maybe they had plans. Maybe they had bigger plans for Omar.
Bigger plans for that. I can't imagine him having any personality though.
No, yeah, he doesn't.
Like, what kind of art?
He doesn't.
Yeah,
He doesn't.
There's a scene
Well, no,
where-
his personality is food. His love for food.
but that's so stupid.
You can eat or you can eat right.
That is the worst line of dialogue in any video. And the pronunciation.
Even his voice is kind of annoying. Yeah.
He's like,
yeah.
You can eat or you can eat right. Hello? And no, it's not ready yet.
Go on without me. When he gets shot in the
Like-
leg later on, and he's like, "Oh, Clem, just
Like
go on
food-
without me." And it's like, why are you
food
fucking
makes it
talking
more-
to her like that?
And
bro?
also, I wouldn't
barely
care.
know her.
I wouldn't care.
And it's like there are no scenes where he's even like sitting next to them, eating with them.
No, he
He's
doesn't.
just like
He does his
fucks
own
off, and it's
thing.
like you're not giving us even like some of the
He's
weaker.
enjoying his food, man.
Even some of the weaker characters are like the cabin crew. Even though the cabin crew is really good, like even what people would consider the weaker ones, like Carlos and Alvin, they have way more characterization. You see them more. They've got more going on. Omar just shows up and he's just
Omar-
like cooking. You gotta eat right. And it's
Omar-
like, that sucks. That is terrible.
Omar is probably the strangest character in the whole franchise.
He might be the worst character ever.
The
fucking
worst.
made. He might
no,
be
he's
the
not
worst.
the worst because even though he does nothing, that doesn't make you worse than characters who are in it more but are actually just bad
If
characters.
Gabe, at least Gabe is terrible, but at least Gabe has something. He's got something
well,
to
his
do.
thing is that he's annoying, whereas Omar's thing is that what is he?
I find him annoying because he does nothing.
Because he
I
does
see him in like the background of a scene and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here, man? Just make Lewis a cook or a simmer cook.
They don't even talk about him that much.
No, they bet. Like, whenever, I always find it funny, whenever they go like, I can't believe we lost a sim.
Omar.
Lewis. Omar. Imagining Clem just goes, who the fuck is Omar?
Oh, I think Omar is a meme though. Like on the Reddit page.
Fucking joke.
On the Reddit page, Omar's just a meme. Like, I just find it funny.
Because he sucks and he's terrible.
He could have been good if they did the Clementine book afterwards based on the school. Then he could have been big because they could have brought him back and given him some personality.
What character did you give him?
No, you did give him. But that's good because it would have given them the freedom to give him personality. Because
but like, why it wouldn't make sense for him to have personality in the book but not in the game?
Maybe there's a scene. Maybe there's a scene where he's teaching.
I was just waiting for you to open.
No, maybe he's just waiting. Maybe there's a scene where he's teaching Clem how to like cook and like
so
prepare
dumb.
food.
Just make Lewis a cook. That's mine. Why waste time with like a new model?
I honestly,
and, like, animations?
I'm happy he's there. He's a meme and I love it.
I think he makes the game worse.
He doesn't make the game worse.
His inclusion
adds nothing, but it also just
I think it just
adds
takes
nothing.
things away.
What does it take away?
Just like
the fact that Lewis couldn't be a cook.
No, not that. But it's like just the idea. I mean, yeah, Lewis could have been the cook and it would have been cool. But it's like just whenever I see him in a scene, it like brings me out because I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm gonna watch some
It's
Omar.
funny.
I'm gonna watch some Omar clips after.
Do you think there's like an Omar fan page?
Oh, definitely. Because you know,
but not like ironically. I mean, unironically.
Yeah, definitely. Oh wait, unironically, no.
Yeah, because who is like making?
But
edits
I'm pretty sure.
of
No, but I'm
Omar,
pretty sure
like,
people made. I don't know if
Omar.
you remember this, guys, but people made edits about this guy in season 1 called Chet, who was Sean's mate, and he's in it for like once. And he's like,
That's funny.
I'm Chet. And that's his
He's got a
scene.
lot of character.
And that's his
Chet
scene.
has more character than
No, he
Omar.
doesn't.
He says hi.
You can eat her. You can eat her, right?
I'm gonna actually get so fucking mad if you say that again. The way you say it too is so accurate.
That's how
to
he says it.
fucking
That's how.
says it.
Yeah, I know.
It's like the most like just try hard.
It could be like I could be wrong. I don't even know if that's what he says exactly, but it's something along those lines.
Because she's like, when are we gonna eat food? And it's like,
And
why
the
are you
thing
being
is,
so
like, and the thing is-
extra?
and
It's a
the thing is,
fucking
right,
apocalypse.
Lewis introduces him like he's going to be a big character. Oh, this is Omar.
It's like he's introducing a new Avenger.
It's not even. It's
he's
not,
like,
he
this
doesn't-
is Omar.
Yeah, but he doesn't even say, "Oh, this is a Omar," and then proceeds it by explaining like a callback. Well, no, he does actually. He's like, "This is Omar. He's our cook. He does this and that." Doesn't matter because
He's
Omar
kind of crazy.
and the thing is, Omar doesn't even like directly talk to Clem. He doesn't even show any desire to interact with her whatsoever.
No.
When he says the line, he's basically just talking to the room, not
Yeah.
Clem or AJ specifically. He doesn't care. And the thing, that's why it's weird because they've been concealed into this school for so long. They haven't seen any other people.
You don't think
For
he'd be a
God knows
little
how
keen?
long. They've only lost people. But he's not intrigued at all.
And it's
by
like
Clem.
he doesn't even go along with the boys when they go hunting. He doesn't sit with them when they eat. It's like they forgot he existed.
when they go hunting the next day.
He's not there.
When they go fishing, he ain't
Not
there.
there. And it's like the
Well,
only
maybe
times,
that's him reading cookbooks in the school though.
the only times when he's there is when he needs to get shot.
No,
so that
no.
there's stakes.
He's acquiring knowledge in all these scenes we don't see.
You gotta eat right. Terrible character.
Alright, we gotta move on.
It's like a 20-minute ride.
You got so obviously Lewis isn't. I don't think Lewis adds anything to that scene. It's quite a brief one. He's just he introduces Omar. That's all he does.
Character will never forget.
He's just funny, I guess. And then you get this sort of thing with Asim.
Asim,
yeah. Other than that though, yeah. So one more to go through before Marlon. The penultimate one is Violet and Ten.
And those are the peak of the series. Those are the two peak characters in my opinion.
Oh, what, Violet and Ten?
I think
Fair
they're
enough.
the best.
Do you know? I would say Lewis, Violet, and Ten as a collective. I wouldn't just say Violet and Ten.
Yeah, but I think
Personally.
I feel like Violet and Ten are such a good pairing too, because I feel like because
also they're the ones who kind of back you up.
well they have the closest relationship to Minnie.
Oh yeah,
the ones who went
because
missing.
Violet went out with
Violet
one of them,
dated
I can't
Minnie
remember.
or
Minnie, I think.
Minnie, because Minnie's the one that comes back, right? And then 10 was like
They're
sisters or whatever.
Yeah, that's probably the best scene of the apology ones, I think.
Well, 'cause you
he's
get-
not apologizing, obviously, but
Well, you get a little bit of like understanding of why.
I think this is the
he's so
first time you hear about the sisters, right?
You do, yeah.
I think when you wake up initially in the school, you can look through a drawer and you find a photo
because it was
of them,
their
but you don't know
room,
what it
isn't it?
is, yeah. But this is the first time they give you direct intel as to what that whole
What's it
subplot's about. And it's pretty cool. I think you get a choice of whether you can pay respects or not. I did.
Just like, nah. Just like,
Yeah, just let them do their thing, man.
yeah, just leave it be.
I watched a few people do that because they thought it was disrespectful, but
Why is
It's
it
not.
disrespectful to pay respect?
That's just how they perceived it, but I obviously didn't.
Right.
It just shows respect.
Maybe if you made it all extra and you were like
Yeah.
filming it on your phone, going like, "Yo, big up respect, dog." Like this is crazy.
Oh yeah. If they had phones and stuff and they were just looking for
Or
clout.
she was
and
just like taking pictures next to the grave.
look how much
so
of a
just,
nice
like,
person I am.
Just like, yo, thinking about death right now.
In my fields, bro.
Omar would do it that though, absolutely. If he had a camera, he'd just be like, "Yo,
You can
make
eat.
it
You can eat.
next to a grave." That's fucked up. Is that implies if you eat wrong, you end up dead? Like,
Yeah, you get because of food poisoning maybe.
he's got like a gun.
He's
and,
telling
like,
us the
wanted money.
importance of nutrition.
Yeah, maybe that's what really happened to them.
Yeah. Well, Omar is a key figure
I
here.
can't believe we're
He
talking
ensures
about
that
him,
the malnutrition isn't a problem.
yeah, because
for them.
we need extra oregano seasoning
Yeah.
with the fucking beans and
Yeah.
peaches.
let's move on.
Walter was extra, but this is different.
Let's move on. Okay, so then you apologise to Marlon, who's just cool about
Is
it.
he next to Brody at that point?
Yeah, he's next to Brody.
Is that the first time we see Brody?
Well, you see her in the hunting thing. You don't talk to her though. I don't
No.
think. Yeah, the first time you speak to Brody, bit of not foreshadowing, but like their closeness is sort of hinted out there because they're chilling together, and you got Rosie there as well.
The doggy, yeah.
I was gonna say that's the first time you meet Rosie, but it isn't because
No,
she
it
like
happens at the
fucking
hunting bit.
yeah, she just destroys.
She crushes a thing with its
her
head.
jaw. Yeah. So she's pretty badass, I guess.
For a dog, yeah.
For a dog, yeah.
Even though Clemens definitely has a warranted amount of skepticism towards
Yeah, which is
that
why I
fucking
didn't.
dog.
Which is why I didn't pet Rosie. And...
Son of a bitch.
Oh no. Rosie turns out to be great. Like she's a cool.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, is that
The
when
best
you...
animal character in the entire game.
Not as good as that cow from season 1. Betsy or whatever.
No, it's not best.
Was it fucking called? Daisy. No.
It's like it begins with an M, I think. It's like Mabel.
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 Yeah, something like that. Yeah. How the fuck do I remember that?
Yeah, you're schizophrenic for
Okay,
that.
anyway, yeah.
Remembering Mabel.
But so
the
you're saying
cow.
Mabel is a better character than Omar?
Well, yeah, because I mean, Mabel provides food and she's a cow.
Omar provides food.
Yeah, but Mabel provides food and is a cool-looking cow. Whilst Omar's just a guy.
Omar's a cool-looking character.
He's not. He doesn't look cool. He just
got the
looks
fro.
like a
He's got
guy.
the fro.
What do you mean the fro?
He looks
It's not
like-
as cool as like. It's
It's
not
like
as cool.
older AJ a little
It's
bit.
not as cool as like Lewis's dreads though.
Oh yeah, no.
The spider dreads.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. All right. Anyway, we've got to move on. We've been on this apology scene for God knows how long.
There's gonna be so much cutting of this. Like 50% of this is gonna be.
I don't
cut.
think you should cut any of it.
I think I should cut.
I think this
all
should
of
be a
it.
real authentic.
I'm gonna cut it all and replace
retrospective.
it with like a text to speech, like AI voice, just going like, and then they apologized, and then move on.
Because we're self-conscious about our voices.
No, because we're wasting time.
Oh,
and we haven't talked
okay.
about anything relevant.
Okay, fair enough.
But
Okay,
anyway, the
back,
apology
back, back,
happens. And then, is this when you go to the table?
This is when you get the card game.
Oh yeah, the card game. Yeah,
The card game.
that was good. I fucking knew you'd fucking
Love
fall
that
in love
scene.
with the game as soon as
Yeah.
that thing happened because I know you've liked that kind of bullshit.
Talk about an effective and brilliant and innovative way to get to know characters specific to the age group of said characters.
Partially.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
You don't get to you don't get to ask that many.
Oh yeah, no.
interesting
Yeah, no. That's I have one issue with it. Is the fact that Clem's
Questions
options
suck.
they are shit.
Have you made anyone famous?
I guess you can try and contextualize it as Clem's just trying not
like
to
the mood.
Yeah, she's trying to like the mood. She doesn't trying to get
But this
too
is
personal.
a role playing game.
But
This is
realistically,
like-
we should have had more freedom. I get it. Give us maybe 4 options, but give us better options.
Yeah.
But
Well,
other
like,
than
all the
that,
questions the other people ask are good.
yeah, the questions they ask you are good. But I just think it's such a refreshing and good way to get that character development through. Like these you got to remember these guys are like what, late teens. They would do something dumb and stupid like this to get to know someone because
It's
that's
mostly
that's what
Lewis
they do.
spurring it on, so that makes sense
Yeah.
too for him.
Yeah, like that works for his character. Although Violet wanted to do it, she literally like moves table to play this game.
Does she?
Yeah,
thought
she
she
was
was like, "Oh,
she was
this
with
is
10.
stupid."
No, she comes back and she's like,
She abandons.
no,
10,
because
so
Lewis
fuck
goes,
off.
Violet, it's time, and then she comes over.
Yeah. Well, that's because 10 and AJ are. That's kind of when they're.
Oh yeah,
romance.
when AJ finishes, he like goes to 10.
Yeah,
I knew that was gonna become like a
thing.
cool little dynamic.
No, they're cool. I like their dynamic.
I love their dynamic.
Yeah, that little card game is nice.
I'm trying to think of some of the good. Obviously, Clem's questions suck ass. Like
What's with your haircut, Marlon? That's kind of.
and
Funny.
he just goes, "It's cool."
But it's also really rude. It is
a
really
little
like,
bit.
what's up with your fucking...
got-
It's an apocalypse. No, not everyone can have fucking amazing hair.
Do you remember, I actually got angry when I saw the meet anyone famous option. Do you remember that? Because I just thought that's such an irrelevant thing to talk about.
But then should be able to say, yeah, I met a
Harvey
baseball player
and
once.
Harvey gets his
one
respect.
mention.
He gets the
Does
appreciation.
she even say his name or just says, I met a baseball player once?
Yeah. and
even
even Gabe, I think Lewis asks you, have you ever been in love? And then she can say yeah once, and then she'll be like, she won't even say Gabe's name, I don't think. She just says,
Thank
oh yeah.
God. Maybe you can infer maybe in like, what was it, like the 4-year gap between season 3 and season 4, maybe she met a guy.
Yeah, I mean, if that doesn't symbolize how much of a fucking failure season 3 was, I don't know what does. That's all they get in season 4.
In fairness, they're not very relevant to what's going on.
They're not, but the fact, yeah, but like even Kenny and Lee get so many.
I don't think Kenny gets that much, does he? Not as
No,
much as
Kenny
Lee.
doesn't actually. Yeah,
Lee gets
he
like jerked off in
loads,
every series.
even though he was only with her for 4 months and Krista was with her for
Yeah.
16 months.
I know.
But I get it for the sake of the game.
That
You
does
play
annoy me.
with
That
Lee.
does annoy me a little bit across all of the games. It's just like how much, like obviously Lee is super important,
And obviously,
but it's like
but
give
it's almost,
Kenny some clout.
but it's almost
give
like
Krista some clout.
it's weird because we're almost more connected to Lee as a player than Clem is as a character.
Hmm.
Do you agree?
I'm not as connected to him as she is. Well, she's connected to him because he was the first person she met. So I
Yeah,
think that makes sense. But
But
as a player, I'm like I've spent more time with Kenny than I have with Lee
yeah.
in terms of like game time. And even though I would have liked it if she mentioned like Luke or something, I think that would have been nice. Even though it probably like how would you bring it up?
Or
Even
Jane,
just saying.
or just anything. Really.
But she just kind of says maybe it's because some people didn't like season 2, so she was just like I was with a couple of groups,
I feel like that's what they do. Yeah.
and they were too worried to like.
Because
mention
there's a few
anything.
in the card game. I think she mentions the cabin crew once. Oh, it was where's AJ's parents,
Well, yeah,
and then she says, "Oh, they were nice," but she doesn't even like name drop
Rebecca or Alvin. Well, I guess you can infer AJ Alvin Jr. is Alvin.
Oh yeah, you know that. Yeah, but we already knew AJ's name in season 2.
But as in them, as in, does she mention it to the people who don't know?
Yeah,
Or is his name just AJ?
Yeah, just no. It's Alvin Jr. It's Alvin Jr.
Alvin Jr., yeah.
Call him AJ. What other questions they ask? Yeah, the love one.
You ever been in love?
Who would die first?
Yeah,
And you can either be cocky or you can be.
Well,
humble.
Lewis.
You think Lewis would die first?
Everyone says it.
I didn't say Lewis. I think I say not me because I'm trying to be, not non-confrontational.
How is that non-confrontational to just say, well,
Well, it would.
I
me.
won't die, but
Yeah,
all of you
because I'm
would.
not saying one of you would.
Well, why don't you say? Well, it would be non-confrontational if you said yourself.
Yeah, that would be humble, but I don't. But Clem wouldn't be the first, so.
Yeah, but you would still lie just to look humble, right?
Yeah, but you also want to. You just arrived at this group. You got to prove your worth.
Here we go.
You got to prove your worth to this.
She did fucking kill like a bunch of walkers though outside the hunting ground. So
Yeah, Lewis would die first out of them. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So when that scene's done, you briefly talk to AJ, who's with 10, and then you go back to your room. It's like the first day done.
he does that thing where he's like, "Oh, do you want to sleep? Should we sleep?"
Wait,
on the
does
bed,
Violet
under
come
the
in?
bed?"
This.
Oh yeah, Violet does come in.
Is that the next night?
Because he's got like colouring things, and she's like, "Oh, 10 needs these." I think that is
first night.
first night, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's when you learn a little bit more about Minnie.
Oh yeah, when Clem and Violet talk while AJ does the drawing.
Yeah.
Well, she says, "Oh, we were close."
Or whatever.
They were doing. Yeah, they were together basically. And I think AJ does his drawing. It kind of sucks, but it's adorable at the same
You
time.
respect it.
All right, so yeah, do you let him sleep under thing? It's just another one of those.
Who would
I
let
could
him
talk about them for ages, but yeah, just another one of those Clem dynamic moments. Clem and AJ dynamic moments. I think I made him sleep on the bed.
Yeah, who's gonna be like, "No, AJ, you
A
can
lot of
stay
people
under
do
there."
actually, because they just think, oh, let's let him just be comfortable.
But how is? But it's not
But
comfortable.
yeah, but it's I think the right choice is to get him to sleep on the bed.
Yeah, and its majority is still
Yeah.
sleep on the bloody bed, mate.
Yeah, you shouldn't just let him do. Yeah.
Psychos.
Yeah. So you wake up the next day, see Marlon in his office.
Oh, but then even before that, you get the 10 playing with the fireman and the policeman.
Oh yeah, true.
and then he's like,
true.
"What's that? What are they doing here? What's going on?"
Yeah, and 10's
They're
really,
firemen.
10 is so cute, man.
10's good, yeah.
Because although he's older than AJ, he knew a little bit about what it was like before. And I also imagine he's just been reading a shit ton of school books that they have around.
Yeah. And he's
about
with people who are like
civilization.
like 18, something like in their late teens.
Yeah,
who were
yeah,
still probably
several
like
of them.
conscious.
Yeah,
of
so
it,
they all know. And you got this sort of
And then he nicks one of his toys, and then he goes,
Yeah, he does.
I don't want it. You can't have it back. It's mine.
No, yeah, he's like, it's mine. What the fuck?
Stupid kid.
It's a realistic kid argument though.
That's why I wish AJ died.
And so you got what?
That's why I wish AJ got killed off.
Yeah,
He took that toy.
you should have had a decision here.
Yeah, just like imagine just like kill AJ. Well, I guess we solved that issue. That would be funny if that was ever like again that ever did that.
That's like an
kill
Easter
him.
egg scene.
Yeah, just like fucking kill him.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, no, the 10 is such a nice character. He's so kind-hearted.
No, yeah.
And wholesome and innocent at heart. Arguably even more innocent than AJ. Well, yeah, more innocent than AJ.
I don't think it's even an argument.
Yeah, and you just got this. You're watching a kid who had a little bit of experience, if you can even call it that, or a little bit of knowledge about what it was like before, interacting with a kid who has no idea, and it's just nice to see him trying to explain.
Well, they're a good they bounce off each other
Yeah.
well because tends more like kind of intellectual, scholarly, and then AJ's just
super impressionable.
And AJ's more emotion based, kind of go off on, and he's more like survival based.
Yeah, and that's actually a good point. That actually comes up later on, is where AJ lacks in sort of responsible thinking and intellect and all that. 10 lacks in making the hard calls and being a true survivor. Yeah. After that, 10 leaves or something, and then Marlon comes in.
And then he says, "We're running out of food, like around the area."
Yeah.
And then he's like,
because Sim the other day was saying that they couldn't get anything.
Well, then he says, "Do you want to go out to go fishing or with the boys?"
Yeah. But you also have the scene with the map when you get to pickles. I love that sort of stuff, man. I love it.
Well, that's not like.
I just really like it.
Well, it's not. It doesn't change much.
But it's just like it's a slow paced scene.
So we've got trees over here.
No, he explains everything to you, so it gives you that sort of visual image of how the place.
Well,
looks.
like I'm saying, I don't mind it, but I don't love it.
I love it.
I'm not like.
I love it because
Game of the Year.
The reason, no, I love it because it just adds to the slow. I like slow paced character based games which can change pace quickly and efficiently and effectively because of this. The slow pace of a game makes the faster moments more impactful, and that's what this game does.
You'll be a fan of Snail Simulator then.
When I was a kid, I used to make snails race against each other.
So anyway, yeah. So that kind of
yeah, that coincides with the choice, which is go fishing with Violet and Brody, or go hunting with a Sim and Lewis.
I always go
both.
fishing.
I went fishing first, and then the second time I played it by myself.
I prefer the
hunting.
fishing.
I prefer
because you get a little bit of character development with Brody before.
I think I like them equally. They're both good.
I still prefer the fishing with the ladies.
Yeah, that's fair.
I like going into the little cabin area.
And I mean, you kind of learn about a sort of minor conflict between Brody and... We'll do the fishing scene first. Yeah, between them, because... What was it again? Brody... Oh, because Brody just happened to be there the day that Minnie and Thingy went missing,
Or she was with them when they went missing.
Yeah, and then for some reason... Violet's just held that against her, I guess.
Oh,
I think.
because...
I could be wrong here.
Because we do find out eventually that that obviously Brody's in cahoots with...
Yeah, and maybe Violet was
with
suspicious
Marlon.
from early.
So that... I don't think she actually knows, but I think she's just like... What would appear to be a rational like hatred of her, but is genuine because she probably did hand them off.
Yeah.
When they went missing.
And she maybe just associates their disappearance with
her,
Brody.
yeah.
So
But regardless of if you go for the hunting or the fishing, you find the Bible cigarette.
bud. Yeah.
So does anybody at the school smoke?
Yeah. No. I think if you go to fishing,
nothing to smoke.
Oh no! At the end of each scene, they go to the other person's
place.
Yeah. So if you went hunting, you go to the fishing shack where you find the thing.
Cigarette. Yeah.
And if you go fishing, you go to the hunting grounds where you find it by a tree or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's supplies missing or something from the shack, or the traps get rigged.
Well, that's the traps like set off, but they don't catch anything.
Yeah,
and that's when you make the plan. I'm pretty sure that's when you have the plan to go to the train station.
It is, yeah. I think Brody fucks off.
Well, because
she sees the cigarette and she's like, "Oh, I have to tell Marlon quick."
Yeah.
Which actually ends up being bad for her because it means that without her supervision, they go off and do something that she doesn't want them to do, and eventually. I think so. You go with AJ. Oh, Sim goes back as well. You go with AJ Lewis, and Violet.
Yeah.
And it's like it ends up being a great decision because you need food and Clem is ignorant to the fact that they've had.
I mean, didn't they say eventually they were just going to come and get them? I'm pretty sure they said that like they planned on going back anyway.
At some point, yeah, probably, yeah.
But like, yeah, then you get like that. You go back to the train station.
Lewis has no choice in the matter. He just has to distract the walkers.
Fair enough.
He literally has no choice in it.
Who cares a shit?
You don't even have an option to say, no, Lewis, it's okay.
I'll do it.
Violet should do it. No, it's just Lewis.
Well, he wants the attention, man.
He does, yeah, he does.
So then you go and then you do the little thing
There's
there.
a lot of good one-liners.
And then you collect the food and shit.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa.
What am I missing?
Slow down, partner.
Okay.
AJ goes into the thing, and you have a very suspenseful scene where all the music goes out. The scene homes in on Clem slowly but quietly picking up these jars of food. It's like just a plethora of food, and she takes it and puts it in a duffel bag, and then the screen just kind of like, it doesn't even cut, it just like motions off to the left, and there's Abel.
Kenny. There's Kenny.
And there's Kenny. He's back, baby.
Imagine if it was Kenny.
That would be
fucking
so
insane.
fucking great.
But like for most people, he'd have been dead. So like,
I got lucky, Clem.
he just shows up and he's just like half zombie, half human.
Real lucky.
Don't ever do that again. Abel comes in and he's like, "So, what are you doing here?"
I think
He's just a guy.
Abel's like a way watered down Carver.
Yeah. Because he just comes in and he's like, I mean,
I mean that more in his sort of presence and his voice than him as a character and him leading a group or whatever. But I like Abel's voice. He's probably got my second favourite villain's voice.
just behind Joan.
Sort of like smoker, raspy voice. Yeah, just behind Joan. Joan will
Joan's
always...
like, I'm doing what's best for the people.
Joan will always be at the top of that list.
Yeah.
But Abel, you know, he's close.
Carver's at the bottom.
Yeah.
But I think Abel just kind of works as like a just bad guy enforcer.
Yeah.
I do like how resilient he is. Like even if you push him, I know that they obviously had to have him alive for the interrogation scene later. But like I like how resilient he is. That he just, as soon as he gets pushed into that crowd of walkers, he cuts off his fucking arm.
No hesitation.
And then he's just like, and he's just like fine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's kind of like admirable how fucking.
Yeah, well, he's a soldier, isn't
And
he?
he looks like scum, like his fucked up teeth and like his weird like eyes and like his hair's all over the place.
He's got this sort of wild presentation.
He looks like Trevor from GTA 5. You won't know who that is.
No.
Trevor from GTA 5. All my gamers. Out there.
Yeah. I think he does.
And the fact he does not flinch
for what his role is,
when he's like, I'm gonna shoot you, kid.
Yeah, I kind of like that the whole him taunting them basically, being so comfortable with a gun and so in control that he never really flinches. He never looks scared. He's just, you know, in the way he speaks, you just know this guy's confident and
he's been around the block.
Yeah, he's been in this sort of situation before.
Innit?
And he deals with it. Even if AJ comes with, he's like, I could kill you, you know.
I could kill you with my bare hands.
No, he's just like, I'm quicker than you, kid.
I could shoot quicker than you, boy.
Yeah, and I think you can actually. There's different ways.
Can't you let him shoot? You can let AJ shoot.
Not let him shoot. Wait, no.
No, because you go, AJ, shoot now. Then you shoot him, and then he.
I thought
goes
there was
back
two
into
different endings. I thought it was not endings, but you know what I mean. I thought it was.
Well, so you let him go.
Abel either takes a duffel bag.
Yeah, because you either let him go, push him into the walkers, or AJ shoots him and he falls into the walkers.
Oh shit! I didn't even know about that third one.
Well, no, because there's the option where you can say, AJ, shoot now, and then he.
That seems kind of a stupid thing to choose, to be honest.
Well, it's, you know, if anyone wants to have a child who's got a gun pointed at them, say, shoot the gun, shoot the gun now.
Because if you, I chose
with your little fingers.
I think I chose the
I pushed him.
Clem attack. Yeah.
Yeah, Clem attack.
Which, to be honest, like.
Clem attack.
If I'd played the other games before season 4, I probably wouldn't have chosen that because of how often that doesn't work. But it worked. Yeah. Well, we thought it does work, but it doesn't end up being as significant as we hoped.
I wonder what were your thoughts on that when you saw him like?
I just thought he was dead.
But and then when he comes back without an arm,
I thought it was the game rewarding me for making good decisions, so I was kind of happy with.
No, but like when he comes back without an arm, like did you immediately think, oh, the infection must be you cut off the arm to stop the infection, or did you just think that's just like? The walkers ripped off his arm and it had nothing to do
with the
infection.
I thought it was to do with the bite.
Oh, so you knew about like when zombie law when you get bitten.
I think I kind of knew about that.
I just thought it was like he just lost an arm while he was there. He didn't like cut it off himself. He just lost it and was just like, those walkers are mighty hungry, huh?
Yeah. No, I actually that was the first time I'd been like
introduced to
the the prospect of potentially surviving by cutting off a limb.
Realistically, you would have so many people in that world without limbs.
Yeah, I wish they did more of it, because you'd have some pretty cool looking characters.
Yeah. You got people with like
some people missing, like, imagine if like someone missing 2 arms and they basically just.
That's not cool. That's sad.
No, that is cool, but yeah, and sad, but it makes it sort of more tragic.
Yeah, when you got loads, I'd have loads of people missing fingers and shit.
Someone's just moving, yeah, fingers, toes, yeah.
Why are we talking about this?
I don't know.
So yeah, anyway, then you bring back all the food, and then everyone's like, "Whoa, you've done such a good job, man! You're so fucking cool." And then Brody's like,
Brody turns into like a paranoid schizophrenic, and you're like, "What is going on?"
Everything as we know.
Yeah.
And she's like,
but it's so over the top that the player at this point knows something's
wrong.
gone. Things seem too.
Or at
good,
least
like,
they know the guy who was there.
This is the longest episode of any Walking Dead game where shit doesn't really go like wrong for like an X amount of time.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
So when she's being overly sort of paranoid and scared,
He's probably just a guy looking for food.
like even I knew instantly. I knew instantly that something was up.
Yeah.
That she knew something that everyone else didn't.
And is that when you?
Especially since no one else, especially since everyone else apart from her and Marlon were like,
Thanks,
grateful
Clem.
for Clem. Like they didn't care that she went out the safe zone. Who would? She's
Yeah.
brought home a shit ton of food, and
Yeah.
and supposedly she's killed whichever intruder it was. Obviously they don't know that they've had dealings with outsiders before, apart from Brody and Marlon. So yeah, and then I think Marlon like drags her away for a bit, right? And he basically had. We don't know it was them or something, which is so sort of weird to say in front of him.
Well, he was just like, it's probably just a random guy.
Yeah.
Which implies,
I mean, but Brody, like, with hindsight, it's so understandable for her to, like, freak out like that.
Yeah.
And although it comes across as rude to Clem, like, I remember thinking, what the hell is she doing?
What
like,
the hell
it's
is
so
this
rude. Even if
bit?
something's gone down, why are you being so rude to me? I had no idea. I'm completely ignorant to what's happened here before. You do feel for her because she's had to conceal this sort of awful secret.
But I guess she still took part in it, although I guess she feels more guilty about it than
she
Marlon
feels way
does.
more guilty. Marlon, if Brody hadn't mentioned it, or they hadn't gone to the train station, or Abel hadn't interfered with their traps or whatever,
He doesn't even.
Marlon would have never brought it up.
Brody just mentions as well that like he says that Marlon said he was going to give Clementine.
Well,
and
it
AJ
wasn't
away.
even like they asked, right? He just no, they did ask. He just submitted to it, and but I imagine it going the way of Marlon. They were proposing the idea, and Marlon like instantly, without thought, thinking of it because he knew it would save his skin if he just gave them away. Whereas Brody was probably a lot more reluctant, but couldn't do anything about it. So I think they leave for a sec, and you have like you don't have a card game this night though. It's quite a brief sort of scene.
Well, you have the like you said, 10 drawing in the thing. Because that's sort of his philosophy is when he gets the idea of like the afterlife and then when they're walkers together, they're happy or whatever. Then I guess AJ sort of imprints on that.
Yeah, well,
because then I'm pretty sure it might be that night or it's another night where he goes, "Oh, if you turn into a walker, I want you to bite me so that we can be."
Yeah, he does that another night. Yeah,
and he might. I think
he
he gets that from 10 when 10 mentions that. Oh, even though they're walkers,
yeah, because he's now
together.
enlightened to the thought of maybe it is peaceful after.
Yeah.
That's another sort of intriguing scene with the 10 thing. It just kind of highlights his artistic creativity, I guess, and his imagination.
He just thinks of things differently than AJ would.
Yeah, but it perfectly symbolizes a child's innocence and imagination.
Yeah.
I think he and his drawing is actually low-key kind of sick as well. He asks if you want to be included in it, and only the cruel soul.
Only the worst psychopath on the planet was going to be like,
no, don't put me in there.
I don't want to be put on that
Clem is
fantasy.
Like proper sassy as well.
Well, she would be, wouldn't she? You have to be like, you can't politely
don't put me
say,
in there.
Don't put me in that thing. Yeah. It's like, no. And you get put in and then...
Oh no, he draws her in, and if you say no, he has to scribble it out.
Oh.
It's like, are you sure? And if you put yeah, he just
that's so fucking rude.
It's so sad.
God damn it.
AJ's in it though, because AJ wants to be there.
Respect
obviously.
AJ.
Yeah.
Is it then you go back to?
I think AJ just finds him so interesting. 10.
Well, because
he's nothing like he's ever seen before.
And it's like it's probably the only person he's met who's his age.
Yeah, who's around his age and has like a completely different viewpoint on things.
Yeah.
And perspective.
Because he's basically just hung around Clementine his whole life, except like Macaro Ranch, but
yeah,
but we don't know what happened there.
No.
So. But yeah, and then do you come back to the room and then you go to sleep? And is that when you hear like the voices through the pipes?
Yeah, I think you get to obviously you have a chance to put your collectibles down.
Yeah.
I think maybe you have a small bit of dialogue with AJ. I think AJ says, "Oh, I like it here."
Yeah.
And you kind of get into this false sense of security that they've found a
home.
But then later on in the night, you hear Oh yeah, right at the end.
Shouting
of
through the
episode,
pipes.
Yeah, you hear the muffled voices of. I think you can kind of tell it's Marlon and Brody because of what happened the night before.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think about this scene? This whole sort of sequence of events.
I mean, that whole thing is almost downright horror because like the way you just like walk around, it's dark and like the distant screaming and like shouting.
The way that like the feel of the game switches in an instant. It goes from calm and peaceful to like horror based in chaos and mystery and
that whole thing when you go down and you break the basement.
The whole way down there is
like methodical and slow and
pitch
dark.
You could just hear them speaking the whole time.
That whole confrontation with Marlon is really good. My God, that's when you find out about the escalation of he sold them and everything, and that's when you're like, oh fuck. But then like the moment where he like smashes her across the head with the flashlight, it's so quick and like weirdly realistically violent.
Yeah.
Like, he like smashes her against the head once with a flashlight really hard, and like she just gets a little cut above her eye and it starts bleeding, and it's like fuck. That could
like an almost instinctive violent action that he's just committed.
And it's like humans at the same time are weirdly durable but also weirdly fragile.
Yeah.
And it's like I can imagine if somebody was angry enough and hit you with a big metal like thing right above your eye, that could crack your head. And the way she just like falls back and like slumps over.
When she moves her hand even slightly, the blood just pouring down
over her face. It's so fucking nasty.
Yeah.
And there's something about her face too.
I remember,
really creeps
mate.
me
I remember
out.
like, do you remember?
All covered in blood.
Yeah. It looks
creepy.
So cool. I remember when I was playing it, I was sort of like reclined in my chair up till this point, and then I instantly, when this was going on,
edge of your seat.
Yeah, edge
like,
of my seat.
literally.
I remember I kept on looking at you like, what the fuck is going on here? I thought this was just going to be like a pleasant sort of survival game, but nah.
A pleasant survival game.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of fun in the apocalypse.
Just chilling, you know.
Lose a leg, lose an arm.
And then Marlon, this fucking bitch. This is when you really know that Marlon is
a scumbag.
It's a scumbag.
He runs out and he traps you in.
He's gonna. she'll turn. So she locks her in there, hoping to frame her as killing Brody.
Or kill Clementine.
Either to kill both of them, or if Clementine was to get out like she does, he could just frame it as okay. So she murdered Brody then. Oh my! So Clementine rushes to get there before Marlon closes it on her.
And
she comes back, and then you see a pool of blood, but no Brody.
Yeah, that's good.
That's so good. And you just hear the sort of murmuring of a walker.
Yeah. That is a good like horror, straight up horror sequence with the lights out and everything like that.
Yeah,
that's genuinely a scary moment.
Yeah, and you got because you I think she's like, oh okay, I've got to look for something to unlatch the door. So it gives her incentive, like she has to go back into the darkness. She has to go deep into the cellar and look for stuff. But at the same time, you got to be wary of Brody just somewhere, just fucking somewhere.
Yeah. Then even when you go to like get like a ruler and you're like going to put it up, she's like behind you and there's the jump scare of like the lightning flash. And she's behind you. She goes and then you have to kill her with a torch. And I like the detail.
The cinematography of this scene in particular is.
And I like the detail of when you kill her with the torch, the light, obviously because the light becomes splattered with blood. Like the light from the torch goes red. Yeah. And you kind of kill her in the way that she died in the first place with that torch.
Yeah, just smash her with the torch.
Smash her in the face. And like it's so weirdly violent.
And then you got like a scene where when she gets up, Clementine just looks at her like, what the fuck has just happened?
Yeah.
Because her whole sort of thinking and everything she thought about the school has just changed in an instant. Yeah. In the space of minutes, she's gone from thinking that they might. Obviously, she probably wasn't as confident as AJ because of kids being positive and hopeful. But she's gone from thinking, okay, this might be a place where we can be safe, to just instantly. In a state of sort of panic and not necessarily panic. Clementine doesn't really panic.
And then you get the final confrontation where it's outside and it's fucking raining as shit and everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? Then Omar's there obviously just like, hey guys, I'm here to keep the peace.
Want to eat?
You gotta eat right. That would be so fucking terrible.
We're watching that after this.
I'd love if it was constantly like eating, like cooking something in the background.
Just staring at the pot. She murdered
guys,
Brody.
and he's just like, I'm trying to cook. God, what a terrible character. Whenever I see him in that scene, I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. But no, that whole confrontation is good when he's like screaming, and he's such that guy whoever voices him is such a good voice actor. Wow. The way he's just like screaming, like desperately trying to like find an excuse for it, like.
And the way that you can interpret it as either he's horrified that his friend just died and he's angry, or you can interpret it as he's gone mad because he's done something that's derailed him. Yeah. Yeah, so you got to de-escalate the system smartly.
Situation.
the best way to do it is to bring up the stealing twins shit.
You're a coward, man, or whatever the fuck.
And it's understandable because they like. I think it would be a bit weird if all the characters suddenly turned on Marlon just like that because he's been their leader / with them for what freaking years, like nearly a decade. And Clem's just this newcomer. Who's to say why should they take her word for it?
I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't believe Clem immediately.
Yeah, and and I'm glad that no matter what like scenes you've chosen up to this point, no matter what, Lewis is apprehensive, and he's sort of hesitant in wanting to confront Marlon and believe Clementine, because it makes sense because you even get like a bit of backstory in a previous scene that they're best friends.
And then you get, because it makes more sense that Violet is the one who comes
especially since she was closest with Minnie.
You're right, because and she was already she already kind of had beef with Brody about it, so the idea of them like him being responsible kind of is like connecting the dots.
Yeah.
For everything,
exactly,
like why did they go but Brody?
And also
came back?
why would Clem just kill Brody for no reason?
Yeah, why would she fuck up her chance here?
Yeah, Marlon's sort of chaotic behavior and just completely like escalation of madness.
Well, then
results in Violet sort of backing you up.
Yeah.
Depending, like I think obviously you fail, you don't, but if you choose the right options, then Violet sort of confides in Clem and starts to believe her more, which is understandable. Like, it would make sense for Violet to believe it.
Well, yeah. And she's been looking for answers ever since they've gone missing.
Yeah.
Because she's like, she really doesn't know, even if they're like confirmed dead.
Yeah.
But then you get like, even when you get to the de-escalation of it, where you're like, we're gonna throw you in prison, or you can leave.
You can leave, but you can't come back.
And then you get like AJ just fucking shoots him in the head anyway, and that's so fucking good.
That actually might be the most shocking like scene of the entire thing. I'm gonna be for real. And the fact that is where they end the episode on.
Yeah, and then it depending on your like the dialogue option earlier, he says a thing,
so
right?
Good.
My favorite one is when he's like, "What? You told me to aim for the head."
I aim for the head.
That's so fucking good.
That's like a perfect way to bring back
and you get
previous dialogue.
The lightning and shit.
And it just makes it feel more personalized and fucking horrific.
And it is a cliffhanger because like, what the fuck is gonna happen?
Yeah, because they leave you on like, okay, so how
are you gonna
what's the aftermath
respond
of this?
To this?
I genuinely think that sort of last scene was one of the most enjoyable scenes to play for me. Like playing that for the first time. I'm upset that I'll never get to play that scene for the first time again because I had no idea what was going to happen. And AJ doing that is just such like just like throws you off so much because you love this kid, right? Even though you've only known him really for an episode.
By the end of season 4, you kind of go like, yeah, AJ would do something like that.
Yeah.
But before then, you still kind of like, you know,
well, you love it,
and you know,
depending on what you've chosen, if you're playing it like for real and like trying to do things that you would do in real life, then you're kind of playing it as trying to choose all the options that Clem would think would be best for AJ. So for him to like throw it back in your face at the end by saying, "Oh, I aimed for the head," or I didn't hesitate.
I kept a bullet for myself.
Yeah, that one sucks.
Why the fuck would you tell a kid that?
The head one or the hesitate one are good.
Make sure to keep a bullet so you can shoot yourself in the fucking.
I didn't
head.
hesitate.
Yeah.
Still, it's not as good as aim for that, but still good.
But no, that's episode 1.
That's episode 1, the longest episode of the entire game.
I think it's the entire
the entire series.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And top 3 episodes for me in the entire
We've been almost
thing.
talking about it for like 2 hours.
No, that's because there's so much to get through.
And there's a lot of crap that's going to get cut out.
Yeah, we'll probably trim it down to about, what, an hour 30 maybe?
Hour 30,
no, there's no way we've talked gibberish for 20 minutes. No way.
Hour 30. But what are your thoughts on the episode?
That's my top 3 episodes of the entire series.
You think?
I'm serious. I love this episode. I wish that any survival game I played followed a similar format to this in terms of the pace, the atmosphere, the switch of pace, the tension building at the end, following a structured storyline. It's my top 3 episodes in the entire thing.
Yeah, I think it is really good.
I think it's the best episode of season 4 as well.
You think it's the best one?
Yeah.
I'd have to think about that, but
I know what my order is for season 4.
So, do you think this first episode is your favorite episode of all time? Because if it's your favorite
I don't know. I'll have to think. Yeah, and it's my favorite. I think it's either that or season 2 episode 5. It's one of them. Or maybe all of the season 3 episodes though.
You said that so genuine at first. Like there was no break in like your pace of saying it. So you're just like, Oh yeah, maybe season 3.
Season 3. Oh,
With
the
no
episode where
hesitation.
Joan. We don't know if she like dies.
Oh my god. We need answers, Telltale.
Want answers?
Did she make it out alive? I swear, like a good chunk of this is just talking about season
shit.
3. Just talking shit about season 3.
Maybe that's why I love this season so much. I'm just sort of blinded by the fact that it's so much better than season 3 when you play them back to back.
Well, I mean, yeah.
But still, though, no matter what, I'd still love this season. And this episode,
You did even before you played season 3. You still liked it. So.
Yeah, exactly. True.
Yeah.
I think this or season 2, episode 5, my favorite episode of the entire thing.
That's fair enough.
Okay, so episode 2 starts with like the well, it doesn't start with the immediate aftermath, because like when it starts at first, you're in like the plate, you're in like your room, and then that's when AJ's like, oh yeah, and then you kind of flash back whilst that scene's going on, you flash back to the immediate aftermath.
Yeah.
And Lewis is like, he's dead.
What do you think about that?
You killed him.
Do you like that they did it that way?
I know it's weird because it's like
It's different.
they
You
don't
don't usually
commit
get
to
scenes
it
like
massive. Why not just do it in chronological order? Like, why have it cut into the scene?
I think
whatever.
maybe they didn't want to start an episode like that intense.
We're gonna do this differently.
That was no.
But it is pretty intense because it's like it's only like a couple
apart
seconds.
From episode 4, apart from episode, that's sort of the theme of season 4. They start off kind of.
Is that the theme of the entire season?
Not the theme. I'm just saying it's something they do in
The
episode.
thematic
1, 2,
relevance.
They just wanted. They basically just want to. They didn't want to start off super intense, which I mean, yeah, I guess why couldn't they? I don't mind the way they did it though. But yeah, so you keep bouncing back and from, and it's
Well, don't you go out of the room and then you go to?
after he asks, "Did I murder him?" or something.
Oh yeah, because fuck it, yeah.
That's a big thing in this.
That was
Murder.
was he justified? And then you've got to be like, oh, you need to learn. You can either go, oh, you need to atone. You need to learn how to,
Yeah.
you know, make up for doing a bad thing, or you can just say like, yeah, you were justified, AJ. You killed that piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're glad. I'm happy for you.
Lewis certainly thinks it was cold-blooded murder.
What a fucking prick.
You murdered him.
You murdered him. You're a murderer. That's so fucking funny.
Yeah, I mean,
You're a murderer.
everyone's kind of even Violet at the beginning. No, she isn't, is she?
She really isn't.
No, she isn't. There isn't.
I mean, as
even,
soon
like,
as you go out to the grave.
No, because her Lewis and like Mitch are the main sort of hostile characters immediately after, because they sort of like square up to Clem, and then Violet jumps in front with her fucking like
Butcher knife.
butcher knife.
No, but I like having the and it's sweet for AJ to like try and atone. If you do that, he's kind of a prick. If he's just like, but I was justified. I shot him and I liked it.
No, yeah, that infamous quote.
The atoning feels.
Yeah,
canon.
episode 2 is. I mean, episode 2 is like vital in terms of how AJ turns out in your thing.
Or his attitude to like killing.
His attitude to like life in general, like it's sort of the beginning of this big sort of question for AJ of is murder acceptable in any circumstance?
Well, it's about survival versus morals, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole thing, and then you gotta like how pretty much everyone fucking hates you, and I do like the vote and like kind of I mean, you don't even find out until like the until episode 4, like who voted for you to stay.
We could talk about that now. The who voted for who.
But what if they don't know who voted for them?
Okay. Who the fuck is watching this that hasn't?
Who is watching this?
That's what I want to know.
Well, you eventually find out that Asim was the third vote, right?
Sim 10
and Violet. Even though you can pretty much guess that it's 10 and Violet off the bat.
Sim's kind of. I mean, Sim still makes sense though.
Oh, because he probably does not. He probably gets that like Marlon was kind of a scumbag.
Yeah, and also he sees Clem as valuable.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think. Do you know what? I think it's pretty unreasonable that they're that pissed at Clementine. If I'm being honest, because they
just see Clementine as. Yeah, it's kind of weird. They sort of see all the actions AJ does through Clementine.
Yeah, but
they're also rude to AJ up front as well.
And it's like
they just direct most of the hate towards Clem.
And he's like what, 6 years old. He's like a little boy, and it's like he shot a fucking person who would sell people into slavery.
Maybe but maybe they were still trying to come to terms with it. Like it all happened so suddenly, and at the end of the day, their leader / friend has just been freaking killed.
I don't know, because if I found out that
you traded people into slavery.
But I guess some of them, apart from Violet, don't even know if that was legit at this point. Actually, no, they do, because they accept it, don't they?
Yeah.
Because I think when they're having because there's a funeral, right?
Well, doesn't
where
he
Ten
admit it?
takes them
He's
out
like,
for
I
the
had to
Because Lewis
give them
even
away.
says, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did actually. Yeah.
So
you're
that's
right.
confirmed.
Yeah, you're right. But I guess maybe they were upset because they thought they had calmed the situation to a point where they were going to make a decision as to whether.
But why the shit would you give a shit? If I'm being honest with you, like, if I was in that scenario, if I found out that you had been, like, smuggling people and you were a human trafficker, and you got shot immediately afterwards, I would not give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I just found out you were trafficking humans.
Yeah, that feels like a personal attack, bro.
It is. It's not a because you're not, unless you're a human trafficker, and you're like, why would you do that to me, bro? But it's like, why would I feel anything for you anymore? Like, you're everything about you is like.
Well, that's why.
fake.
That's why it's not 50-50 the vote, but it's still close to, like, you got to remember, it's not all of them. Violet is she's not even just like a defender of yours. She's
pretty much a
valiant defender of yours.
encourages.
She'll go out of her way to.
Now, what if Mitch was the one who also helped him? Fuck him too.
Yeah,
Throw him in the
actually,
pit.
this is where Mitch kind of becomes a more major
important
character.
Yeah, it is weird that Mitch is the most angry because there wasn't that much. You would figure Lewis.
I think they couldn't make it Lewis though because they had the idea.
He'd be too unlikable. Give him a little bit of character.
Yeah,
I like
before
Mitch.
he died.
I'm Mitch Stan.
Yeah, but what's with you picking these random side characters?
Well, it's just ones that get
no, don't get me wrong. I like Mitch.
It's
too.
characters that get like a surprising level of development before they're unceremoniously killed off.
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's
because they build you up to it, and you're like, "Wow, I can't wait to see where this goes."
In the beginning of episode 2, though, because I think episode 2 is another long one. It's about 2 hours.
It is.
But you hate Mitch at the beginning because he's just so
kind of a scumbag.
Well, he's also just straight up rude.
You're a little bitch, or he's like, "What's your little freak over here with his gun?"
Yeah, and once again, I think. Really, like, logically it would be Lewis who does that, but it's just not in Lewis's nature to do that. He's too affable to do that.
But he's still kind of pissy though, isn't he? Like the way he's sort of passive aggressive.
Oh no, yeah, but I think that's as
give
far
me
as
your gun.
They couldn't. They were kind of in a predicament with him because they couldn't make him totally pro Marlon, but they couldn't also make him go against Clem because
so that they can,
But also it would go against his character to be that much of a dick. But they did well in sort of moderating it and making him slightly annoyed. Yeah, because they have the funeral, and obviously it's Brody as well. The fact that they buried, like, Brody right next to Marlon.
I would not have buried Marlon. I'd have thrown him out.
Yeah, well, they even
throw
gave
his
him
corpse
a burial,
out.
right? Yeah.
But then after that whole that's when you get the result of the vote. Then you get
Well, they vote to kick you out. Basically.
And then Lewis is like.
I knew that was gonna happen.
I mean, yes.
It would be almost weird after the scene we just watched for them to vote for us to stay.
We want you to stay.
Violet and Lewis come to break the news, right? Because 10, you don't get to see 10 in this.
10
one.
gets upset if he ran off.
Yeah. I just remember that 10, like, he's just found out that his sisters were.
So.
Yeah, and now he's having to watch the people who stood up to these people leave. That's so upsetting, man.
And they're burying the man who did it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so Lewis and Violet come in, and there's the whole discussion of, okay, you have to leave then. Because even Violet, although she wants you to stay, she can't, what good would that do for her if she was to just disobey them? And then, you got the decision with the gun, right?
Mm.
If anyone chose to pass their gun over to Lewis, I want to know why.
Well, it's probably just to build. If they really wanted to, like,
they thought there was still a chance.
If they were still romancing Lewis, then they were just like, "Here you go, Lewis. Here's my gun."
I think even like I love Lewis, but even I was sort of I was still annoyed at him.
But also, why would you want
what
to?
Good would that, what good would it be for them to even have?
It's like I get why you might not want him to have the gun, but why take that gun away from Clementine as well? Like, because she could use that gun.
And also like I kind of see it as well. If they were gonna stay, in spite of everything that's just transpired, then maybe you take the gun away. But because because you're forcing them to leave, and as far as they know, you'll never have to see them again, and they are gonna be out there. Why would they not have the gun?
We got to crack on, right?
Yeah. So the gun.
Because we are 2 hours in, and we're not a bit.
I took that gun, and we marched out of there, escorted by Violet and Lewis.
Yeah, and then he's like, "It's
forest.
not so bad out here, you know."
Yeah, that's such a fucking dick comment.
That's such a cunt line.
That would really get under my skin if I was Clem in that
I'd be like, "You are a little piece of shit.
You are so ignorant, and you have no idea what
you're sheltered, bro."
Yeah. He tries to sort of compliment it by saying, "Oh, I mean, you've been doing this a long time."
Well, he's trying to lighten the spirits.
Yeah,
right?
even though you've just kicked us out of a pretty stable
home. Yeah. But
No.
then you leave and you just walk around for a bit and then almost
Yeah, I think
immediately
they just leave you. And no, yeah, you just. I think you have like a conversation where AJ's sort of upset,
you walk down the road and he's like, my shoes are
but he was more upset about just the fact they had to leave
yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna when I was playing this for the first time, I had no fucking clue what was gonna happen because I almost expected or hoped that we'd go back to school because why would they build up all of that shit for
Just to fuck
for
off.
2.5 hours for us to fuck off? But also I was like, well, how can they even bring us back there? Like we're literally walking away. What the hell can even happen that could probe that? But then you see this scene that you were referring to at the end of the last one with Abel, with his one arm.
Oh yeah, because you run in. Yeah, that's when you run into Lily.
Yeah, well they don't reveal it straight away, do they? They
No,
kind of
'cause they're like,
sneakily.
"Ooh,
They do that
she's
thing where they
already
don't. They do that thing where they don't show the face
Yeah.
to sort of keep you guessing.
And that's
but-
when you know it's going to be someone you know.
Yeah, well, obviously I didn't know who the fuck it was when it came up.
Yeah. That must have been weird because it was like the reveal of Lily.
Yeah, I know,
And you're
no,
like, who the fuck is this? Did we meet her earlier on or something?
can't
And I had to
remember
be
if
like,
trying
she
to
was
think
in
that.
earlier. She was or something.
Yeah, that's funny actually.
Yeah. But I could tell it was her because
you know when
of
the
her
first time you
dialogue
played it?
colour. The colour of her dialogue was like the same colour as it
green,
is
yeah,
in season 1, and just her voice. I could tell her voice.
Yeah, I guess. What did you think she was going to be a villain though, or were you just thought, oh, Villain Lily's back? How the hell?
I mean,
is
she was
gonna
hanging
fit
out
in?
with Abel, so I was like, I think I know where this is going.
Yeah.
And they really don't. Unlike the first season, there really isn't that much kind of like questioning of whether she's going to be a bad guy.
No,
Because in this, she sort of fully turns.
well, in the first season they sort of flirt with the idea, whereas in this season it's just not left up to interpretation. It's just
No, they're just like she's fucked up.
yeah, she's just on the bad side now,
Yeah.
I guess. What did you think of Lily as a villain? She's a good villain.
I think my mate. I think
Second best villain in my opinion.
she's not as good as Joan.
Yeah, behind Joan.
she's behind Joan.
I'm gonna stop with this shit. Carver first, then Lily,
Oh,
then the Stranger, then Joan. Maybe I'm thinking too much about her as a character because as a character, you've got to include season 1 and 4, and Lily's really good. Like she's
Yeah.
for me, she's like a top 8 character.
Well, I think my issue with Lily in season 4 is that I guess a lot of kind of the morally grey depth of her in the first season is gone, which I get because
they had to make her.
they had to make her the villain, and she has been out. I guess she's been out on her own for years since the first season. But I do kind of miss where it wasn't so clear, where you could realistically side with Lily in every argument. There was a
Yeah.
way around. Even if you
Being
didn't agree
on
with
her
her,
side,
you could
yeah.
rationalize her decisions. But at this
Didn't
point,
they kind of throw that in the bin in this?
well, yeah, because I get they have to have a villain, and like at this point, she really is just like comically evil child slaver.
Well, she's just like another one of those survival of the fittest
Yeah.
people, isn't she?
Yeah, but I think it works better with Carver because Carver just seems like he's that way through and through, and he
Yeah.
fits it well. And Lily does. Lily is
Lily fits it.
intimidating, but I think I prefer the season 1 interpretation a little bit
Of
more.
Lily.
Yeah, a little bit
prefer
more
Lily's
of
season 1.
complexity.
So do I. I prefer season 1 Lily, but I still
Yeah, she
like.
isn't bad,
I still
though.
like her as a villain.
She's really fucked up too.
And I think she just adds a bit of like nostalgia and throwbacks to the old season. There's a lot of scenes where they reference the group that they had in season 1 and stuff, and I like that.
God, they love jerking off the first season
They love, yeah. Well, I mean,
because it's everyone's favorite. But
yeah,
gee,
it's the
God.
cash cow. Isn't
They
it?
have to mention fucking Lee every single conversation. And
Yeah.
it's been like a decade.
You're not with Lee. I doubt she'd even. I doubt Lily would even remember Lee. Honestly.
Ooh, I mean, maybe Clementine would jog her memory. Because
Oh, yeah,
I
I
doubt
get-
she would
yeah.
bring him up just like
Yeah,
without
fair
Clementine
enough,
being
fair
there.
enough, fair enough.
Just like, hey, I knew
There's
this guy
this
called
guy.
Lee once who I knew for like 3 months.
Kicked me off.
And he kicked me off. She's probably been kicked out of multiple groups over the course of those like many years.
all up until she found the Delta, which we don't really know much about at this point. Do we even know what the Delta is? No, we don't even know what it is at this point. You just
It's
know
like
that...
it's like vaguely we're fighting a war.
Well, you basically got this. You know that they sold. Well, you know Marlon sold the twins, but
Well,
I remember being a bit confused as to what they were being.
Well, they're
sold
child
for.
soldiers,
Yeah, I know that
right.
now. Obviously, yeah. But when you watch for Abel and Lacey, you're like, what is going on? Like, are they part of a big group? Is it a small group? Who are they fighting?
Well, yeah,
You've got so many questions, and the questions don't really.
like even the name the Delta doesn't really give you any clues as to what
No.
the fuck they're supposed to be.
Yeah, it's very very vague.
I think they're just like a vaguely militaristic group
I
who's
mean-
like fighting for resources.
Fighting for resources against other communities and.
In
shit like
Richmond,
that.
even
Well, I
because
think
they give that mention all the way from here to
Richmond to the
Richmond,
coast,
and it's
uh-huh.
like Javi
Well, I
is
think,
definitely dead. Thank God.
I kind of understand that Well, no, he's the leader of Richmond, isn't he?
Well, he'd
So-
be dead then, because a Delta
Yeah,
would
yeah.
definitely beat Richmond's group of like barely anyone lives there. Like there's like after the
I was
attack,
gonna-
there's
I
like
was gonna
3
say-
people there.
I was gonna say Richmond would beat the Delta, but
no.
then I've just remembered that the Delta on the boat isn't even the whole of the Delta. They're just on a side quest, aren't they?
No,
to
yeah.
find child. That
They
isn't
like
even their,
kidnap
like,
children
remit.
all across the United
Yeah, yeah.
States.
I think, but I kind of like the. Maybe I wish,
Ambiguity.
yeah, but I kind of maybe I wish they went into more depth.
I do feel like if they had more time to like make it, I do feel like there
Yeah.
would have been an episode where maybe Clementine gets kidnapped and taken to the Delta and then has
you
to
get to see,
escape
yeah.
and then warn the
But
school.
also, yeah, and like during those scenes, you'd find out more.
Yeah,
about,
so maybe there would have been like another episode for the total of 5 episodes. Maybe there would have been an
Yeah.
episode specifically
like,
just
episode-
about
yeah, her on the
like
Delta.
going to the Delta.
It does make sense that even in like the fucking apocalypse, humanity would eventually find a way to have conflicts between
Oh
themselves.
yeah, that's not.
I like
that's not the
I like
unbelievable
it.
part.
I like that's like a thing. No, I don't like it, but I like that high idea of it. But I wish it went into more depth. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you know that these two are like working. You don't know how big the Delta is or anything. You just know that these two are definitely part of
They've
it
got
and
beef.
definitely related to what Marlon and Brody were on about.
Well, then you get
Lewis and Violet.
Lewis and Violet who come in and they're like, oh, what should we do? Should we distract them? Blah, 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 blah. Then you can be like, run or not run, whatever.
Shoot or run.
No, run or warn them or just say shoot.
Yeah.
If you say shoot, then
I
like
think that Lewis ends up getting a hit.
Lewis
or
gets like
something.
hit in like the shoulder, and it's
Yeah,
just
I
like
think I
it's just like
said-
red on his character model, but that's fine.
I think I said run,
Yeah,
something like that.
run.
Either way, it ends in a chase scene, which is kind of like it's kind of there's no way that during this chase scene, Lily and Abel wouldn't be able to keep up with AJ. But I guess suspend disbelief.
I don't know. Kids are pretty fast.
Not over like if it was a very short distance run, but it goes on for quite a while.
I don't know. Abel's like 50. He
Yeah,
smokes
but
cigarettes.
Lily's fit.
Lily would get all right then.
That sounds weird. Lily is a healthy.
Lily's fit.
She's a healthy.
Yeah, she's
adult.
She's a healthy. Fucking screamed adult right away.
Healthy adult.
Well, yeah. So she could
would keep
definitely.
up. Eventually, I think AJ doesn't get shot, but he gets like shrapnel.
No, he gets
Well, he gets-
shrapnel from the bullets.
Yeah, and then you get another one of those stun kill scenes. I know you're not a fan of them, but in halfway
They're
through
all
that,
right.
halfway through that, you get the sort of.
I love the
surprise.
introduction of James because he
Yeah,
comes up
that's
to you
what I was
like,
saying.
and then you don't notice that he looks in the moment. You don't notice that he looks weird because you're just like
Yeah,
killing.
well,
You've gotten into the mood of killing
sometimes I
them.
find it funny watching like
Because he just
yeah,
like
yeah,
he like it's like he's on like he's been like sped up. Because like he's
yeah,
slowly
he's
walking,
like,
but then
he's
he
doing
goes,
it like times two. Sometimes
Yeah.
when I watch the playthroughs, no one knows it's a person, obviously, but they're like, "Yo, why the fuck is this walker moving so quick?" And then he just and then he gets revealed.
and
That's a
then
really cool reveal, actually. That's not
Yeah, it is.
not many characters get an introduction like that.
well, that's something that kind of his whole thing with like wearing Walker's skin is something that we haven't seen in the games before.
No.
And it happens in the comics, but it happens like kind of late into the apocalypse.
Yeah. To meet a character.
And I know that you hate James, so that was like
Do I hate
that.
James? Do I
Yeah,
hate James?
you hate James. Why do I have to tell you this?
I didn't hate James. I just didn't like James. No. no.
I hate him. I just disliked him thoroughly.
No. I like James as a character, but I don't like him because I think obviously what happens in episode 4 and 3, but also I find his voice a bit annoying.
Here we go.
You know about that. That's what you probably your.
This is the thing. This is the thing. He fucking hates James's voice.
Okay, fucking hates is very.
No, but every time he would talk, he would look at me when we were playing. Every time he'd go like, "Just don't hurt the walkers."
because he's so breathy. He's so
Clementine.
breathy and sounding erotic
American.
constantly.
Well, yeah, because he sounds like he's doing like ASMR or something
does,
into
yeah.
the mic. And
Trying
he's
to be
just
like,
like,
Get the
but he
shrapnel
just
out.
like
I'll keep him
shout out
still.
Luna Bloom, I guess, randomly. Why are you bringing that up? But anyway,
Can I give her the shout?
shout out Luna Bloom. But anyway,
Yeah, you go with your point.
but yeah, the way he sounds, and he's all kind of like. But I
But
think
do you
it works.
like his voice? You
I
know,
don't
I
mind
get
it.
I get him sounding sort of weird and sort of like he doesn't.
It's almost like he
Well,
sounds.
he sounds like he doesn't speak to many people, right?
Well, it's almost like he sounds whispery because he was part of the Whisperers.
Yeah, but also the fact that he's sort of uncomfortable when he speaks because he's been a loner for so long and doesn't have to talk to people. But that being said, like the voice is so jarring to me that it actually puts me off sometimes.
Yeah.
Genuinely, it would like
It's like
I'm trying to take him seriously and then I just hear the voice.
I don't mind it.
I can get past it. It's just something that's kind of annoying. No one else. I bet no one else shares that.
No,
opinion.
people probably stan James.
Oh
let's
yeah,
be real.
definitely. Like, no, he's a very interesting character.
Yeah. Because you get that, obviously he helps you with AJ, like dig the.
Well, and it gives you like,
buckshot out.
I guess when you got that. Yeah, that's like that's definitely, they've definitely made that scene with season 2 stitching scene in mind.
That's the only thing anyone remembers
Yeah.
from season 2.
Well, it's not that, although that the thing, that scene isn't as good as the season 2 one.
It's still digging.
It's still, it's still you doing it to like your kid.
Yeah, you're still digging out metal shrapnel from a 6-year-old's stomach.
Yeah, who's your,
Yeah, you go to the campfire, and that's when you kind of I think that's pretty much when you learn about, like, because Clementine obviously asks, why the hell are you wearing like Walker's skin? You know, she could probably guess that. He's like, helps me blend into the herds. I can move among them.
Yeah.
Kind of like an imposter.
It's weird that
I'm an
hadn't...
imposter among them. Did you not get that, or were you just ignoring it?
I know, I didn't even get it.
He's an
until the last
imposter among us.
I didn't get it until you said that.
I'm like an imposter among them. I'm acting pretty sus.
How did they go the whole freaking
I
series
vented.
without even mentioning?
An imposter among them.
Yes.
In fairness, Among Us didn't exist, so they probably couldn't have,
Incorporated it.
Yeah, Among Us is not like an old game. It came out like 2020 or 2019.
Yeah, what did I say that made you think I was talking about?
Because you said, why didn't they do it throughout the entire series? Like,
No,
why
no,
didn't
no,
they
I meant why didn't they mention just the community of whisperers?
Oh, I thought you were talking about why didn't they mention Among Us?
Of course they. Why? Even if Among Us.
I feel
was,
like
even
why
if Among
did they
Us
bring
was
out
out
Among Us?
Even if Among Us was out, why would they?
Lee,
freaking
this reminds me of the hit game Among Us.
Why would you be talking to Lee?
I don't know. Clementine would be like, "Whoa, is there an imposter among us?
dream about it.
Maybe it's like Among Us, Lee.
Yeah.
There's an imposter, just like Among Us, Holly. You play Among Us? That's so fucking.
It's like an ad for the game.
You ever played Among Us, Lee? You ever played Among Us? It's about survival of the fittest,
Hank Schrader
Clementine.
just shows up.
Why am I? I'm not even Hank Schrader.
I know. I just remember.
You sussy baka. It's like, what? You're an imposter. Okay, not. People are not even gonna have watched Breaking Bad. Okay, fuck it. This is the most chaotic one. But anyway, so he was an imposter among them, and then he was sus, and then so you kind of learn about him, and then he gives you an apple, and there's kind of like a moral thing of.
Well, why did he leave as well?
Well, I guess you don't really find that out until
Well, he says he didn't like the
vibe.
killing, the violence.
I wasn't a fan of the vibe.
Didn't like the vibe.
I didn't like the vibe.
Well, he doesn't. He says he doesn't like the ruthless killing, which kind of becomes a.
Well, that's his whole
bigger
thing, isn't it?
Yeah. He's a
Well,
pacifist.
even at the camp, he's like, there's like a walker walking over, as they would,
Oh, you get the
walking
first
over,
sort of.
and he's like, just throw a stone and distract.
Yeah.
Don't hurt him.
He says that way neither of them get.
Neither of them get hurt. It's like, all right, bro.
Yeah. I think I did throw the rock at that point. At this point I was willing to sort of give his interpretation of the walkers.
Yeah, and I mean it's
and
common.
go-
Walkers are not that threatening, so it's not like he doesn't go for the rock and he
Yeah,
walks
also,
over like
that
a mile per
particular-
hour. Just
That particular walker was fucking snail's pace, genuinely. So it wasn't even a big issue.
you gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Then you rest with James.
Oh,
Rest
he gives
with
you the
James.
apple, right? Yeah.
You get, and then because there's like, do you
Why
accept
would
the
you
apple?
fucking say no?
Why would he give you a? Why wouldn't
Why
if
would
he
he-
wanted to kill you?
Even if he
why
was
wouldn't he kill you?
sabotaging, he wouldn't have saved you. And that's so you give it to it, and that's like a relief because this season actually once again goes back to focusing on survival and making sure that the characters are relieved when they eat and stuff. Which is something they ignored in season 3.
Well, then and you get up in the morning and then he like takes you back to the school. But yeah, he goes up to the school, and then he's like, oh, I can't take you any further. I'm not used to people. That's my James. And then he fucking shoots. Willie shoots an arrow at him, doesn't he? Because he thinks he's a walker.
Imagine if James just died there.
He fucking gets impaled and he's like, oh, I can't believe
You have
I
like
should
an
have
option
told
to
you.
tell Willie.
Oh
to
fuck.
shoot.
Okay, sorry. Before we continue, we need to mention this. This is important. You think that I look like James?
Why is this important?
This is
I don't
important.
even know what you look like.
This is important because this guy, this fucking piece of shit, would insist that I look like James. And for those who don't know, I am a
Korean.
no. I'm a white British man with green eyes and blonde hair. And you were so insistent on it. You were like, bro, you look exactly like him.
It's just the hair, man.
What? It wasn't even the hair.
It's the hair.
I look like Violet. I look exactly like Violet.
Yeah, I see that.
I look exactly like Violet, but how I don't even look remotely like James, and that
It's just the
shit
hair. It's
that
just
shit
the hair.
pissed me off so
Why would it
much.
piss you off though? Because James is a good-looking dude.
He is, but it's wrong. But it's wrong.
Why would you be so insistent on not looking?
Because
like
you're
a
just
good-looking
saying I
dude?
look like someone who just. This was the same. People said I look like Jihan from Squid Games. And I am a white British man
Well,
with
okay,
green eyes.
That's more absurd than James.
I honestly think the Jihan makes more sense.
What the fuck? How?
Because Jihan was like tall and lanky and he had long hair.
Dion wasn't like tall and lanky.
Yeah, he
particularly.
was.
He was just an average height.
No, he
dude.
was a tall lanky
He
dude.
wasn't.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
actually wasn't.
Yes, he actually was.
He genuinely wasn't.
You're full of shit, man.
I'm thinking of Gion's the main character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he isn't tall and lanky.
No, he was tall, yeah.
Either way, I mean, you look more like James than.
I look more
Jihan.
like Jihan. I'll give Jihan that.
What the fuck? He has. Like,
I've been gaslit into thinking
he has
it.
jet black hair.
Fucking motherfucker. Fucking James has like dark brown
He
hair.
has like dirty blonde hair.
Is that dirty blonde?
Yeah.
You are insane.
You have the same sort of hair.
He does not have dirty blonde hair. His shit is brown as fuck. It's not dirty blonde.
It looks like it's blonde, but it's
It does not look like it's blonde.
no. You know, like dirty blonde is a type of hair color.
Yes.
His hair looks like dirty blonde, dirty, like actually dirty.
What, dirty blonde with dirt in
As
it?
in, it hasn't been washed.
How
or
much
anything.
dirt is in it if it's literally just all brown, not
Not
a single
dirt,
speck?
like,
Where
it's
is the
not
blonde in his
it's
hair?
greased.
Where is the blonde in his hair?
Get a picture up. I'll get a picture up.
Get a picture up.
I will.
Not a single blonde hair. Audience, literally everyone at home watching this is literally screaming saying, Edward, how the hell can you think he has blonde hair? He has brown ass hair. Here we go. He's going to be like, kind of. He's going to be like, kind of he has dirty blonde. Maybe not as much as I thought, but maybe a little bit. No, he has no blonde in his hair whatsoever. I will give Violet, that's a fair comparison. That is a fair comparison. But his hair is more colour your colour than it is my colour. Oh, here we go. He's looking at his phone and he's looking up like, ooh, look. I have a middle parting in my hair. I don't have like his like 2010.
He does have a bit of a fuck boy.
The 2010 like side part. I don't have that. Fucking look. What picture are you looking at? I'm sorry. Where is the blonde in that hair?
It's dirty blonde, bro.
It's not dirty blonde. So anyway, the bleeding child is taken to the school, and they bring him in, and they're kind of at first they're like, "Hey, fuck this kid. We don't want to." Well, Mitch is more like that than anybody else.
Yeah, no, it's only Mitch. It's only Mitch. It's only Mitch.
Pretty much. Because everyone else is like, "Oh, there's a bleeding child here. We should probably exercise a little restraint."
Even Ruby is like straight on it.
Yeah.
Even Lewis comes around
Yeah.
in this part.
Yeah. Then they they put him there and they're like, "Oh, we'll take care of him." And then I'm pretty sure you go into the office with Violet.
Yeah, because she sort of assumed.
And then she's like, "Listen, we got to figure out a plan to defend." And this is pretty much where like the whole like build up to the fight portion happens, or like build up to when they attack the school.
Yeah, because at this point they know that they're gonna come back because they didn't die, as far as they know.
No.
Yeah, they got the whole build up. I mean, I'm pretty sure Violet. I think Mitch like bursts in. And he's like pissed that Violet's taken up the leadership role.
That they dare try to help a
yeah.
bleeding child.
I don't know what he wants. Like, well, no, he just wants to.
I guess he
kick
wants
them
them
out.
gone. But also, after that, then Violet comes up with a great idea. She's like, "I know you guys have a lot of conflict, but I think you should both go to the greenhouse." I know that both Mitch and Clementine have
she
major beef.
She tries to justify it by saying that Mitch is good enough fight, even though Clem's better than him in a fight. First of all,
We don't know, maybe.
and then she sends Ruby as like the middle ground.
I was like, "Can't you have Ruby do something else?"
Couldn't they just have like Lewis come with us?
No, Lewis wouldn't want to come, would he? That's if Lewis wouldn't want to come, then Mitch definitely.
I know
wouldn't
who
want to
should have came with us.
come. Omar. Yeah. Son of a bitch. I am sweating like mad.
This could have been
right
an
now,
Omar
mate.
bonding moment.
God, I fucking hate that character. Anyway, yeah, so you go to greenhouse because you need to get like shit for bombs. I'm pretty sure.
No, you don't even go there for bombs. You just go there to find barbed wire to put around the perimeter, and then they end up Mitch just finds bomb stuff there. He used to blow shit up.
Do we find that on like his file, or is that just like he just says it? He's
Oh
just
no,
like,
no.
I kind of blew shit up back home.
Ruby says in the greenhouse.
Oh,
She's like, that's why he got sent there, and he's like, yep, pretty much.
Wow,
Because as soon as you get in,
the school didn't do a great job of like
as soon as
curbing
you-
that habit.
Yeah, I mean, like, as soon as you get into the greenhouse, Mitch just kind of becomes a lot more welcoming and a lot more friendly.
Not necessarily friendly, just less confrontational.
Yeah, well, yeah, more conversational. Like, even when they're outside, he's like, no, she should go in. And then as soon as they get in, like, you have, like, a cutscene where Clem looks at something and then he'll just come over and make a comment.
You did
but
pretty
not even
well.
Yeah.
For a girl. Or something like that.
No, he doesn't say for a girl.
No, he wouldn't. He would, but
He would, but he doesn't.
They don't want to fuck him up that
yeah.
bad. But yeah, and yeah, you got that whole thing in the and then you get that there's like the teacher thing where there's like the zombie who's the teacher who's the zombie, and she's like,
Yeah, Ruby's teacher.
and then she's like, oh no, we gotta kill it.
That's nice that they
Sounds like
gave.
Bonnie.
That's nice that they gave Ruby some like background on how she became.
Knows like medical shit.
Yeah. She was the.
Because that's the nurse, right? Yeah.
So that's a nice little touch they added.
That's kind of fucked up though. Like that zombie. It's got. I feel like a lot of zombies would be covered in like greenery then.
Yeah, well, she's kind of.
Like literally just moss.
She literally. Does she even have a lower half of her body?
No.
She's just like a.
She's a torso
from above. Torso and above.
In like a little garden area.
Yeah.
And then like then Mitch is just like, let's fucking kill this thing,
Yeah,
man.
which is
We
weird,
don't even need to bury it.
Because even if like Ruby and whoever was closer to the nurse than Mitch was, like surely Mitch would still look at her and see his old nurse.
Yeah.
But I guess he just doesn't.
Well, I guess he just views it differently. He's just like, oh, it's a fucking,
Yeah.
it's a monster now.
Maybe he hated her as well.
In fairness, it's probably been years, so like the corpse itself has literally like rotted so much
Yeah.
that like the face is like barely recognizable.
Yeah.
Then what do? You
you have a decision, don't you?
or you either bury it or you just like
No, I
burn it
think
or
you
throw it.
murder- Oh, yeah, but what the fuck is it?
Well, you have to kill it.
Yeah, you have to kill it.
It's like burn it or bury it. I'm pretty sure. Because bury
Oh,
it,
yeah.
then
Burn it is side with Mitch, which is like, why would you side with Mitch at this point?
Yeah.
And then, bury it. Which is, like, admittedly, burying it is so... Like, that would just take an unnecessary long time.
Mm.
But, I mean, you want to be nice to the person who's actually being kind to you in
Yeah.
this situation.
Then Mitch is like, you guys are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man,
Do your own thing,
Do
I
your
guess.
thing,
like,
bro.
I don't care about you.
dead ass. It's after the greenhouse, you go back to the room, and then you get the.
Picker's thing.
This is the most important decision.
It's a nice little bit of customization.
This is the greatest decision in all of Walking Dead
It's
history.
the most important one.
What shirt did you choose?
I chose Marlon's jersey. No, I'm kidding. I chose the Disco Broccoli one.
Yeah,
I was gonna choose the jersey until, like, because when I saw them initially, I was gonna choose.
Looks
that
like Marlins.
until AJ says I think that was Marlins. But I was
Yeah.
like, okay, hell no.
Get the Disco Broccoli shit.
Yeah.
What is Disco Broccoli anyway? What is that show
I
about?
don't know if he's like, is that a real thing?
What do you mean a real thing?
Like, is Disco Broccoli actually like an American,
No, not in the real world.
or is that just a thing they made up for?
Made up for the
something?
game. Because they'd have to license it, wouldn't
Yeah.
they?
Well, there it is. I guess it's just a kids show then. You know, like how we have the Veggie Tales.
Veggie Tales. The Veggie Tales.
The Veggie Tales.
Is it called The Veggie
No, I
Tales?
think it's
Or just
called
Veggie Tales?
Veggie Tales.
Because The Veggie Tales implies that it's some sort of like ancient tomb or ancient
I
scribe.
mean, it is pretty.
The Veggie Tales of
It's a
yesteryear.
historic,
Artifact.
yeah, artifact.
I guess so, but what a terrible show. What a terrible idea for the
VeggieTales.
show. No, broccoli.
Oh,
Disco broccoli. It's just a broccoli disco.
That must have been inspired by VeggieTales. Like, it has to be.
Or just vegetables in general.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, it's just a cool thing, I guess. Customization, personalization.
Yeah, that's when the time skip happens. Like the time skip is fine, honestly, because like
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
like there's not much.
Maybe I would expect them to have attacked earlier than that.
Well, I guess they're just building up.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're trying to like make them wait it out to like fuck over there.
Yeah, or maybe they were just preoccupied with.
Well, I guess we only ever see Lily and Abel together, so maybe they actually had to go to the Delta to get people to come with them, to like get carts and horses and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah.
You wake up with AJ with a knife.
Oh yeah, he's like crouching over the counter and he's like, "I'm here to protect you." It's like, what the fuck are you doing,
And
man?
he's like, you were having that dream again.
Having that dream
The one
about the
about the
ranch.
ranch.
How can he figure that one out?
Maybe Clem's told him before, and then he can like.
I
see-
always have dreams about a ranch.
Maybe she has like. Maybe she like.
Reoccurring
Maybe
dreams.
she physically responds to her nightmares, and AJ's picked up on it.
What a fucking psycho. But yeah, then
That's a cool little shot of him though,
on the table.
and he's got the knife.
Oh, he makes a new
crouched
knife,
down,
doesn't he? He's
yeah.
like, "Cool new knife, buddy."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill someone with.
Makes me feel
Makes me feel strong.
protective.
That comes later, but.
Yeah.
But I do like that whole section. Obviously, after talking to AJ, the whole section where you sort of like walk around and like look at the preparations, because you got Lewis on the fucking Archer thing. Mitch is making a bomb.
Willie and a sim are like talking about
Violet
traps.
tells you to check up on everyone, right?
She's
She's
just-
worried that
yeah.
progress isn't
We're
being
not
made. Even though
fucking
they made
ready,
pretty
man.
good. Even though they made pretty good progress.
They had enough fucking resources to like discuss a log
Yeah,
trap.
you kind of get a Lewis scene that where he tries to win you over again
That's true.
when you're shooting at the
That
thing.
son of a bitch.
And he apologizes like up front. Marlon did some pretty fucked up things.
Oh really? But he was still my friend.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I like Lewis.
Your friend's a
man.
bitch.
Lewis, I thought you liked Lewis more than this. You know,
Well, I just don't. I don't like that part. I don't like that.
this part of it.
I don't like how much of a bitch he is.
Yeah.
Compared to his like, oh my friend. Oh my god, but he was a slave trader, but he was my friend. Shut the fuck up, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, you get the little Archer thing, and then what I like about the Archer mini game is that they're like,
It's
see if
so
you can hit the
easy.
target. It's the
It's
most
so
easy
easy.
shit ever. You just, and you barely have to move the reticle, and he's just like, whoa, you're a pretty good shot.
Because the thing doesn't even swing like
Yeah.
very much. It swings incredibly slow, so you don't even have to alter your aim.
And it's not like you need to aim high, and then there's like
Yeah,
kind of a
yeah.
trajectory to the arrow. It just shoots.
As long as you aim it on the thing, and just do it 3 times in a row in the same spot, it's impossible to miss the target. It's just whether you get it in the middle or not. That's literally it.
And he's like, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, even though, and then you think about the fact that he missed all of his.
That's embarrassing, yeah.
That is
And he was
very
not even
bad.
that far away from it. Yeah,
I see it happening.
then you talk to Mitch, who's like, I'm making a bomb, you bitch. Let me make a bomb. And then you move away from him. And then
Yeah, Mitch is kind of just like
making bombs.
nice to you now.
Well, he's not nice, but he's like,
Nicer.
he's warming up to you.
Yeah.
And then, I think
Willie and a sim, the brick or log trap.
the brick or log
Yeah. Trap.
dilemma.
Yeah.
This has been discussed hours because,
We've got to think about the pros and cons of each.
a log is cool looking. It like
The brick
swings.
trap is so much better, man.
You pick the brick duffel bag thing because obviously you would. And then here's when the juicy shit happens. High energy, Edward. High energy. This is when you get the card game right because they're like, let's
The
blow off
second
steam.
card game. Yeah. Well, I think I prefer this card game to the other one, honestly.
Well, yeah, because
It's more personal. And wait, does Clem get to ask any questions in this one?
well, she gets to say to a sim, go kiss Ruby or go kiss a walker.
Oh yeah, that's better than the choices she has in the last game.
Yeah, but that still
together.
kind of sucks.
I mean, you still get
Well,
to
just
the-
ask him a
you still get
question.
the Ruby thing though. I
Yeah.
guess, which is better.
But the main, I think the main thing from that is you get 10 saying, oh, he thinks that like the Walker age will eventually end.
That's not the main thing. The main thing is the flip, marry, kill, bro.
One of the main things is we'll get to that, but his philosophy of he thinks that because the world has ages, right? It's got like the Bronze Age, Silver Age, Gold Age, I guess would be it. Dark
Terraria,
Age.
I guess.
If you know that wasn't invented by Terraria.
Wait, Terraria didn't invent like the history of life.
Terraria didn't invent the Bronze Age, funnily enough.
Crazy, bro.
But you'd be
So-
mistaken for it. But and then you kind of, and I get that is kind of an interesting point. Is
Take.
that is it possible that the walkers will eventually like either just rot away and die, or they
Yeah.
will eventually become extinct, and then humans will come back again,
Yeah, or maybe the humans won't come back again.
and it will just be walkers because
Yeah.
maybe the walkers are supposed to just be the dominant
Yeah.
species.
Mate, 10 is so philosophical with all that shit.
I
This is
know.
the second time in pretty good detail that he talks about his beliefs regarding afterlife.
He's morbidly depressed, dude. That guy.
He's just seen a lot of shit, man.
Innit?
And his artistic brain comes up with these great sort of philosophies about
Mhm.
the future. Anyway, yeah, the most important part of that scene is the flip, marry, kill.
Fuck, marry,
question.
kill.
And I think it's only fair that we give the answer that we gave. I
Uh,
can't even remember actually.
what were the options? Was it? Oh no, it was
James.
a Sim, James, and Ruby.
Yeah.
And I was like, I remember
Ooh,
going
I
like,
kill James.
I remember. No, I remember going. Fuck James. I remember going.
He's probably got like Walker skin all over him.
No, but he wouldn't wear it during sex.
Yeah, but he would have. It would just stink from when he's been wearing it.
But everyone stinks in the apocalypse.
He'd stink more.
I don't think he would stink any more than anybody else.
I mean, he is pretty hot though, so
That's what I'm saying.
give him that.
Give him that. So I'd fuck James.
I don't want to kill. I'd kill James. I'd marry.
I remember at the time.
Ruby,
I remember
fuck a
saying.
Sim.
I remember saying marry Ruby and kill a Sim, because a Sim will go
Kill a
thank
Sim.
God, because he doesn't want
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make it
'cause
awkward.
that's kind of messed up. Yeah, but he's doing that thing where you're over exaggerating it so that I don't want to be awkward, but realistically, we know he wasn't happy with that at all.
No.
Kill James. Marry Ruby.
Fuck James.
Fuck a sim.
Marry
Fuck a sim.
Ruby. I can't believe you'd say fuck a sim, bro.
I'm fucking a sim.
A sim does not know how to treat a lady or a man, as we would be men during that scenario.
Yeah.
He wouldn't know how to treat
yeah,
you,
no.
bro. James would know, and he's gay. James is gay, so he'd know better.
Oh yeah, well I was kind of playing it from if I was Clementine. If it was me though, yeah, I'd go with what you're saying.
Respect.
Yeah.
But no, I do. But you know, besides obviously the obvious drama, that is a good scene as it's comedic scene. It's light.
Lewis just kind of steals the
Get
show.
some character building. Well, because he literally is just like.
Think
So is there any?
tease another person about unrequited love.
Fuck that guy. But he's like, so is anybody? Have you got a crush on anybody? It's like, shit,
But
no.
yeah, but he fits the stereotype.
love
he fits the
anybody.
stereotype so well of just like want to be popular kid.
Well, this is where the juicy shit comes in. This is where the comments are divided. It only took us almost 3 hours, but this is where the comments divide.
This is where we're gonna have to shift this freaking story.
This is where we go on for another 4 hours.
Yeah.
Who do we ship?
Who do we ship?
Do we ship?
Do you know what's crazy though?
Wait, I got it. Cluis or Vlementine? Vlementine or Cluis?
Lewis sounds way better.
No, Vlementine. I like Vlementine.
Phlegm. It sounds like phlegm.
No, it sounds like Valentine. Like Vlementine.
Okay.
Or Kylet.
Kylet. Yeah, that's not bad, I guess.
Kylet sounds like some surfer dude.
Kylet,
Kylet, shout out.
It's not like they say though. Oh, who do you want to
Fuck.
pursue?
Well,
your romance?
I mean, there's kind of the on the nose when they both walk away from you,
Yeah.
and you
yeah.
go, "Who do I spend time with?"
I think
you
a
look
lot-
over.
I think a few people were annoyed that they didn't make it more clear though, because
What do you mean make it more? It was pretty obvious.
no, because they, if you remember what they want, what each person wants you to follow them for, people mostly follow Violet because they think they're being more helpful because Violet says something about going up to a tower and watching, like, and implying that she's like going on guard or whatever. Whereas, if you follow Lewis, he says, oh, he just wants help tuning his piano. So people are sort of misled into thinking, okay, I'm just going to help Violet to go and because I want to be more helpful as a person.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of just
Now,
knew, I knew from the offset that it was just, oh, this is the romance options. Because I could tell that by the way that they kind of hinted at Violet
that's where
kind of
they
giving
go, yeah.
looks and
Violet.
then Lewis giving looks. And the fact that they were literally the two of them walking their separate ways.
And in fairness, I don't know how they would have gone about making it direct. Like,
Yeah.
how would they?
Do you want to go on a date with me,
Yeah,
Clementine, or do you want to go on a date with Violet?
The following thing's fine. I just think people. I'm just explaining why people were sort of annoyed.
Morons.
I went with Violet first time. Second time I went with Lewis.
I think first time I went with Lewis, because I think I was shipping them and Lewis.
Yeah.
I was a Cluis
You're
supporter.
a Cluis, dude.
I think I am a Cluis.
Yeah, so am I.
I think mostly just because the
Even though
way
you prefer Violet.
I prefer Violet
character.
as a character, but the way I play Clementine is I play Clementine as more of like a cynical straight man, right? Kind of like someone who's more logic based and kind of serious.
Yeah.
So I think that having Lewis as like a comedic relief is a good contrast between the two.
Well, they complement each other, don't
They complement each other because it's like opposites attract, right?
Yeah.
At least the way I play it. But if you play it more like Lewis, then Violet would be a better fold to that, as Violet being, because Violet's more serious. If you played Clementine more like sarcastic and shit, then Violet would be a better matchup.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you pretty much about the whole Lewis being a better fit for Clementine. Well, based on our Clementine.
Based on how we played it, yeah.
Because he's just funny as well.
And also Lewis, I feel like Lewis would be a funner parent.
I wasn't even thinking about kids, bro.
Bro.
Yeah, no.
AJ, bro.
Lewis would be a good dad.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. And like I feel like because the way I play it, Violet would be good too, but we would both be too serious.
Yeah.
And you need like some like piece of shit who doesn't take anything seriously.
Yeah, well, you need a bit of I mean, it is the apocalypse. So
levity.
It feels a bit weird to say you need a bit of fun, but
You need a little bit of a fun dad.
you need a bit of brightness.
Yeah.
In personality and everything.
But no, I like the romance stuff does. It's weird because it's not very Walking Dead to have like a romance subplot.
No.
Realistically, I guess
The only
3
time
had
they ever
it,
hinted
but
at it was 3. Oh, fuck me.
For
3.
God's sake. I was gonna say the only time they ever hinted it is in season.
Oh,
1.
Carly and Ali.
But they don't go into it. Whereas this one, they don't even take it like, they don't even go that far with it. Like when you compare it to other games such as The Last of Us or anything, they don't take it as far as that. But they do it
not?
enough.
Well, The Last of Us doesn't have a decision though.
No, not decision based. I mean just the romance in general. Like the romance is more
Yeah.
detailed in Last of Us.
2.
Last of Us 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Last of Us 2. But yeah,
I think it's
I
nice.
like both the scenes, honestly.
And it suits Clementine like growing up and becoming a woman, right? Because she's had all this time where she's had to be alone with AJ, and like this is her moment to like finally feel like she's among her peers.
Yeah, and she's with,
And like to kind of get the experience that she's been missing out on, like pretty much like all the teenage years and like love and drama and shit.
'Cause she's finally with people her age, majority.
Yeah, and she's finally alone without that fucking
I
AJ.
I think trying to think about what scene I prefer more out of the Clem and Violet scene or the Clem and Lewis scene. They're both good in their own right because they both cater towards each individual personality. Like Lewis's is perfect for who he is.
I think maybe Violet for me.
What better?
A better scene.
Better scene.
Well, I like looking up at the stars, and then like you go like.
I mean, I don't really like because I don't believe in astrology or any of that shit. But yeah, I'll give it. You know, it's cool how they.
I
do
think they're
that.
just having fun.
Yeah, I know. I do find it fun how you get to pick who suits in personality.
Yeah, who's and then I like how the
You could just say me for everyone.
Me.
I think
that
that's
sounds
me.
like me. You're brave. You're strong.
But it's like, are you sure?
I was talking about 10 for struggling with his sister.
Yeah.
Really? That
I
just
think
kind of
it's
sounds
me,
like
man.
me. But I like how that's like a whole the bell tower and like the roof. That's a completely original like
Well, yeah, I
scene
guess
that you don't go to again. Whilst with the
Yeah.
piano room, you go back like you
You've
were
been there
there in the
for,
beginning.
yeah.
So it's like an entirely unique
And like
location.
the like getting up to the bell tower is fun as well.
Yeah.
Like the whole slowly getting up there scene while you have dialogue on the way up.
And I also find
Pretty
it so
cool.
cringe in the Lewis section where you like carve the heart. And I'm
Yeah.
like, God, that would be so
No,
awkward.
it's just
if he didn't
awkward.
reciprocate the feelings and you carved the heart, you'd be
Yeah.
like, fuck
It's
it.
the fact that Clementine's just silent.
And it's the fact that
Period.
she has the balls to do that. Like she's that confident.
Yeah, she's
and I mean, like,
ballsy,
why
she's
would
ballsy.
like? Obviously, everyone's like head over heels for her, but like she had the confidence to fucking put a heart around
I
her and be
know,
like,
yeah.
I have full confidence in this. You
Yeah.
definitely love me. What if he was just like, no,
I mean, to be
bro,
fair
what
though,
the
like
fuck?
Lewis wouldn't say no. Would
He wouldn't say no, but
No.
like that still,
Yeah.
that's so out of
Is that, do
any
you reckon that's just her
realm
being
of
so
comfort.
confident in that people would like her?
Yeah, I guess
Or do
so.
you think it's just her trying to be like flirty?
I guess it's her trying to be flirty, but it's like, but it's also like you have to do that. I think to,
I-
to like
I-
show that you're
I
romantic.
think
You
it's-
have to be like
yeah. If
for
you
the
if you
want to
get the full like romance options, 'cause,
you
like,
have to draw the
'cause
fucking
depending on
heart.
how romantic you are, like you could either friend zone them or you could be romantic but then not do certain things.
Yeah.
That basically influences how they act later on in the other episodes. But the Clem and Lewis one is it's funnier, isn't it? Like
Yeah. But
Lewis
I
is
think
so
I
funny.
think the Violet one is a little more grounded in reality,
well,
like staring up at the stars and just
Violet,
talking.
The Violet in Clem one just feels more like less of a comedy sketch.
Less comedic, yeah.
than the Lewis and Violet one,
Yeah.
which I do like either way.
And then teenage romance is interrupted by
Yeah, by 10. No, not 10.
is it Willie?
Well, no, Will.
Go
no,
walk us on the
no,
fence.
No, it's not even interrupted. Like Clem just leaves eventually, and then
Yeah.
finds AJ on the tower. And
Oh,
they talk for a
they
bit.
talk for a bit.
What do
Yeah.
they talk about? Because I know obviously eventually AJ sees the.
Well, I think.
people.
Oh no, he talks about getting dibs on
Yeah.
on him, and then she's like,
Which-
it's
which-
okay to be
which-
scared
yeah,
of
which
him.
you can either like egg him on, or you can kind of be like, well, what the fuck are you?
Egg
on
him
about?
off.
AJ, chill.
Because it's like, do you kind of it's kind of
Well,
like
it's
how
how you-
playful are you with the idea of him murdering someone? Are you
Yeah,
just
like
going to be
he's-
like, yeah, sure, you can have dibs? So then that develops the conflict of, is he getting too violent? Is he taking violence too, like, matter of fact, like he doesn't give a shit about it anymore?
Yeah.
Well, but because he's got like the binoculars and shit, and I'm pretty sure he's the one who spots like their cart
Yeah, he is.
coming along, and then the cart comes up, and then everyone's like, oh fuck.
You know, sir, because you see the fucking horses and the torches.
Wait,
You see them fucking like squatting and crouching, like going
With
around.
torches, and he's like, could that be a walker? Can't tell.
Yeah, they just walkers have learned how to sort of domesticate horses.
Domesticate horses and squat.
Yeah.
But then you get to the attack, and then everyone's like, oh fuck, and then you hide. Then Lily comes through the door.
Yeah, everything's. You know what's about to go down.
Yeah.
They've got their barricades out.
He's like, bring out the kids, and I promise I won't take any more kids. You're like, this probably isn't going to work. Oh no, before that, Omar gets shot!
Does he get shot
in the leg?
Does he get shot immediately?
I'm pretty sure when he comes out, because then you take him behind cover.
Fuck, I don't know if I want to talk about that scene.
Too depressing.
Yeah, it's too sad.
He didn't even die, but like the fact that he could get hurt.
The fact that he felt pain.
The fact that Omar felt pain is fucked
We
me
won't be
up.
able to get food for a while.
God, what a terrible character. He literally just exists to get shot in the leg. We have the attack. And then...
The climax of the second episode. It's all led to this moment.
And then you have...
Lily.
You fucking have... 10 comes out, right? Because she says, oh, Minnie's still alive. Minnie's still with us.
Yeah, and bless his little soul.
He goes out.
He hears that and he's
like looking for answers. He's like, what the hell do you mean?
He can't see through the deception. So he
can't
goes
see
out.
through it.
Deception. Disgrace.
But then I'm pretty sure...
I think... I'm trying to remember
No,
how it
Mitch sets
escalates.
off the bomb. Because there's a bomb
in the car.
They put a bomb under the cart, and then the bomb explodes,
And then Lily's sort of taken aback.
10 runs away.
Clementine,
I'm pretty sure she like shoots her in the like shoulder or leg.
She tries to shoot her.
Yeah.
And then
Mitch runs up.
Yeah,
to
Mitch
just,
runs
like,
up, thinking that Lily's like
incapacitated, and she's
like
fucking.
not thinking, and then he gets complete like Lily.
It's like
Fucking strikes that knife into the the bottom of his jaw.
hell breaks loose. Mitch is dead. People like flying shit everywhere.
Willie just breaks down.
He's like, Mitch,
yeah.
you're dead, Mitch.
I did feel sad when Mitch died, Loki.
I did.
I
Well, 'cause
wanted
it's like-
our relationship to go a bit further.
Well, I like Mitch more than Willie, so I was like, why
like-
not Willie? Why not
no,
Willie?
I like Willie.
Willie's a terrible
That sounds
character.
weird. I like Willie though.
He's not as good as Mitch, but he's pretty good.
Well,
I mean Omar. Sorry, I mean Omar.
oh, he's.
I mean
yeah,
Mitch.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is ridiculous.
survives.
The amount of rambling on this.
I like it.
I thought we were going to get it all done by today, but that is not
Done
happening.
2 episodes.
And I'll be honest, the heat has really fucked up my
Yeah, no,
energy.
it's been messing with my train of thought.
Yeah. Okay,
It's 33 degrees here.
fucking mother of God.
Although,
Anyway.
if they're from America or whoever you're from, they're probably used to that though. whereas
Yeah,
we're
well,
like-
they'll think we're talking in Fahrenheit.
we're British people.
So they'll be like, 33? freezing.
Celsius.
Yeah.
But our British skin is fragile.
Can't handle it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'd
can't
fucking
handle
pass
this.
that.
It's every day.
Really?
Alright,
Well, you could say that the struggle
No, we
for
have to-
survival
shut the-
happens
no, we
every
actually-
day, bro.
bro, it's every day.
This is a disaster.
We're finishing this right now.
Well, okay.
No more fucking distractions. Okay?
It's okay.
They force us into the admin building.
Yeah, because all of them
This is
fucking
where
come.
this is where the demonstration of the brilliant trap that
trap.
you've chosen.
And there's the couch. There's the less well known push the couch down the stairs trick.
Yeah, that takes out one of the women.
It was very Home Alone-esque. It reminded me of Home Alone.
Yeah.
With like the makeshift trap and shit.
Yeah.
So who's in the admin building at this point? Just Clem and AJ?
In the admin building.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Clem, AJ.
I think it's just Clem and AJ because when you get to the top room you have the direct.
Oh yeah, Abel comes up.
Yeah,
and he's like
Abel,
trying to fight you and shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "I'm gonna fuck you a little bit." Well, he didn't say that, but
I do like the whole cinematography.
well, the
of
fight
this
in the
scene.
building, the burning
The
building,
going up the stairs. Yeah, the smoke filling the room.
because they're throwing the Molotovs at the
Yeah,
people and the fire.
the fire outside. The
And that
character-
fight, that I
not
like
not knowing what characters are, they're basically all MIA.
yeah.
So
And the fight with Abel is very like
Good.
kind of reminds me of season 2 as
Was-
kind of like scratching and like just grabbing whatever
it's
you
a,
can.
it's
and
a
knocking.
proper brawl, and
yeah.
you kind of use improvised items. Like at one point, Clem grabs this like sort of pointy snow globe. No, not snow globe thing. Like a.
It's a lighthouse.
Yeah, lighthouse.
Don't you get on the balcony
You do.
and then you push him off? You collapse onto that man.
Yeah, no. Abel's fucked his leg at this point. I think he kind of cushions the blow for Clementine.
Oh yeah, Clem's
Sort of
like,
lands
"Wow,
on-
I'm fine. I'm actually okay."
Clem's just
And then you get up, and then I'm pretty sure at that moment that's when you see the
Lily
like.
puts a gun to her head.
Does she?
Yep.
Or she's like, "Why isn't this easier?"
Yeah, she's like,
Something.
this should be easy.
He's like, "You won't do it because you knew who I was."
Yeah.
It's like
It's kind of
I doubt that she
it's
wouldn't.
kind of a generic card to
It
pull.
is. But also, I feel like they.
You knew me once, a long time ago, slightly.
I was there when
Yeah.
things happened.
Yeah, it's like if Omar happened to be a character in season 1 and him just being like, I was there
you know.
Omar, that'd be so fucking funny if he. What if he's actually been in the background?
Because if Omar.
Oh, like, they're gonna get so pissed off by the amount of time we're spending talking about
Omar
him.
is the only character other than Clem. Can you imagine if he's the only character other than Clem who's like lost in every season?
Yeah.
He's just always.
He could be in the background of every episode. It's like in Adventure Time they had the snail in every episode. Walking Dead has every single episode. You're gonna have Omar in the
And then
background.
in season 4, he gets like a major role, which
Yeah.
is basically just him in his role he is
Yeah,
now.
that's still like his major role. He's pretty much the main character.
Yeah. But yeah, they could have done that better. But anyway, it gives a chance for either whoever you romance to save you. Cause,
Does
like,
it really? Who
yeah,
depends
I
on
think
the
if you
romance?
Lewis, I think so. I could be wrong. But I think if you romance Lewis, he like jumps in and takes out Lily.
Oh shit!
Like, and then if you romance,
But where does Lily go from that? Does she just like run off?
well, so she has that, and then they get into a fight, and then while that's happening, Abel grabs you, and then you fight Abel again.
Yeah.
And then yeah, something basically. People get dispersed. Yeah, you get the big. This is the like big decision of episode 2 is who do you save?
Lila Lewis.
I mean, you're basically just gonna save whoever you romanced.
That's true.
Yeah, and then this is what I meant at the very, very beginning of this 3 hour and 15-minute thing. I said
It will not be that long. on
choices
publishing.
matter. Choices matter. And this is where like whoever you save here kind of
It pretty much changes their character completely.
Well, yeah, episode 3 is you spend a lot of it. It's not even. It's like out in previous games. Whoever you save doesn't really matter because later on they're gonna die, and who you save just has minimal input from there on anyway. Whoever you save actually is very significant. Arguably the third.
Well, whoever
main
you
character.
save could potentially die.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you could have them alive.
Yeah.
And
You're a scumbag.
I mean, whoever you save basically becomes the third main character in episode 3.
Pretty much.
Behind Dekon and AJ.
Well, what
Like
I
Loki.
remember when I replayed it, I kind of did like 4D chess with it, where I romanced Lewis, but I let him get caught because I
Why?
knew that I didn't want 10 to die, because obviously if you wanted Lewis to survive, if you romanced Lewis and saved him, you would have to sacrifice 10 in order to have him with you at the end. So I would romance Lewis.
when you mean when you replayed it then? You
Yeah.
did this. Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I would romance. I
God,
romance
there's so many
Lewis.
layers to this shit.
Absolutely.
There's so many layers.
I romanced Lewis and then didn't save him, so that I didn't have to kill 10.
Yeah, so,
so
yeah.
Violet would die, which
To
is a
save one
shame.
of them, yeah.
But then I could have Lewis
Lewis
and
and
10.
10.
But even though Lewis didn't have a tongue, I would still have the romantic.
still
And I think
there.
there's still dialogue kind of hinting at the romantic relationship.
Anyway, that's episode. Oh no, and then at the very end you get shown that Abel's still alive, and you've
And
kind
they're
of got him
like,
as a
oh, we got to
hostage.
figure out so you can get
Yeah, so you're just gonna question him in the next episode. Okay, final thoughts on this episode is it's my least favorite of season 4.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. I think it's
Yep.
my favourite of season 4.
Favorite?
All right.
Favorite.
Jesus, calm
Your favorite
down.
of season 4.
Yeah, what?
Whoa.
What's so
I don't
crazy
know,
about that?
I don't mean it in an offensive way. I mean it in a whoa, that
Jesus.
shocked me way.
You
Because most
fucking-
people.
The way you went, whoa! You fucking...
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, it was more just surprise. Like, yeah, explain, man.
I like it.
Justify yourself.
Explain yourself. Wherever that's from.
I don't know. It's just.
I think
a
it's
generic
Phoenix Wright,
fucking thing.
which is like a game about lawyers.
Well,
The Better
whatever
Call
it
Saul
is.
video game.
Yeah.
That would be so fun. Imagine, bro.
Episode 2 is my least. I still like it. It's
What
just
don't
my
you
least
like?
favorite. I don't like the fact that when you leave the school at the beginning, it just feels quite lazy how they have this big vote for you to leave and then you just end up coming back anyway. It feels like they were just.
Well,
It feels like they were lost
didn't
for
you even
ideas.
say that you felt you were glad that they went back?
I'm glad they did because what the fuck else would they have done? But it just felt a bit. It just felt a bit weird.
Well, how else would they have?
I don't know, but it could have been done a bit better. I think. Just somehow it could have been done better.
Well, no, but you get
I'm
to
not the
meet
master.
James from it though, which I think that's kind of the point of it. Is that you
I
leave
guess
and they
you
go
get
back to
meet
James.
Yeah.
Well,
I think the choices are less like because basically there's a big choice at the end of every episode, right? And I think the big choice at the end of this one is the least important of all the other ones.
I wouldn't say so.
I mean, yeah. Oh no, I guess at the end, the first one there isn't really a choice, but in the other 3, like killing Lily or not.
No,
or
but I would say
chopping
choosing who to save, like that character who gets taken, changes permanently.
Oh yeah, no, it's super important. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like it. Like the ending.
Is it important or is it not important?
No, it is important.
But you were like, it's one of the least important ones.
Yeah, but it's still important.
Well, compared to what?
So for example, at the end of every other episode of season 4, I felt incredibly emotionally invested, and don't get me wrong, I did in this one too, but I felt less so than in the other ones.
Really?
Yeah, really.
What, less so than just, like, Lily being shot?
Yeah, that's a fucking crazy scene.
But that's not as emotionally investing as having to choose
No,
who
I think
to
it
save.
is. I genuinely think it is, because that season is fueled by anger.
But Lily is just dead.
And that is like a pivotal moment in AJ's character.
Yeah, but like that...
And then episode 4, of course, is self-explanatory.
But the split is also pivotal because it determines...
Yeah, no, it's,
like,
yeah,
how...
yeah, I know, yeah.
Because it's one of the less important ones.
It is. It's still a very important.
Well, compared to... You've only mentioned the Lily one.
Because that's... Well, yeah, and the episode 4 one, then, where you have to... The Clem scene with him and AJ. I just think the other episodes are better. I just enjoy playing them more.
No, I'd say I like 2 most. Well, I like the romance stuff. I like the card game. I like some of the stuff with Mitch. I like all that crap.
Fair enough.
I like seeing Lily. Well, the Lily introduction. I like James.
That's true. By the way, I'm gonna give this episode... I haven't given any of the other ones.
No,
Fucking
you
great.
haven't.
I'm gonna give this episode...
7.5.
7 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah,
That low?
That's pretty good.
No, but you put it at the same level as episode 4 of season 2, which you fucking hate.
Did I give that a 7?
Yeah.
A 7.5. 8, even.
Anyway, let's get on to episode 3.
Okay, so you've probably seen the disclaimer on screen. In case you didn't pay attention to the screen, we are recording this for episode 3 and 4. We're recording this genuinely months after episode 1 and 2, and the reason for that is that when we recorded episode 1 and 2, we did it on one of the hottest days in UK history. It was like, what was the temperature like?
Nearly 40.
Nearly 40. So we were not. That's a lot of why the delirious jokes about Omar. Why there's like half of that.
Yeah, we were just going insane during
In
that
heat
recording,
delirium.
Yeah.
But it's been
We
a while.
actually fought each other after that recording.
Yeah, we genuinely had a fight.
We had a
I
scrap.
won. But there was.
Wow, is that how it went, huh?
That's how I remember.
That's not how I remember it going.
Wow, because I knocked you so good that you don't remember it.
Oh, yeah.
But then we were like, oh, we're gonna do it next time. But then it was almost as hot the next week, so we were like, oh, I won't bother.
Yeah,
and
we were caught in the middle of a heat wave, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of killed the motivation to continue with it.
Yeah.
But also, after the heat wave, I had to go on a short holiday, and then now we're back about maybe 2 weeks after that.
a short holiday to the People's Republic of China to deliver documents. You said something about documents.
Yeah, but the audience doesn't need to know
yeah,
about
less
that.
of a holiday, more of
No,
a business
yeah.
trip. But
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna call it a holiday.
yeah,
Time off,
respect.
proper escape.
Escape for some.
But I'm excited to be back and talking about
Are you?
the greatest game of all time. I'm very excited, mate.
Okay, so
As you remember, this is one of my favorite seasons. So
that's true. But okay, so we're not going to be doing this how we did
Well,
episode 1 and 2,
yeah.
which was literally like scene to scene.
yeah, while it will still be episodically rather than a summary per se.
We're going to focus more on like important scenes.
Yeah, the key points rather than dabbling on insignificant scenes.
which
Well, there
don't
are
add much.
no insignificant scenes, but for the
scenes that
sake
don't
of
add much to the
for
discussion.
the sake of being time constrained, we're gonna
Yeah.
focus on the.
And we're not going to
to.
re-record the entire thing because that's like way too much
That-
fucking effort.
yeah.
This is almost 3 hours.
I mean,
over 3
that
hours.
was 3 hours of my life.
I'm
Why
not
would I-
deleting
I'm
that.
not gonna.
edit
Yeah,
that. Because that would also be admitting that I did something wrong. That we did it wrong. But that's not. We're
Yeah.
not open to that.
But you don't have to admit because you don't think it was the wrong thing to do. So
Well.
so there's no sort of regret.
I'm here now, so what does that say?
We're here. We're
But,
here and ready to deliver.
Anyway, episode 2 ends with. Well, they would have just heard this, but episode 2 ends with fucking.
Yeah, it's good to refamiliarize ourselves.
One of the person you didn't help at the end of episode 2 gets carted off with.
Lily.
Well, Lily carts them off.
Well,
but
yeah.
They get carted with
Omar, Asim,
Sim and.
person you chose, and that might be it.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah.
And then fucking Mitch dies.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, so you get
So
taken
only
off
3
with
kids
Lily,
get nicked.
taken off with Lily and the rest of her gang, but not Abel
No, because Abel gets left behind because
because he's a crippled mess.
Because
At
he
this
got
point,
fucking, he got his legs
he's
turned into
maimed.
jelly.
Well, he was already maimed, but now he's just
Poor bloke.
yeah.
I mean, he's not
having a
very
tough
kind.
time.
Poor bloke.
And they sort of hint at that at the end of episode
Well,
2,
that
don't
so
they?
this one
They
opens.
foreshadow
This
it.
one opens with the torture scene.
Yeah, yeah, very good scene in my opinion. Great way to start it off.
Well, it's like the moral, kind of the big moral. Dog's barking. It's one of the big moral
moments of this episode. Probably not the biggest, but it's one
Could
of the big
be.
ones. Well, it kind of foreshadows what comes next.
Well, there's certainly a debate for it. It's one of the more insightful scenes where you directly get to influence what AJ thinks and what he believes is right and wrong.
Because
you know?
if anyone doesn't remember, it was you bring Abel in and you're like, okay, we need to find out where they're taking the kids. And you have multiple ways of approaching the interrogation process.
Multiple, yeah. It's not even just how you start it. Throughout it, there's various options for
And
you to choose
there's
from.
various levels of like kind of psychological torment and like physical torment. So you could like hurt him a bit, or you could hurt him a lot.
Or you could go down the more sort of conservative,
Empathetic.
verbal approach, which I think is what we both did. I presume you did. I definitely did.
Yeah. I don't think I fucked with him, and you can give him like water or a cigarette.
I took it very seriously with trying to make AJ not a homicidal freak child.
Yeah, it's like AJ, watch this man's balls get mauled
But
by a fucking dog.
I do like that they give you the options. You can be flexible with it. It doesn't send you down one particular road.
But
There's
then
various
AJ's always
paths to
watching
choose
and
from.
shit, so you've got to keep in mind that.
Oh yeah, you always got to get that telltale reminder.
That's true. Hey, by the
AJ is
way,
listening. Don't
hey,
forget.
dickhead. He can fucking listen to your thoughts and shit.
I think so. I'm trying to remember if I did anything physical to him. I think
No, I didn't.
because I didn't even like throw water over his head at the beginning. I think, oh no, I might have slapped him to wake him up.
I threw.
I mean, no, I think did. You have to. You had to do something sort of directly physical
to wake him
at the
up.
beginning. Yeah, it was either slap him, drench him, or
Shoot him in the head.
or just
wake him up.
murder him. No, yeah, or something else. I can't remember, but yeah.
But then that isn't like all that interrogation stuff isn't even like the obvious sign of the decision, because after you finish the interrogation, there's the because he's gonna die anyway. So it's the do you kill him or do you let him?
Oh yeah, that's sort of the ultimate ethical decision.
Well,
isn't
they
it?
frame that as the how's this gonna turn out?
Yeah.
But honestly, the interrogation seems more important.
Yeah,
than the
I
actual
agree. I
aftermath of
agree.
it. Because he's gonna die either way. It's just, are you gonna respect his wishes and kill him, or are you just gonna? And I feel like even if you didn't like him, in terms of practicality, you'd want to kill him.
Yeah.
Unless you would want him to turn into a walker, just so he knows he's turned into a walker, and then kill him afterwards.
That's just kind of sadistic and evil.
That's very fucking
morbid
yeah.
thought. But yeah, basically, like, depending, I could be wrong here, but depending on how you've been behaving around AJ up to this point, he actually acts differently depending on that in these scenes. So he could be swearing, he could be more sort of confrontational, up in Abel's face, I think. And at the end of the scene, yeah, once you've made your decision, you kind of get this cool shot of just zooming in on AJ's face with music sort of building tension in the background.
There you go, baby.
Just sort of telling you that AJ, you probably knew this already, but AJ is going to be a very important character.
Hey, dickhead, AJ can fucking listen to your.
Yeah.
He's an important character.
He's
in the
very
fucking
important,
story.
and you shouldn't take anything for granted.
And he's gonna listen to your shit.
Which is actually important, because having played Season 3, you could be led to believe that your decisions mean fuck all, but
Jesus Christ, man.
But in this season, they
been
certainly
months.
don't. It's been months, but the anger still remains. Yeah, so
Well, you get that scene, and then you get a little scene which is just like, yeah, they go and confirm, okay, Abel was telling the truth. But yeah, then after you scope out the place, that's when you kind of go, okay, what's our plan here? And then then the group comes up with the idea of, well, Clementine does, because she fucking comes up with every idea.
well, yeah.
Since she was fucking 8 years old, she's been coming up with every
Yeah.
single idea. But she's like, we could use, because James was able to like control the walkers, so she's like, oh, we could use them in the assault on the boat. So
That's disguise.
Then that leads to the scene with James in the barn. And what I like about this is it posits a question that kind of hasn't been asked before.
Yeah, well, I
in the
mean,
series.
you speak about the interrogation scene, if it's been done.
This
We know
one
for
definitely
sure
hasn't.
this hasn't, yeah.
No.
Because that hasn't even been touched upon, let alone
In the
explored
games, yeah.
as a theme.
The idea that they have some sort of sentience left.
Yeah, and I mean, personally, I wasn't buying it, but I respect the game for showing us that scene.
Well, it gives the walkers something.
Well, it
kind of a
helps
layer.
explain James a bit more, because at the moment he's sort of, well, he still is, but he's basically a mystery man,
Yeah.
and you just get to learn a bit more about him,
And
bit
that's
more
something
contextualized.
that's more like, and I don't know. I think it is just it makes him definitely stand out, because you've
Yeah.
always got kind of your archetypes that show up in Walking Dead games. Like you've got the kind of strong commanding guy,
macho
the
dudes.
more supportive person, like the kind of
The
funny
liability.
one. But
What like he stands out as unique because of that ideology and philosophy.
Yeah, well, he's literally the only person. That
And
we meet.
I do like how the game doesn't really point you in any direction in particular. Like obviously there's that scene in the barn, and then you go up and then you hit the wind chimes, and then they all look up and there's like music playing and shit. But like that could easily, if you wanted to rationalize that could easily just be, oh, they heard a noise and they looked up.
Yeah,
Or
it depends on how you interpret it.
Yeah, or if you're willing to be open to the idea, that could be your.
Well, I was
shit. They're
yeah,
sentient.
well, I certainly went into it openly. Like, I thought that was a cool scene for many reasons. Like, a lot of people watched that and then would just laugh at the over emotional music and whatever. But I kind of, I didn't. What I got from it wasn't, oh yeah, these walkers have conscious thoughts still or anything like that. But I did. When I did watch that scene, I saw a bunch of walkers. I was basically looking at what humanity has become.
It's more sad. It's more of a sad thing than like
yeah, certainly. You know,
because it's like, oh shit.
You're watching what once was the thriving human
humanity.
species be confined to the shell of what it once was by just being being attracted simply to a noise and thinking nothing of it. And it is definitely sad. And you look at those people and you see mums, fathers, brothers, sisters,
No
sons.
kids. There were no kids in that barn though. Although kids.
For the sake of the
older
argument,
people.
yeah. Well, yeah,
the sake of
exactly.
the
Yeah,
argument.
grandparents or whatever. And
Ben Shapiro was actually.
So I did feel a tiny bit emotional watching it, but when I came back out of the barn, I wasn't thinking about.
Well,
Yeah.
you could-
Oh yeah, they need to be treated as human now because they.
Well, I do like how you can be to James. You can go to James and just be like, "Oh yes, I believe you," and then when AJ asks you later, you can just be like, "Nah, bullshit."
Oh yeah, you can do that. Yeah, and that's another layer. I'd forgotten about.
Because you
that,
might just
yeah.
want to try and win him over if you're not willing. If you're not willing to like have the
Which
argument.
is arguably the smarter thing to do.
Probably
because,
is.
because your opinion it doesn't really matter, but getting James on your side does matter.
But I feel like a lot of people don't do that because in other games they would just give you that option of this is the moment where you decide your stance. But this one gives you the opportunity to like a second try.
Right, yeah,
do you
expand it.
really,
Yeah,
or is
yeah,
this
yeah.
just like a show?
Because when you're speaking with AJ, that's when you're being your true.
That's what, yeah.
Truthful
Because you're speaking to him
self.
directly, and you're being like, he's literally asking you straight up.
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
Did you just do that for show? And I think that's a good detail because, realistically, in circumstances like this, you probably would, if you really needed the help, you probably would just go along with it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like, what would be the point in
Yeah,
having
well,
the philosophical debate?
what's the alternative?
Like my friends are in a fucking boat and they're going to be shipped into child slavery.
Yeah, and if I
He
don't get
might
this
he
guy,
might potentially not give me what
yeah,
I need
and
if
it's a
I
great,
disagree with him.
It's a great plan, and without him, you can't achieve it. Basically.
With that being said, I did disagree with it.
Oh, yeah, so did I. but the fact that we can even have a discussion about it proves how good the scene is. I think.
I know.
But yeah, I did disagree with it. I didn't know that you would get a chance to tell AJ later on, but I didn't want AJ to think I was believing in that because there is no way that. What's his argument that they is it? Because I don't think it's that he thinks they have. It's quite vague, isn't it? It's sort of ambiguous.
I think he just thinks they have souls, like the human soul is still trapped inside of it.
Yeah.
And that like they're still, even though they're just like brainless monsters, they're still like
Yeah.
maybe they still think like humans do.
Maybe. It's interesting, but.
But yeah, and then you have like the party, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna have one last party
Yeah,
before we all
so-
fucking die.
Clementine, AJ, not Mitch, Willie,
Willie,
whoever you saved,
Tennessee.
and Ruby. So there's like 6 of you. Who did you save again?
Well,
First, should we talk about like solely the first time?
First time.
Yeah, because I chose Violet.
first time I saved Violet, I want to say.
So we both had Violet in the first
Yeah.
thing. Because that does play a part in this scene because later on you get a recounting of
Oh yeah,
their
you do that.
past.
You do that really weird game where it's like, we should do a really fun
Well, no,
game
true,
where
no,
we
but
look at our
it is a-
traumatic backstories.
No, but it is. I think it's a fun concept so long as you're looking at.
I was brought in here for child abuse.
Yeah, no. So long as you look at people who are within the group, but they kind of make it more sad when they start looking at the profiles of
Yeah, and then
people who have passed away, which is of course gonna bring up.
And even Violet is
uh,
like if you open up her fucking file, she's like, oh yeah, my grandmother
I let her
was
die.
insane
Right?
and killed herself.
Oh yeah, no, that's it. Yeah, and she watched and didn't do anything
Yeah.
about it. She didn't call the police.
It's like,
or
that sort
anything.
of brings down the vibe.
I think Lewis's is worse than Violet's, if you remember what that one is.
What's his?
Lewis's is that he lived in a very affluent family, and his dad wouldn't pay for him to have music lessons. It's like singing lessons and piano, I think. And to get back at him, he decides to basically frame his father into a fake adulterous relationship with some mistress he made up by spending money on his dad's account and then
Like buying shoes.
yeah,
and
like
shit.
presents and stuff that you would associate with being for a woman.
Yeah.
And so his dad divorced his mum, and then so just to get back at his father for not allowing.
You should
him
have bought
to-
him those piano lessons, man.
Yeah.
That's like a man doing his own
Yeah.
thing. That's
And
really
there's like
fucked
a
up.
and there's like a quote. Apparently his dad, that he remembered his dad telling him of, you can be rich or you can be
Bored.
happy or something like that. I can't remember. You can be rich. Oh no, you can be rich or you can be happy, but you can't have both. And then Lewis like recites that, I guess. And yeah, and then that obviously kills the mood, much like the Violet one does.
That's fucked up, man.
So yeah, I think they're both of them were obviously very but I think Lewis is worse. Like,
No, Willie's is the worst.
Because then when they
Chronic masturbation. What's masturbation?
does that come after the sad?
No, that was
before.
before.
Oh,
Because
okay.
that would really fucking be like a total whiplash.
Another thing that I like about the party is that, well, you know this based on what I've said on the other ones, is that I love the sort of group-based interactions where you're just learning about each other's past. Things are going okay for the moment, and you're just talking. And the good thing about the party is that there's a bit of, you can add your personality to it with a few vague,
A bit purple,
basic things like
lights.
you can change the colouring, the music and stuff, and that's just like a nice little touch, which
I know.
wasn't like they didn't have to do that, but it just makes it a bit more interactive and fun and goofy, you know.
Little goofy, little silly,
Yeah.
little time.
Make it a bit nice.
Little
I chose the purple aesthetic person.
So then Violet goes, "Oh my god, you chose purple like me."
Oh
And
yeah,
it's like,
something
shut
like
the
that.
fuck up,
And then the
Violet.
music.
It's not all about you.
You get a
self-centered bastard.
vast array of choices to choose from when it comes to
Jazz.
music. Jazz, classical,
country.
and country.
The three
three that you need.
genres.
The three amigos.
The three
of music.
genres. The three musketeers of music.
Yeah.
Music.
Obviously, I went for that jazz.
Jazz. Hell yeah, man.
You know me. I didn't change it. You have an option to change it later on. I was like, no, I'm sticking with this jazz, bro. I'm sticking with it. That aside, yeah, you get some nice scenes with AJ dancing, and he does that.
We saw that video on YouTube, and it was just I saw a video, and it was his video called AJ's Stupid Fucking Dance. And it was just a video.
Did I watch it with you?
I'm not sure.
I've definitely, because if I haven't, then I've definitely seen it come up.
Because
in my
AJ
YouTube
just
recommended.
dancing, the person who posted the video was really fucking hated the
Angry,
fucking dance. He was like, "You
Even
fucking
though
bitch."
it's just a fun sort of groovy little move.
It is weirdly motion capped. Like you can.
Yeah, because his head doesn't move like his body does.
Like his head's just moving. Like,
It's a bit weird.
but I'm just like, it's just whatever.
Yeah. There's some other small things that happen, like depending on who you saved. So I think it's different for Violet and Lewis. So if you've chosen Lewis, he plays the piano of the song that Minerva sung when she was there. The one that's called "The Night Will Be Over Soon."
Oh, so
something like that.
he does the piano, and then
Yeah, so
for
he plays,
Violet, she sings
it. Yeah, and Lewis's is so much better.
Yeah.
Because first of all, singing like without any instrumentation in the background and just in the middle of no one who's not singing either, so it's just a solo performance. That's always bound to be awkward.
Yeah, when I was playing the game with my mum, and that came
It's just
up,
awkward, isn't it?
I was like, I just gotta go to the
And the
toilet.
problem is
The
problem is with it is that, you know, it's nice, but when it goes on for too long, it does become awkward, which it does, because this song, they don't make she doesn't sing a shortened version, she goes full out.
No, I guess it does come back into play when Minerva sings it, when she like tries.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I think the Lewis one is done so much better because there is no singing; it's purely piano. It actually sounds really good. Like, and when I was sitting there playing it,
It's loud ass fucking piano.
when I was not like earlier in episode 1, but when you're just sitting back listening, it's not awkward. It's actually quite nice and relaxing. Whereas the singing is just makes my skin crawl.
His voices, bro.
with
I
cringe.
can't fuck with it.
Yeah.
And then they're all like, "What do we do now?"
It's because it's just simply like no music in the background. That's what makes it so bad. But yeah, and after that,
Then
is it just the next day you're with? It can't be, is it? It might be.
Well, if we
thinking-
can't remember, it's probably not important.
Well, the
enough
next scene
bring
I
up.
remember after that is just being in the next day in the evening when it's dark and you're like sort of
You're like on a hill, and
you're like
overlooking the
you're not
boat.
even camped. You're just like outside the Delta boat, out of sight with James, and you're just talking about.
Oh yeah,
what you're
I
gonna
like
do.
kind of the interaction between the kids. He's like, "Whoa, you've got dead skin all over you,"
Yeah.
and he's like,
James is.
"Yeah, fuck."
James, he's not horny.
No, I'm just saying. Oh fuck, those kids,
said
man.
it like
fuck,
he was
they're getting in my
horny.
way. I didn't mean it like that.
He's like, he's just like,
Isn't this the guy?
he's super uncomfortable.
And if you said you wanted to flip him earlier, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah,
fucking-
is this
he's
the guy you wanted to
Isn't
flip?
this the guy that Clint said you wanted to flip? Flip? What do you mean flip? Just something like that.
Clementine?
Clementine, did you say you wanted to flip me? I don't fucking know. But no, I like that. And
You get a romance scene. But the romance is strictly if you choose pro person that you're going for the whole time. That's the only time you get like the full romantic experience, if you will. If you choose anything against it the whole time, then you just don't get it. But which I didn't the first time. Because did I friend zone? I think I friend zoned Violet when I played, so I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, you didn't get nothing then.
I didn't
get any of it.
No.
Absolutely zero.
Well, when I did the replay,
Zilch.
I did, but yeah. So we'll go off of that.
But,
You get like a hug or.
More importantly,
This is important stuff, Christian.
oh no! But if you're good friends with him, if you like be friendly to him, that's when he reveals he.
Oh
has a
yeah, that's
boyfriend,
pretty
and,
big too.
Did he kill his boyfriend or did
Yeah,
he kill?
No, he murdered someone else, but it might have been his boyfriend. Because in an earlier scene, he says, "When does he say this?" Oh yeah, no. After AJ, after he tells AJ that he killed, he tells. I can't remember. It's all jumbled up, but I know that he killed someone before they went into battle.
Yeah, because they sort of go aside and he's like, Clementine, I need to tell you something.
What's his group called? The
Whisperers.
Whisperers, yeah.
The-
They murdered another settlement, and
what his boyfriend
and
was like.
he was so disgusted at the thought of his boyfriend showing sympathy for the
enemy
opposition that he just straight up murdered him. It's either he killed his boyfriend or he killed someone else. I can't
in front
remember.
of his boyfriend.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't fucking remember, but
Either way, his boyfriend ain't around anymore. So
God no.
yeah, so he shows that to Clem if you were nice to him.
Although I
like-
was nice to him, but I didn't even get that until I played the game with my mum. I never even saw that cutscene because I was nice.
I think
to him,
I saw it on.
but like I must have just said one thing.
Wait, didn't you say that you told him that you didn't believe him?
Oh, would that be it?
Yeah, that does it.
Because I was nice to him the whole
Yeah,
time.
yeah, so
except
was
for
I.
that.
Yeah, that's enough to get him.
Damn
gone.
it.
And then yeah, because I remember seeing it on someone else's playthrough. I was like, oh shit.
Also, this may be irrelevant, but you can get like a little brooch, like a brooch with a clementine on it,
What?
and you can put that on your jacket.
You're joking.
No,
Would you-
because when I was playing with my mum, Violet, there was a scene where Violet was like, "Here, Clem, you want this?" And like Clem permanently for the rest of the game will have like this white brooch with a clementine on it.
Oh shit. That must be if you romance her.
But my mum didn't romance her.
Wait, what then? I don't remember that.
I guess
Does Lewis give her anything?
I don't know because I don't know, but I remember because my mum didn't romance her. She did go up to the tower, but it was like a friend thing.
Yeah.
And then I guess she was nice to her the whole time. But
Yeah,
I feel like I was nice to her the whole time.
right.
And then maybe I did. Maybe I
One
went with
thing.
Lewis, but then I didn't save him later for some reason. But
Yeah.
no, I never even knew about that. But no, But anyway, moving
Yeah.
on, we get to the actual siege onto the boat with the ducking and diving in between the walkers.
Oh
like
yeah,
that,
this
and then
this
get
whole scene is kind of sick actually.
Then you go into
Like
like
the combat and the
you go into the water, come up.
warfare, if you will.
And then I do like how you can there are some decisions where you can kind of choose to kill someone and knock them out because you have kind of like the bow.
Oh yeah,
And then you can kind of
Shoot someone.
there's one where like somebody's looking over and then you can like shoot them in the leg or the head.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like, oh okay, maybe AJ is kind of watching and taking
Yeah.
note of that.
I always tried to not kill in those scenes, but with the one with the guy,
It's like you have to.
yeah, because if I shot him with a bow in the leg, he's still able to turn around and kill me if he wants to. So you kind of have to hit him in the head.
But what if he dropped his rifle into the ocean?
I think you get away with it either way. I assume so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you got.
But
the bomb
on
you.
from that sequence, you plant the bomb in the furnace, and then you go up to the like prison holding cells.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, wait! But before you head to the prison holding cells, you get fucking Minerva,
Yeah.
and she's got a crossbow, and she's like, "Bitch, get the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
And then Violet or fucking
Lewis.
Lewis will like go up to her and be like, "Hey, don't kill.
Don't kill us.
Why you gotta
Don't
be?
kill
Why
us,
you gotta
bro."
be like this?"
Yeah. Well, and then she deceives you, doesn't she?
Well, later on, but you go in
pretty
and then,
soon after.
Well, that you go in and then you open up I'm pretty sure you go into like whoever you didn't save's cell,
Yeah.
and then for Lewis, he got his tongue fucking cut out.
Instantly when you turn the corner, you know something's up because of the way the camera angle sort of homes in on the person
And
crouched in the
zoom in.
corner with their head in their legs.
And you have to
then-
slowly walk over, so it's
Yeah.
like, okay, this is like a reveal.
And it's quite different. Like it's not like they both act the same way,
No.
depending
They
on
both
who
don't get their tongues
Yeah,
cut
depending
out.
on who you don't save. Like Lewis is happy to see you.
But he's
over
a mute.
the moon. Yeah, then you see, yeah, he's got his tongue cut out. And then with Violet, she's like super hostile towards you.
Hostile.
Ready to engage in conflict.
What's her thing? Does she have a fucked up eye?
No, later on that happens. So
Later on?
when you get there, she's fine. But later on, when you're escaping the boat, her eyes get
Burn off.
Yeah, burnt from the fire.
I think
And she's just like blind from then on. So
fuck.
so eventually you'll have either a blind Violet
or a mute Lewis.
or one of them, or both of them dead.
Well, I do like how it isn't just like, because they wouldn't act the same, and I don't think they would. I feel like Violet would be more complicit.
And I feel like
with it.
sometimes in the other games it happens where, okay, well you save this person or that person, and then they end up acting like very similarly. But this time, yeah, like
some differences in reactions.
Yeah, definitely.
just
You're
depends
talking
on
to
what
Violet
it
or Lewis,
And then
something seems wrong, and then boom, the cage.
Bloody hell.
The bars sort of close behind you abruptly,
Mini, bro.
and then Minnie's there with the lock, and
She's
closes
gone
it.
full like bootlicking, like Hitler Youth style.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna fuck with this.
she has definitely become a full blown victim to the brainwashing of the Delta.
What shit did they give him, man?
Well,
Like, make 'em like that.
well, that was one of the problems with this. One of the few problems with the season, wasn't it? Was the Delta, the fact that not the Delta being the sort of villain settlement, or with the villain being Lily. The problem was that we didn't get enough of it.
Well, they're vague. I
Yeah,
guess.
well, you didn't. There should have been a scene. Obviously, you get to explore the boat, but there should have been more interactive stuff where you get to see what they've been like. Even just like propaganda on the.
Well, I feel like another because there's only 4 episodes in this, but maybe another episode could have been dedicated to going to the Delta.
Similarly to when in season 2, when you got a whole episode at Carver's place or something like that, you get a place to explore the Delta because they could have really gone into that but based on how Minnie acts, that could have been a.
They're gonna have some good Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Well, that would have been a perfect way to explore. Like, okay, well, how bad was it? Like, what type of shit were they making them?
But
do?
I guess
how far did the brainwashing go?
I guess it isn't too big of an issue just because of you could always kind of have your own interpretation of it, but it would be cool to see. But obviously, the company was literally fucking falling apart.
Of course.
So you got it. You just be like, the Delta's bad, guys.
It's not. Yeah.
Accept it. And then then fucking Lily comes in and she's like, Clementine, join the dark side of the Force.
Well, she says like,
I remember when
my dad was a military man or something like that.
My dad was a military.
You know,
man.
my dad was a military.
You know, my father had these scars.
And everyone remembers Larry.
Everyone remembers.
Oh no, she
my
gives
scars.
you
Doing
the
fucking Dark Knight thing, right?
Yeah, and I'm stopping you, bro.
What?
Because
my father.
We're gonna get sidetracked again.
Bro, this is almost 4 hours, bro.
Well, I wanted to
about that.
She gives you the what does she call it?
Discipline.
The parable? Is that a word?
The parable.
She's like something of the two twins.
That's so. I fucking hate that when they do that in media, where it's like they just.
Well, you've got the
story that
I don't
is
want to
so
call it
obviously a true story.
And I don't want to call it the emotional music, but you've got that sort of suggestive music in the background.
There were 2 twins who did
it's like,
a thing.
It's all like mystical and what's going to happen
I think
here?
we fucking know who you're talking about.
But we knew
the person you're talking about is in the same room. It's like,
and the multiple camera shots.
Why didn't you just say? Oh, Minnie was kind of like you before, but then she kind of.
No, I don't mind the scene though.
Guess
it just kind of adds to the sort of.
Fuck this season 3. Season 3 takes it. Season 3
adds to the cinematography and stuff, so I don't mind it.
The cinematography.
And I mean it is a shock because I don't think I was expecting her to have murdered her sister.
Did she actually murder her? I thought she just like abandoned her and was like let her be killed.
Yeah, no. They went out in a boat to escape, and then Minnie changed heart halfway through or something.
Jeez,
and then she just fucking murdered them.
How long was she gone for?
Gone from where? The Delta?
No, gone from when was she was take? How much
a
time
year,
passed?
year.
Just a year.
Yeah, it was just a year. That's what I'm saying. That's why the Delta needs to be
over the
investigated.
course of a fucking year. She changed from innocent girl
the Delta is
to fucking murdering her sister. I mean, I guess we don't know much about why she was in Ericsson in the first place, but that's a pretty big fucking leap. Even if you're like an aggressive asshole, like killing your own sibling in less than a year,
and just
fucking Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And it was like a swift change in heart, and
and then AJ's kind of like, well, this is Violet's like, hey, let my friend out, or she's like pissed, or whoever you saved, they're like, oh, I'm pissed at you, and then the lady comes in and is like, I'm gonna cut off. Because she's got like a cleaver and she's like,
I'm gonna start cutting people. She says,
I'm gonna start cutting people with.
Wait, why does she do that though?
Because I think they're like whoever it is banging on it. Because I remember Violet's like banging on it, like how could you fucking?
Oh yeah, because they get really
making noise.
And
Oh,
then-
you know, after she hears the story about the twins,
Yeah.
she's sort
It's
of
like,
outraged.
You fucking killed her, bitch.
Yeah, yeah.
You bitch.
And the rage transcends into, just
Bloke's like,
aggressive.
I'm gonna cut off your hand. And then...
If you don't allow AJ to attack.
Yes.
Which I didn't do, did I, in the first playthrough?
No, you allowed him to attack.
No, I don't think I did.
But then why didn't she lose a finger?
Oh yeah, good point. But I remember.
Get owned, leftist.
I remember feeling like I would never let AJ put himself in danger, but maybe. Yeah, because in hindsight, it's kind of stupid to allow AJ to attack simply because.
So you just cut off his head.
Yeah, like she could do anything to him. But that being said, luckily,
Trust him.
Nothing happens. Yeah.
Then he gets pissed off regardless, and then Lily's like, "Oh, okay, this guy's got something," and then
Yeah.
she's like, "Hey, do you wanna talk?"
Well, she sees the potential in him.
He's trying to like groom him into being like a fucking murdering
Child soldier.
So
Yeah.
she's like, "Come here, follow me."
Yeah,
Follow
yeah.
me into
And also
it.
she knows it will just get under Clementine's skin
Yeah.
even more.
Bitch.
So, you know.
Oh,
And then,
this-
but luckily she leaves, which means you have a chance to
escape. You
regroup.
grab. I think pretty sure there's a shiv. No, it's AJ's shiv. AJ
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then you shiv at the door.
Oh yeah, because he has a really cool. It's like
I made
Clem's
a
like
knife.
no, Clem's like, did they take your knife? And he was like, only the big one, because he's got like a little knife as
Where's
well.
he hiding
Look at
the
that
knife?
preparation.
But then yeah, you got you escape, get fucked, punch you in the head,
Yeah.
like
Cool scene fighting Minnie.
punch her in the head.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure you fire the like Violet. You're almost getting killed, and then Violet or Lewis shoots the crossbow at her, but they don't kill her because they're like, oh my god, I once knew her once. But then you move on from there, and then you have to like sneak across the deck.
oh, that scene's so sick when you're walking up to where. Oh yeah, no, because also Lily gets called away because someone's found James.
No, they found Ten and James.
Ten and James, yeah, and then they when you're approaching by like ducking under the like objects on the boat and you're like sneaking around and you can listen to the conversation and stuff. I love that, man. That really builds the tension.
Ten pulls out because then you have the conversation, but then Ten pulls out a Glock and he's like, "Get the
Stop hurting people.
Stop hurting people."
That's such a cute line there. So
Fucking
so
stupid
innocent.
idiot.
Stop hurting people. And
Oh, they're genuinely-
he hasn't got the.
Genuinely grown men who were watching that scene and going, "Why isn't this kid fucking shooting her? What a fucking pussy!" It's like he's literally never fucking killed anyone in his life. He hasn't even killed a walker.
We never held a gun. Like, let's be real.
Like, that
the
was
way
just
he was
fucking
holding it
killed.
was not
He's
experienced.
shaking and
yeah.
shit, and it's like, yeah, this fucking pussy kid. If I was this kid, I would have shot her.
But that being said, very interesting to watch Ten and AJ directly next to each other, seeing as they're so different. Like we've
Well,
seen
then
it,
AJ's like, shoot her.
like we've seen it before with Ten being the more artistic of the two, but now we're in a much more serious situation where you've got Ten who can barely hold the gun, is shaking profusely, and can't take the mental courage to actually shoot Lily, and then you've got AJ who he knows he would do it in a heartbeat. He does do it in a heartbeat, and which is why it is so important, in my opinion, to
Legalize all guns.
protect Ten and not hate him for being a innocent child who doesn't want to kill people, instead support him. So then they get into their fight. That's such a good fight with Lily, and I think at that point, somewhere down the line, AJ helps you out, and then Lily gets stabbed in the leg, and then you kick it.
Yeah, you
into
kick
it
the
even
leg,
further,
you
which-
kick the knife while it's in
Yeah,
her leg.
that's-
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
sick.
That's so sick. And then she's like immobilized at that
He's
point.
on the floor, and then like AJ's got the gun, and she's like, "AJ, don't shoot me."
How brilliantly is it done though when the gun's like slid across the floor and then you can't see any of AJ, and then suddenly this hand comes into the frame and picks up the gun. So well done. And then you've got it takes a while, so like it's not like, oh, AJ kill him immediately. You've got the whole
AJ, shoot this bitch.
you have two sides of the story. You've got Clementine who's observing, sort of thinking about what the hell she's going to say, and then you've got James who comes in and tries to get AJ to not, because he doesn't want him to become a ruthless killer, and then you get to decide, and I think most people chose to
shoot her.
yeah, shoot, get her killed, get her done.
It's at a point, right, where it's like
It's too far.
she's literally enslaving children to
Yeah.
fight a war.
I mean, she collects child soldiers, she manipulates them through whatever methods she does.
She's killed children. She
She
killed Mitch.
killed Mitch without any hesitation.
She was just like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
now we're gonna have to stab him in the head. And
It's too far by that point. You have to
you have to kill her for the sake of your crew.
Well, in terms of like kind of what James is doing, right? So like James comes in and he's like
No, don't kill her.
you can't kill her. That's so cringe.
No, he said. I think his reasoning is
AJ, don't.
She can't hurt anyone anymore. Like she's
Bullshit.
she's helpless. You know, whatever. Which is a stupid argument.
Well, he gets fucking capped.
Yes, while she is currently helpless, she won't be if you decide to leave her alive.
And when she
What
finds
you think she's just gonna be constrained to the floor forever? No.
It's like if Hitler stubbed his toe,
She has-
he wouldn't in that
Yeah,
moment.
she
have
has
his toe stubbed,
engaged
be
soldiers
harmless.
surrounding and in the boat. They're
can't
gonna come
kill
up
him.
eventually and outnumber you and murder you. And you think Lily's gonna be a changed woman after this? No.
But you gotta. It's like he probably doesn't mind her dying. He just doesn't want it to be AJ who does it.
Yeah.
But in the moment, it's like fuck it, shoot the bitch.
Yeah, you got. I mean, and it ends up being the right decision anyway
'Cause then
because
James gets killed.
his sorry ass, gets killed immediately.
Yeah, bitch.
So you know.
But then the bomb goes off. I'm pretty sure shortly
Yeah.
after, and that's
well,
like the,
yeah, that's the sort
that's
of
the cliffhanger.
that's
for
the
episode
climax.
3. Anyway, let's let's talk overall thoughts on episode 3.
Episode 3, second best episode of the season.
Really?
One of the best episodes in the entire game as a whole.
Really?
Yes. It has. I think it has the best ending. Like in terms of final sort of 10-15 minutes of an episode, I think that is the best final 10/15 minutes of any episode in The Walking Dead.
I don't know if I can say that.
Of an episode, the final sort of bit of an episode.
I'm not sure if I can.
And it's
agree with that.
I agree with that. Well, which one would you say is better than that?
I'll say the ending of season 2, episode 5.
Oh shit.
And then I like the going out into the hall.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
At the end of
Yeah,
Carver's.
now that you've said that, actually. Wait, no. Wait, what episode?
Episode
Okay,
3,
no, yeah, I'll
where
say,
you go out into the
I'll say
world.
episode 5 of season 2. Yeah. I was thinking more action based, to be honest, but yeah, I shouldn't have looked past that.
You fucking bitch.
Top 3 then, top 3, but I'll stick by that. Top 3. I don't know what the second is, but if I thought about it more.
Your fickle ass opinion. You're a fucking sheep.
I forgot about that.
You're a sheep. But no, I disagree. I think it's probably the worst episode of The Walking Dead.
You're joking. Okay,
Yes, I'm joking.
Okay. No, I thought you were gonna say the worst episode of season 4, which is why I thought, okay, maybe he's being truthful here. But as soon as you said the whole Walking Dead, I was like, okay, well, you've just season 3.
I don't think it's the worst of season 4.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's better than episode 2.
No, I think episode 2.
Because episode 2, like, they both lead towards a similar climax in terms of, you know, direct engagement with the opposition. But season 3's climax is so much better.
Well, it's
like,
not
it's
just
so much
about
more
the-
engaging. I'm way more sort of into what's happening.
Well, it's not just about the climax; it's about what's in between. And I like the build up to it. I like the card game they play with the truth or truth or dare shit.
Yeah, but I feel like
I
that
like the first confrontation.
you get those
with
sort of
Lily.
scenes in episode 3.
Yeah, but the party scene isn't as good as with the card
it's
games.
longer and there's more personalization with it.
No, but it's not as. I don't think it's as fun.
And you got the scene with the barn with James.
I mean, that's fine.
You get to learn.
But then
about
you already
James
kind
as
of
well.
you already kind of talked.
You've
to
got the
James about
interrogation scene at the very beginning. Like, even the beginning is strong.
it. Oh, but it's
It's
long.
so good. Yeah, that's why it's so good. It packs a lot in, and none of it feels out of place.
Well, I feel like with episode 2 you get more interaction with characters. Like you get Mitch going
Yeah,
into the
but
greenhouse
by
with
episode
Mitch.
3 you don't need as much interaction with characters because we've already established what we think about most of them.
I mean, I'll agree. I like the climax of 3, but like I don't know. I don't think the build up to it was as interesting as the build up to the attack on the school.
No, I think it is, man. Well, in terms of the build up, the build up to the fight.
I mean, I like even
in
the
episode
little
2.
scenes you can get with. You get those romance scenes with Lewis and Violet.
Yeah, and those get
in
played
episode
upon
2.
more in episode 3.
Well, no, it's with whoever you.
Yeah,
And it's not really like you get your own scenes with them though. It's not like unique
you do.
scenes.
You do.
Which you
You get a few. There's one before they're about to go. I think it's after the party. Or no, I think it's before the party actually, where you're in the room with just whoever you chose, and you talk about, like, for example, with Lewis. If you chose Lewis, you get like a cute date that he prepares, where he like brings half a packet of crisps and a candle. And then with Violet, you just talk. I think, or like there could be something else there. But yeah, you do get a few unique scenes.
That's true, but I like the specified unique location and like the way it's framed in the second episode.
Yeah, so do I.
And I like the build up to it. I like the ragtag team of kids trying to stop slavers.
I do like the preparation to the fight in episode 2 more, but I think the actual fight itself and like the Yeah, when it comes to that stuff, it's better in episode 3.
Yeah, but
Way more engaging.
I wouldn't say way more.
Yeah, because even
Well, I
like
like
the
having
scenes-
the decision of which person you save.
Well, in episode 2, you've got scenes where you're, shoot the walkers or whatever with the bow and arrow. But in episode 3, you have so many different like ways to go about it. Well, not ways to go about it, but different types of fighting and stuff. Like the whole getting behind a walker and shit. That's awesome. Later on, when you swim across, you've got to like go across the deck whilst the light isn't shining on you, and you've got the bow and arrow stuff, like you said earlier, with the choosing whether to kill people or just injure them, many things like that. AJ is arguably his best in this episode again,
Nah.
and yeah, it's the second best episode of season 4.
So what do you think? Which one do you think it's better than, other than 2?
1.
You think it's better than 1?
No. I think it's better than 1. Sorry.
Do you think it's
4.
better than? You just said. Do you think it's better than 1?
No, I think this is.
Do you think it's the better than 1? Or...
No, I don't. I think episode 1 is better. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it goes 1, 3, 4, 2.
Anyway, moving on to episode 4. So yeah, episode 4 opens up with. What are you doing?
Talking Dead thing.
I
It's
mean,
fitting because this is the end.
I guess it
It's
is.
the end of my life.
Oh, you're killing yourself. Oh. What did I know?
The excitement in your voice, sir. I'm committing suicide because
Oh, here we go.
I've now finished this game.
Good segue.
I've now finished my retrospective, and without anything else to talk about regarding The Walking Dead, I think it's time I killed myself.
Anyway, we're so after you kind of get the boat explodes and you sort of fuck about on the boat for a bit. You're like
Fuck about on the boat.
you're hanging off the side and shit, and then you're on the boat, then you're on the little boat on the big boat.
You don't know who's dead.
But then you like gather around on the beach and shit, and then you do like a little fucking shoot.
We have a moment where you're like together with the gang again.
We're back together, gang.
Whilst this is going on, I think Ruby is getting the horses.
Oh, they're like grabbing the horses and shit, and then Minnie shows up, and then she's
Clementine!
like, "You fucking bitch!"
Like lines up the shot.
But then she gets bitten.
Fails abysmally. Yeah, she gets bitten.
She looks,
And that's the end of her. We never see her again after that.
Yeah, she was a weird character. They
Yeah,
just,
she
kinda
gets
tease her
bitten
and then she
and
gets killed.
Just I guess.
Regardless, you sort of head off into.
No, well
You split up, don't you?
yeah, because some of them, the horses get disturbed by something, so they just sprint
Spooked.
off. Yeah, so then you're left with Ten and AJ.
Then you run to a cave, and then you kind of fuck about in the cave for a bit. There isn't much, but then you go across the cave, and then you go deeper into
you
the
fuck
cave.
each other in the cave.
There's fucking in the cave, and then you. You cross this stream, and then you have the confrontation where you don't know which way to go in the cave, and then if you're with James like grabs AJ and is like, "Fuck, I'm taking him with me."
Yeah.
And then you have like the big argument about
What's right for AJ?
He's turning into a monster. You made him shoot that.
You made him into a monster.
You turned him into a man.
Even though you would be dead if it wasn't for him.
He doesn't know that though. So.
He doesn't know that because we don't live in a...
Because he isn't dead. Because he didn't get shot and
Yeah.
then revived to remember that.
Yeah. It's unfortunate.
But you get that little interaction, and then you're having like the argument, and like you're genuinely trying to make the case, and then AJ just out of nowhere just says, "I liked it.
Oh.
I was good at it."
Well, AJ like James starts like trying to fuck you up, physically fight you, and then do they just stop as soon? Oh yeah, I think they're like
He says,
tussling.
"I liked it," and then James
I liked
like, "What?"
it. And then
Made me feel strong.
Made me feel strong.
It's like, you gotta talk some sense into him.
Yeah.
Here's your like final stand. Make a case for like trying to humanize him. So you can be like, "Oh, you can kill people, but don't enjoy it. You can," or just be like, "Don't kill anyone ever again."
Which is the way to go. Because Clem says something very good when she says, "You can kill, if to save us, but you can never like it," which I think is an important thing to say, because killing is inevitable in a world that's been ravaged by a disease, and you're gonna have to kill to survive sometimes. But should never like it.
Don't feel any emotions when you murder someone.
Yep. Because when you like it,
don't even feel sorry for killing them.
because when you like
don't
it,
even
then
feel sad.
then you breed a warrior who's willing to kill.
Warrior.
Yeah, a
Warrior.
warrior.
Yeah.
He could end up killing people that he shouldn't do. You know.
But he had the conversation, and then you kind of have. I think it's the biggest decision of this season, definitely. I feel like.
Oh yeah.
And it's that you have AJ is like saying he's like, okay, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said I enjoyed it, but you know,
But he doesn't regret it.
Then he's like, can you trust me to make the calls?
Yeah, to make the big calls,
Hmm.
which is indirectly.
It indirectly
to what
affects the
happens
fate
later
of
on.
characters.
Yeah. Because they don't tell you straight up who you're gonna consequently be saving and killing, but yeah, I think we're both in the minority in the people who chose to not trust him.
Is that the minority?
Yeah, and I don't think it's not a case of not trusting him. It's just saying that you're not ready yet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
also-
that's definitely the minority. Yeah.
But like, I don't know why it's the minority opinion, considering the fact that like, only seconds ago he just said that he enjoyed killing her. It's like, how can you trust him after that? And then he changes his mind. He's like, actually, I don't think I enjoy. Maybe I didn't mean to say he enjoyed. He's like, he's a literal child.
Yeah. Who doesn't know what he thinks yet?
I know. It's like fucking making me yawn. It's like, I don't know if you could trust it. Yeah, that I like how that does. That later comes into play without you even knowing it, because it isn't just a simple decision of this. Choosing this would lead to this outcome. It's more vague, as in just like maybe, you know,
Which
this
they
could
should
influence things.
They probably should have done that more often throughout the seasons, honestly, because it's such a good call.
That's true. I guess the vagueness upsets certain people.
Yeah,
Because there were probably people who liked 10,
That's stupid.
but then
You shouldn't be put off by vagueness. If anything, it makes it more.
life is vague.
That's ambiguous, isn't it?
Nuts are vague.
But yeah. Well, the reason it's the minority is because people play it, realize that 10 can die instead of Lewis or Violet, and then they replay it and they just make sure that their romantic partner survives instead of 10, because people don't like 10.
That's so fucking stupid.
Because 10 is in the sort of top 5 most disliked characters in the entire thing.
That's bullshit.
I know it is. I agree with you, but that's
Most disliked.
I remember going on the Reddit page, and there was literally a poll that was like, who do you hate the most?
Fuck.
And he was in with the likes of Gabe and who else? Who's
It would be Gabe,
Ben,
Sarah,
yeah.
fucking.
But 10, you can't compare 10 to them.
No.
It's not. No, he's got too much potential as a character to be put in that bracket.
He's probably considered more of a bad
Because
character than Omar is.
Yeah, and I still agree that like Sarah isn't a bad character.
No.
Neither's Ben though. Like Gabe is dreadful. I'll give you that much. But
Gabe is dog shit
yeah,
character.
but you can't say he's the worst because he's better than every. First of all, he's better than like every season 3 character put together.
But what about Trip? You're the boss, Harvey. You're the boss.
You're the boss, Harvey. He's
Take it on your chin, Harvey.
much better.
But we should anyway. That decision will come into play later. So then you leave the cave, then you meet up with the person you saved,
Yeah.
and then you have like a little interaction, which is kind of like the last.
Well, you know shit's gonna go downhill from there. As soon as you have that sort of soppy talk about future.
What are we gonna name the?
Yeah,
what are we
yeah.
gonna name the school?
What we get, and I think if it's Lewis, it's a house or something.
What just names it House?
Because earlier in the thing when they have their date, they talk about like their dream house or something. I think so. Then it comes back to that, and they talk about like, oh, what would we have in this room or whatever. And it's like a nice soppy moment where you know that shit ain't gonna go.
He's gonna get
well.
turned into a fucking pile of mud.
Yeah, and then they get to the bridge, of course.
And it's like, oh, everything's fine, bro. Everything's fine. Then you hear the fucking singing, and then you're like,
night will be over soon.
the night will be over soon.
What does she say as she comes? Because you can't just hear her singing immediately. It's like faint,
Well, she just hums. She's
faint and
humming.
echoey. Yeah.
Well, she's going like la 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 or whatever the fuck. And then Tin's like, Minnie, you're alive? Or whatever.
Because to be fair, she's got like multiple bite wounds.
Yeah, this bites are a little inconsistent.
You've got to kind
throughout
of
the
suspend
series.
your disbelief in this moment,
Like,
because she would be dead. Like,
and she got bit multiple times.
yeah.
But I'm willing to suspend the disbelief
It's a
because
cool
it's
scene.
because it is cool and it's one of the most the best villain scenes.
And
of
you're
the
like,
season.
so she comes and then she brings a whole load of walkers with her. So then you and the boys, or the lads, or the peoples, are like, oh fuck, jump over the bridge, and then Clem jumps. Oh no, there's a little fight between
between Minnie and
Clem.
Yeah.
And she like fucks up your leg.
Ooh, yeah, she swings an axe at it.
That's fucking nasty.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of revenge for Lily's knife in the leg.
And that actually ends up causing what happens later, doesn't it?
That's
Realistically, because she
it fucks
becomes
up
sort
her
of
mobility.
Yeah.
Then she gets her leg fucked. I mean, not like, but like the leg is fucked up. Not like you can't fuck a leg.
No.
But regardless of whether or not you can, she gets her leg cut, and then she's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna go over. AJ's over, Violet's over, but then 10 is still there
With Violet
like,
Lewis.
oh fuck, my sister. I don't know if I should trust her or not. I don't know what to do. And then this was what we were talking about earlier with the decision, kind of inadvertently being important.
Depending what you chose.
If you trust AJ to make a judgment call, he will shoot 10
Do you know
so that Violet can escape.
Do you know what the great thing about this scene is that when it came up and it was like sort of reminiscent of the previous episode when AJ picks the gun up, I was expecting there to be a decision like, oh, AJ shoot or not. But the fact that there wasn't, and then when that thing then came up in the corner, like, oh, you trusted AJ or whatever, I really liked that. I really liked that came up. Yeah, so for us, 10 survives because
we have a soul.
Yeah, because we fucking love 10.
And then
it is sad though,
because I do fucking dark.
Because I like Lewis and Violet in their own respect. They're both great, unique characters who offer plenty to the story.
Yeah, and then they get fucking.
And I mean, at the end of the day, you want them to be with you at the end of the game.
Yeah.
But you know that you can't have everyone.
Yeah, and then but also I think it's got to be super fucking dark. Like if you liked 10, but you still trusted AJ to take the shot, because then 10 is dead.
Yeah, because then
And then AJ has now murdered a child.
And whilst they're both horrific, there's something more morbid and.
It's just because it's a kid.
Yeah.
And it's a kid shooting another kid, and the kid's like, I had to do it.
Very morbid and dark.
Jesus Christ.
In killing a child.
That would fucking ruin AJ's character.
AJ, first of all, if you don't trust AJ, not only does he not kill anyone actively, but you also spare a child dying. A child who every character loves, They see him as a younger brother. And also, I'm sure Lewis and Violet...
They would let him go.
They would. Well, at the end, they sacrifice themselves to save him, don't they?
Yeah.
And they get... And if you do allow AJ to kill 10... They end up... Well, their immediate reaction is being extremely pissed off with you. Isn't it? Because they're like... have you ever seen that?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, and they're just like, what the fuck? He's just a kid or whatever. And although they forgive you later down the line, it shows that they probably would have sacrificed themselves, which they did.
Yeah, fuck. But I think that whole segment is really good.
Yeah, it's really good.
And fucking tense as fuck, because you're like, come
on.
on.
I'm so happy that 10 lived in my playthrough though, because I really wanted AJ to have.
Well, the implication of the dynamic that is going to be had.
Yeah.
Like the implication that they're going to be like brothers.
Yeah, it's not like
he needs a brother.
It's not like AJ's.
He needs a peer on his level.
It's not like he's not connected to 10. 10 is, as he said, his first friend, and they both have things to teach each other.
But yeah, that whole section is good. But then you have kind of like the, oh fuck, where do we go? Scrambling about. I'm pretty sure 10 runs off at this point.
But that leads to you trying to climb up that small cliffside.
And then you get fucking bit by that bitch.
Yeah.
I have kind of mixed feelings on this whole segment.
Okay.
Because I like the idea that it's sort of a reflection of Clementine and Lee's thing going on, right? Yeah. Now Clementine is the one who's like infected, and then now it's AJ. But I feel like maybe they drag it on a bit too long, to a point where it feels like, is this realistically? Wouldn't she have
died by now?
Turned by now? And it's not just that, but like the fact that they don't think of chopping off the leg sooner.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we played it for the first time, you were screaming at the screen, like, chop off this fucking leg.
I was. But if they had done that in the open without any protection around, who knows if a walker could have come from around the corner.
I know, but I feel like as
straight
soon
up
as they
murdered
got to the
because of
barn,
screaming.
they could have done it.
I get why they did it. It creates tension, suspense, building up to the moment, because it is the moment. This is the last episode of the last season.
But I don't know. It just feels like, for me, I feel like Clementine would know
Better.
She wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be AJ who's the one who goes, oh, I could just cut off her leg. Like, I feel like Clementine
would have
would
initiated
actively
it.
be like, no, AJ, you don't need to kill me. You can just cut off my leg.
Yeah.
And I don't mind because I think the actual moment when you're in the barn and like this, they're pouring through, and then you switch to AJ's perspective, and he's closing the doors, shooting. That's a cool segment.
Desperate scenario.
But also
they wanted to create.
It does, and that is a cool moment. But it does feel a little bit like padding, like they're trying to.
I think
make
maybe
it
one
longer.
way that they could have got around that is having her get a bit closer to the barn. Because they literally have a cut where they've gone from night to day and they're still walking and they get to the barn eventually.
Yeah, the barn maybe could have been a little closer.
Yeah, but that being said, I mean, in
The
between
emotional
that,
moments.
they like when they're talking on the way there and stuff, and AJ's like, I don't want to be alone or whatever. So I understand the decisions they took, but yeah, I do agree with you in that I think us and probably a lot of other people were thinking shit.
Cut the leg off.
Yeah, just get the fucking leg off. And because you're so invested in it, because you've been watching Clementine from the very beginning, and you want anything but for her to die, and you're screaming at the fucking screen. You spend so much time being angered by what you're seeing than actually taking in the emotional part of it.
At least the first time around.
Because I remember I didn't care about what they were saying. I was like, I was just wanting them to cut the leg off.
And I mean, even for you, right? Because like this is a weird bit of lore about us. I've showed you season 4 first.
Oh yeah, true.
Which is, I regret it on my part, but I thought you would find it more engaging than the first season. And I also didn't want to play the first season again because I've genuinely played the first season like 8 times.
Yeah, it's understandable.
So I was like, okay, Ed likes shit.
It's more up my street because it's like
Ed likes shit, which is like teen
survival,
kind of drama,
catastrophic, yeah, post-apocalyptic.
So I was like, okay, he's gonna post-apocalyptic. He's gonna work. He's gonna
Cataclysmic.
like this.
Catastrophic. Okay, I'm done.
Are you for real?
Okay, go.
So I was like, okay, this will appeal to him more. So he didn't know a lot about kind of the lore of the world, but like even you, that in the game, even without any other context of other games, if you push Abel, you see he comes back.
Yeah.
So that tells you, even if you don't have any context of the previous games, you know,
Because you've played this season.
you can
So
cut
that's
even
what you
within
mean,
this own season. You know, you can cut off the arm to stop the infection.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, okay, we've seen it work, bitch. Cut it off.
Cut it off. And then it's like, also, I think there might be an issue with like, how soon do you have to cut off the limb? Because remember, as Lee, if you cut off the limb, it still doesn't work because the infection has already spread.
Yeah, because it's too late by that point.
Yeah, and it's like how much time did
What is the time frame? Yeah.
Yeah, what's the time frame?
I feel like Lee would have cut it off later than Clem.
Maybe a bit more, but like.
Because remember, he even fell unconscious for God knows how long before.
Like the way that Clementine was looking though in the barn when she was all like basically grey.
Well, yeah, that is. Yeah, but that could be played off as just the axe hit to the leg though when you're losing blood, and
you wouldn't go like grey, and you wouldn't have like the yellow eyes.
Yeah, you wouldn't go that bad, but you would certainly look pale, and you would look.
But you wouldn't look grey.
Ghastly, but she did look worse than that even.
Yeah. It's like I get the parallel, but I don't know if it's the same situation.
But yeah. So you, after that scene, like we said, you're sort of just pissed off because you want them to cut it off as soon as possible. But we'll suspend our disbelief, and they get to the barn, and this scene is so sad.
But then you cut the he goes to like, and then Clementine. I'm pretty sure Clementine, even if you say, "Oh, don't kill me," he goes, "No, I'm gonna make the decision."
God,
Flings the axe. Cuts.
That's so good with like that scene is so good with the fucking zombies all around.
And from the cut from the barn too, you get the flashback at was it McCarroll Ranch?
Oh yeah, shit, I forgot about that. Yeah,
I was sensing you forgot about it.
And that was one of my favourite scenes as well. Still
it?
is. Yeah, I love that.
Not good
scene.
enough to remember though.
Not good enough to remember in this state because I'm tired and I haven't watched anything Walking Dead related for a while. But yeah. What do you think about that?
I feel like it kind of broke the pace a bit.
Nah, bro, it's so good.
But you just kind of, but it's like you're in the.
It's like you're going back to you. First of all, it.
But I don't know how significant that is to their relationship.
First of all, it sort of clears up a bit about how AJ and Clem got back together at the beginning of season 4. Second of all, it's a cool, like the scene is cool, like the setting of the burning building and the like that guy who's just like, kill me, please, kill
that
me.
dude.
The guy who's got like half encrusted face with fucking
burns and shit.
yeah. That's so sick. The quietness, the eeriness, the sort of uncanny feeling as you walk through, and the whole point of it is to show just how much Clem relies on AJ. Her whole purpose.
Don't you mean AJ relies on Clem?
No, but also Clem relies on AJ.
But what does Clem need AJ for that scene?
For living, she can't live without AJ.
Oh, you mean like an emotional reliance rather than an actual reliance?
Yeah.
Because I thought you were like, yeah, the way AJ like did a flip and shot all those guns.
No. I mean it both ways. Obviously, AJ needs her for different reasons, but Clem needs AJ because she sees him as her purpose in the world. Her purpose is to look after this kid. I think
that scene probably works better if you do more morally fucked up shit, as to kind of imply that AJ's her anchor from doing bad things. Like, she kills all those fucking guys brutally, and then when she sees AJ, she switches.
Yeah, maybe, but still.
Yeah, right.
Either way, I like it. And you've even got that fucking cameo of Eddie.
That's so fucking dumb.
Who's just there like,
I'm not the one you bastards take another kid. But what is the context of that? Who are the bastards?
Well, we don't know. Presumably whoever was attacking. So I think this is Macau. So I guess it's Macau Ranch, Richmond, the Delta, and maybe others that we haven't heard of are all just at war.
Well, it could be the Delta if they're going after the kids.
So yeah, maybe yeah. Could be.
Just didn't
That's probably it, actually.
But it's like babies.
And then that scene where she saves AJ and they get in the car and it's just like, I think it's fitting, to be honest, and it leaves you sort of thinking about things.
I don't mind the scene. It's just like, why are they showing us this now?
Because this is what we think is the end of Clem and AJ.
That's true, but then I feel like if they showed like I would get why if they showed their first ever meeting or interaction, it would make sense to play that after the death, like a contrast. But like, is this moment that significant to their lives, to their relationship? I guess it is.
I think it is.
She rescued him and was like, okay, on the road we go. But I don't know. To me, it just felt like
having been separated.
A detour from like, we need to make sure the season 3 fans don't come on our ass about.
No, because I don't like season 3, but I like this scene. You know, it just adds a bit of clarity to something that we had no idea about. Like, okay, AJ's just with Clem again at the beginning of season 4.
I didn't really care, to be honest.
I didn't care until I saw it.
But what about if Trip was there?
I would have hated it.
Coming to help.
I would have hated it.
You're the boss, Clementine. You're the boss.
So, you know, and then that ends.
Then you cut to.
That ends with the first rule where she says, "Never go alone" or something.
Go alone.
Yeah,
I guess. And then that cuts to AJ at the fishing spot.
Yeah.
With the spear. Going
further leaving you in the dark as to what the fuck just happened.
I know.
I guess it's meant to, I guess at the point you just think she's dead. Especially when you start playing as AJ fishing, like spearing.
Because you think, this is like them being like, he moves on, he's like the new main character now.
Yeah.
Then he's fishing at the thing, and then there's that fucking massive dog.
I love his dialogue option format.
Oh yeah, because
it's more childlike.
Well, because it's like a random selection of like thoughts rather than coherent sentences of dialogue, which is kind of the point.
Mm.
But no, if Ten didn't die, this is when you meet him because he comes back.
Well, you meet him either way.
Oh yeah, as a zombie, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just see him in the distance, and you can either kill him or spare his zombified body.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
But then you get the we'll talk about the fucking when he arrives and then he's like, I feel bad. I want to be more like you. And then you have that moment which I feel like an overwhelming amount of people were like, I'm gonna teach you to be like me. Maybe it was just the way that it was phrased. Maybe it was the way that the answer was phrased.
Oh yeah, what was it again?
It was something like.
I know what you're talking about.
Well, I think one of them was literally like, I'm gonna train you to be like me, and then the other one was like, some people can just be artists.
Oh yeah, and then that is deceiving because I think a lot of people would choose that because it's like you be who you are, but then it comes across as I'm not gonna teach you. It's like you can still be different, but I'm still going to teach you.
I'm just not going to pay attention to you.
Yeah.
But like, I do think the be who you are artist thing is the better ending because it comes across more like authentic to 10 as a character.
Yeah.
Like, because it's a little sad when he goes, I don't want to be me anymore, train me to be like you.
Yeah. I'm sick of seeing people die because of the way I am.
Yeah, and it's like, that's so fucking sad, and maybe that's like a natural reality, but also you got to preserve that innocence. Because otherwise you won't have anybody writing down shit, you won't have anybody drawing shit.
Yeah.
To like, monitor anything.
Well, I kind of wish there was...
still be him.
Yeah, I wish you could... in an ideal world, I would want AJ teaching him the basics of survival, as well as 10 teaching AJ what he knows about the past, like when they were in that scene with the police officers and the fire.
My interpretation of some people can be artists is still like he obviously AJ will teach him some stuff, but it's just not his main focus isn't going to be completely changing his personality.
I think that's a really nice way of putting it as well.
I just think that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But then you go to and then Ruby comes up and is like, oh fuck, 10, you're not dead.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, because he just didn't come back.
Oh,
he was so
gets
ashamed.
Clementine's hat. He gets Clementine's hat.
Yeah, and that. And if he's a zombie, then I think AJ just finds it in the water. Another reason why having 10 alive is, I think,
a good ending.
Yeah, like the better ending.
Yeah, and then he gets the hat. I like it. It kind of felt like a nod at like Kenny's hat, where he goes, oh you should wear it. He's like, oh, here's the hat you wear, and he's like, oh, it doesn't fit my hair.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, is that them going, the reason why he isn't wearing Kenny's hat is because it wouldn't fit his hair? But no, that felt like a little slide at it. But then Ruby's like, oh yeah, good, 10, you're doing good. You're all right.
Thank God you're back.
You're doing all right. Do you want to help out?
I think she is a bit more surprised than we're making out, but
I think so. But
yeah, either way,
she'd be like, oh my fucking god.
You walk back and then the credits. Well, not the credits play, but you got that take us back. Oh, take us back.
No, dude, it's like a fucking country ass song. And then there's like Willie's in a tree. He's crawling down a tree.
So we'll take the mountain path on down the hill.
Do you know that song?
I listened to the fucking Walking Dead soundtrack after it came out.
I listen to 2s, but I don't listen to 4s.
I listen to 4s only.
I like listening to industrial ambient wind blowing. Like,
Take Us Back is in season 1 as well.
Is it?
It's at the very end of season 1.
I thought it was the name of one of the episodes. No, it's the
name of the last
4,
episode. Yeah.
Is it in?
Yeah, it plays at the end of season 1.
Shit, I didn't notice that.
Yeah. It's like another Take Us Back.
Well, I assumed it was made for the game. Well, like it was made for season 4.
I don't think it was. Like, I don't even think it was made for season 1. I think it was just a song that existed.
But did they just get permission? They were like, can we use your song?
Yeah, I think so. Because
name our episode after your song.
Yeah, and like, why would you say no? Type thing.
Maybe they fucking hate The Walking Dead, and they were like, absolutely
not.
Well,
obviously they didn't. But yeah, so you got Willie climbing down the tree, Sim and Ruby holding hands.
Omar.
I
saw that. I was replaying it with my mum.
He wasn't even like doing anything chefy. He was like I think he was just like chopping wood.
No, he was like, he was chopping wood, and because I remember I was playing it with my mum, and it was a really emotional moment. And as soon as I saw Omar chopping wood, I just completely was lost.
I broke down. As soon as he walked through the gates, I really thought that. Not Omar, by the way, AJ. Omar. As soon as AJ walked through the gates, I really thought the game was just gonna end there.
Yeah, it would like pan up, and it would be like,
yeah,
Walking Dead.
Yeah, stereotypical sort of story game ending. But then it goes black, and then cuts to AJ just walking in the within the perimeter, and you're like, okay, this is okay. What's there left to see? And then you see, so long as you have subtitles on, you see the pink thing come up, implying that Clem is still alive. Although when I watched people play it, a lot of people didn't actually think she was alive yet. Like they thought it would be like a
ghost,
yeah,
like an apparition,
like a dream or something that he's conjured up in his mind,
or like an imaginary friend type.
Yeah. It wasn't until like they actually started like interacting and whatever, like with the swing and stuff, that they were like, okay, yeah.
He starts hugging her, and then everyone in his hand is just poor AJ.
Just hugging thin air.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Well, no,
that would be so fucked up though if they did that. Like,
if the reveal, it cuts to someone else's perspective.
They cut to her, right? They cut to her, like they're talking, and then it gets revealed that and then it cuts to the perspective of like another person in the school, and
they just see him in the distance. Clem, you're back. It's like, oh fuck.
That'd be so sad.
That would be fucking depression, man. That's like a season. That's like a season 2, like dark.
Yeah, that's a season 2 type thing.
But no, that and then I like the reveal of Clementine just like, and she's got her little leg is all fucking cut off.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, thank fucking Christ.
Yeah, I know. We need that happy ending.
I know, she needs that fucking
and I'm glad we got that happy ending.
Yeah, I feel like
Say what you want about realism and all that shit. I'm happy with the happy ending. I'm cool with that.
well, it feels like it feels like we've earned it.
Yeah.
It's like we've gone through
All the hardships.
all these games.
Yeah.
We haven't personally gone through the hardships.
No,
we've
but like
watched a
we've been on the
character.
journey. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it would feel a little like, and especially she doesn't really die in that heroic. If she did die there, it wouldn't have been that heroic of a death, and it would have
wouldn't
been
be
too much.
saving
And it would have been
AJ.
too much of a mirror of Lee's.
Yeah.
Because at least Lee, when he died, he was like fucking he was like stabbing
Yeah,
people and
yeah.
shit, and he like brought Clementine back. But no, I like how it ended kind of nice. And,
Yeah, no, I agree with what you mean about like, okay, we've been through all of this shit. We finally have got a place that's secure with people we like.
Yeah.
On the whole.
And even though there are ways you could like make a sequel to this, like for a season 5 or something, I think it was their intention to be like everything's fine.
That's why it's so good though, because it's an ending that does leave interpretations as to what happens
it's
after.
also
but also,
satisfactory.
yeah, it could just be an ending.
You could
that
interpret
ends
it
like
as
that,
just they're gonna live happily
Yeah,
ever
yeah.
after, whatever the fuck.
which is perfect. That's all you really want.
Yeah.
And obviously, actually, I'm not going to talk about the comic.
I was gonna say, God forbid anyone try to expand upon that. but
Yeah,
Not even.
but if they were going to do it, I'd hope that they'd include the basic.
Omar.
Fuck AJ, but as long as Omar's there.
Omar should have gone with Clementine.
Yeah. Imagine if it was just Omar.
I
It
don't
wasn't
feel
Clem-
safe
Imagine
here,
if Clementine
AJ.
wasn't
I'm
even
taking
there.
Omar
It
with
was just
me.
like an Omar exclusive.
I'm taking an
sequel.
Omar standalone
Yeah.
story. A 50 volume.
How he gained his knowledge of
cookery.
yeah.
He travelled around the apocalyptic wasteland, like fucking learning maestros.
from famous chefs.
Gordon Ramsay. I thought you died.
You know what I
That's
say?
like- that's
You
like
can
where
eat
he
good
learned-
or you can eat right.
Yeah, that's where he learns
He's
it
like,
from.
That's where I learned that. Hey, I might use that sometime.
Hello, and no, it's not ready yet.
Because we need to find out where he learned that.
Yeah.
We need to have a story about it. It's so Better Call Saul, we need to find out his origin story.
His speech and tone and delivery is so awkward and uncomfortable.
And it doesn't really fit his character.
Hello, and no, it's not ready yet.
Because like the way his character is designed, it would seem like he'd be kind of like a jolly kind of cook type of character. But like in this, he's kind
When I
of
imagine him speaking,
he sounds like a thin.
yeah, well, I just imagine mountains when I think of him speaking because I just
Mountains?
yeah, like just that constant sort of high pitched
Oh,
down
right.
pitch.
I thought you meant like the strength and power of a mountain. No, it's not ready yet.
Hello, I just,
Hello, everybody. My name
I
is
meant the
Margaret.
fluctuation in tones, you know.
Yeah, sort of like a type
Yeah.
thing. Like a roller coaster.
Hello, and no, it's not
Oh,
ready yet.
no, it's not ready yet.
You can eat, or you can eat right.
right.
you know
Fucking damn it.
you know what I mean?
I know. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's weird, like pronunciation
Fucking we
with not
just-
great dialogue.
We need to stop talking about.
Yeah. Well, you fucking brought him
I'm
up.
sorry. Yeah. Okay. I think. Okay. Last thing to talk about.
But then you
regarding...
have the little dinner, right? With the Omar's like,
Yeah.
you know, dinner's ready.
Yeah,
it's ready to
yeah.
eat. If you're gonna eat, you're gonna eat right. And then
But
Louis-
there's also the scene. I don't know if it's before or after, but when Clem says to AJ, "Did I do a good job?" She like tears up as she says it. You sort of know, yeah, we're at the end of the story here.
No, you were shit. Anyway,
No, the worst option you can pick is like she tried.
you tried.
You know?
You tried.
what the fuck, AJ?
Yeah, like, yeah.
If he
you
ends up
tried.
killing 10, maybe she will confess. And she's like, you tried, but I'm a murderer now. So I'm cool.
Yeah. yeah. Yeah.
What is like the final
The final thing you did? Well, after the dinner.
That's when it's like, we're gonna head in.
Yeah, and
whatever.
AJ. Oh no, she says go and put the hat away. Or something. Oh, he's like, I'm just gonna go put this hat away. Or whatever.
Why wouldn't Clementine wear the fucking hat? I mean,
Clem
it is
says
wet
that-
from
yeah,
already.
yeah,
but
true. Oh no, she says it's in better days, and then she passes it back to AJ.
She's had it for a fucking decade. What do you mean it's had better
I mean,
days?
it has just been
Here's
in
the
water.
hat back.
No, but it
I guess it doesn't mean
it
like,
makes sense because then you
it's
end
had
up
better days.
Yeah.
Throw it away.
She fucking rips it.
Yeah, just like,
No, it
I'm
makes
done.
more sense to like.
Oh,
It makes
leave it to
sense
dry.
for later on when AJ just like sort of places it on the desk.
Yeah.
And that's like a nice conclusion, you know.
Yeah, that's literally. It's like, are you done here? You put down the hat, and
Yeah,
then that's
yeah.
the confirmation of it. But before then, you get
The
you
end
walk
of your
through the
playing
corridor,
experience.
taking off the hat.
Yeah.
The hat that's been there since the beginning.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been there longer than anyone. Well, not longer than anyone.
No, but you know, yeah.
It's been there. It's been there as long as
From the
Clementine
beginning of
has
the
been in there.
story's conception.
Episode 4. Overall thoughts.
Good episode. Nice conclusion.
Fitting ending.
Any other way
I'm
of saying
content
you liked
with
the
it.
ending?
I'm content with it.
It made neurons fire in me that made me feel content.
It released positive endorphins.
Certain type of dopamine released into my brain
rush.
chemistry.
Yeah.
But not so much to where I was thrilled, but to much where I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And now my brain is telling me to say these things.
Yeah. And
as dopamine is being released.
And while it's not my favourite episode of the season for its shortness and just I don't know, like
stuff.
Yeah, like I really liked it, but there's something about episode 1 and 3 for me that are better than it. They're more developed in terms of like stories and stuff, but obviously all that matters at the end of the day is season 4's like second half, because that's where the ending happens. That is great. And it's also just sad. Like, when I think of episode 4, I think of, oh shit, this is the end.
It's over.
Yeah.
Well, it was kind of just the beginning for you when you first played it.
Yeah, but I'm talking about mainly when I played it the second time.
So I find it so funny that you played those as prequels. Like, with the context of the last film.
Knowing what the fuck was going to happen.
It's so fucking dumb.
It's not dumb. Like, you would have never imagined how much I liked it playing it, though. Like when you first showed it to me, did you really think we'd be making a fucking 5-hour conversation on one of the seasons? Like, on the shortest season? Like, you wouldn't think that, would you? I mean, you did the right thing.
Shit. No, I didn't think that.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I think I like the conclusion. I like some of the good character stuff, like James. I like James's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it is a little short, and for me, some of it feels like padding.
Yeah, well.
It
was just trying to get to there.
But
when it got to there, it was good.
But some of it felt like the in-between moments were a little bit like, oh.
Yeah. Wow. Maybe a little bit rushed, I want to say. But then again, we come back to them having... Yeah, and they just needed to get it, like, finished.
No, but, like,
As episodes go, in terms of substance and stuff, certainly there were episodes in the season that were better than that one. As episodes.
I thought you said you thought it was mid. I thought behind the scenes you were lying about it.
I actually hate The Walking Dead, guys.
Actually like 3.
Yeah,
3 was okay, but the rest sucked.
Please let us know if you have that opinion.
I think they do.
Mystery people.
They're real people who fucking vote, man.
Plural or singular?
Peoples.
As in, like, there'll be multiple people watching this.
Oh, one guy.
Singular.
One guy.
Person that's out there.
One guy is going to be watching it, and that's me. Because you're definitely not watching these.
I'll watch it.
You're not going to watch 5 hours.
I'll drop a like. I'll drop a comment on an anonymous account.
You better. Or I'm going to fucking get mad.
I love the retrospective, guys.
Great retrospective. Ed was so cool. I bet Ed is really hard.
Ed was my favourite.
Ed is so sick. You make a fan account for yourself. Like Ed Stan.
Ed from the Walking Dead game retrospective channel.
Stan.
Fan. Yeah.
I love you, Ed, man. You're so cool. Great.
Now, if anyone actually like legit watches it and goes to the comments, they're gonna think that it's like one of us.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna anonymously comment, but I'll like it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try to like.
But okay, so I think we should quickly do, because I don't think this would take us too long, but like our rankings of the seasons overall.
Yeah.
Because this is the.
Let's not go into too much detail. Yeah, just.
Yeah, I don't think episode by episode I think would take way too long. Or like you can point out ones you find exceptional in particular.
Yeah, like so we're ranking seasons.
Yeah, season.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to go first, or should we do it simultaneously with like fourth, third, second, first?
Shit. Should we start from our least favourite to our most?
I think start from least. I mean, if anyone has actually watched this I doubt anyone's watched it the whole way through, but if you had, they'd probably gauge an understanding of what we were already gonna say. But like,
so at the bottom you've got season
we need
2.
it. Want it in writing.
The bottom you've got.
No. Let's do this. Okay, so bottom season. I'll say it, then you say it quick. Okay, so bottom season is season 3. Season 3. Yeah, I think that's pretty. That's a unanimous decision from both of us.
Main reasons are just the weaker characters,
weaker plots,
bizarre, like weird graphics, bizarre plot, like not much interesting going on. Kind of underdeveloped concepts. Yeah. Things like
plasticky style.
Way too much action and not enough like survival focused.
Yeah, no
stakes.
story.
Things like that. Like the characters you actually care about are sidelined for unlikable, poorly written,
garbage.
awkwardly acted
characters.
Yeah, the dialogue options were not as thorough. Sometimes they were deceiving in that you want to say something
and then it comes out
Javi
another way.
spouts some other rubbish.
Which is a problem that no other season had.
Yeah,
like this.
Yeah, like this badly.
There must have been somebody must have left.
Yeah.
And, like there must have been a new writing team or something. But
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, I do think like the
Even
gap,
the setting was worse than the other seasons.
Yeah, and like I think the gap between the 4th and 3rd spot is like huge.
Oh, it's massive. Yeah. When we say this is last, like what we're saying is the other 3 games are fucking nigh on masterpieces, whereas this one is a game that I would never play ever again.
No, I wouldn't.
But we have to rank them within the same system simply because they are part of the same collective
world.
game. Yeah.
So yeah, that's our 4th.
Yeah, like, and yeah, I mean, if you want
is there like a standout
episode, no,
episode from?
no, you
Or
crazy.
what's the best of?
The best
that
of season 3 is
think
the
the
very
first one.
first scene when you're at the house and then you get the cool sequence introduction.
Yeah, I think the first episode is
it.
good for that. For
Yeah,
like just
that's
that
it.
moment. And then
So forgettable.
what's the worst one? Or are they just all equally as bad?
Everything from that moment is garbage.
Yeah, I can't really pick one in particular that I'm
No.
like, this is the worst. It's just like it's all kind of.
But it's also like I can't pick a stand-up moment that is the worst because everything is so equally shit that nothing stands out in my head. It's like I'm overwhelmed with the amount of things I
Choice.
could choose. Yeah,
But yeah, episode 1's the best. But like that's like
that's not saying much.
not saying much. But yeah,
Episode 1 is the best, but that being said, it's still the worst of any
other season.
Yeah, if you take out the others
if you put it up to any other episode, it's
in the
it's-
other seasons, yeah, it's still
takes
the
the
worst,
L.
despite being the best of season 3.
But same thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's our 4th pick is season 3.
If you want a more
Harvey
in-depth,
Stan accounts,
If you
dislike the fucking.
if
video.
you want a more in-depth breakdown, then watch our season 3 retrospective.
absolutely
Plug
it.
our 4-hour long.
I don't think that one's that
3 hour
as
long.
long.
I think 3
Probably.
hours.
Even though that's longer than
Yeah.
I expected.
All right, so in the 3rd spot, wait, shit, I gotta think about this. Fuck.
Yeah, I think I know. I think I know what I'm gonna do for 3.
I think so as well. Actually, now that I've said it.
You think so?
So I think season 3. Season
Season
third.
3 takes the 3rd and 4th slot.
My third ranking is season 1.
Season 1's your 3rd ranking.
Yeah,
My 3rd ranking is season 4.
fair enough, bro.
What's your reasoning for 1?
It's hard because I feel like I've spoken about it quite a lot throughout the whole thing.
Just
But
a
if I had
quick
to
rundown.
try and summarize,
The main points that you kind of go.
still a very iconic season. You know, once again, just all 3 of these ones are brilliant, and it's actually really hard. The decision is so hard that I feel like on a weekly basis I would change my decisions. That's how tough this decision is. But in this moment right now, I'm going to say season 1. Yeah, strong characters, strong plot, but I think the reason I prefer the other ones is because season 2, I think there's a better villain, a better setting, a more desperate, tragic story, which is what I personally enjoy. And in season 4, I prefer the aesthetic, I prefer the style. I like not even just games related to this, but I like media that's based on sort of young survivors in a post-apocalyptic world. That's just kind of something that's like a genre I really like. And that's why, but I still fucking love season 1, you know? I still fucking love it. One of the best. Well, I say Walking Dead is the best game I've ever played. If I had to individualize them, yeah, season 1 is, yeah, just brilliant.
And is there do you your favourite episode and then your least favourite episode?
Favourite episode of season 1 was...
I remember you really liked 2 with the.
Oh yeah,
St.
the
John's.
cannibals. Yeah. Season 1, episode 2, because that's one of my favorite episodes of the entire thing altogether. Really unique, never been explored before. It's the only time it's explored in the game. Cool, unique villains. More character development. Shock value, really good for that. Good pacing to it. Unravels as sort of a mystery as it goes on. And my least favorite episode of that season would probably be episode 3 or 4. I'll say 3. I think the too many scenes of walking around and stuff, and like just navigating rather than actually
Dialogue.
Yeah. So that's
Walking
it.
Dead had too much walking.
But still, like they're all good. It's hard to make a decision on that. Okay,
My
now
3
you.
was season 4, and I think my main sort of thinking isn't necessarily because I think season 4 is particularly worse, but more like I just think season 1 is better.
That's fair enough.
Like it's not a slight against 4, more of just a
I can't in good conscience, in good faith, say that I think it's objectively better.
And I mean, I think
experience.
that you personally, like, you probably hold a lot of nostalgia when it comes to season 1 because you played it when it was released, whereas I played season 4 first.
Yes,
if anything, there's more nostalgia attached to that one for me than season 1. But
That's true.
From your perspective, I can get that.
I think I mean, like we've just been talking about it for the past 5 hours, so clearly I like it. Like, I like season 4. Like, it's a really good game. I think sort of my main issues kind of lie with like kind of things outside of its control, like the fact that the development, it only has 4 episodes. There's kind of ideas that you could see that they were going for, but they didn't make it in. Kind of like if they had more time, and I know but I just feel like there's a level of maturity in it that it doesn't have the same level of maturity as season 2 or 1 for some reason. I think so maybe because it's teenage characters that's appropriate, but I like Erickson as a setting, but I like the road trip, like journey of 1 and 2
more than like one setting that they stay in for the whole.
Even if the setting is really good, like I like the whole having to travel across the country from one location to another.
Yeah, from one danger to another.
Yeah, I mean, I like Lewis and Violet and that, but I know there's just something about with 1 and 2. There's something about the characters that they had in those that are like just work for me. Like Kenny is so fucking legendary of a character.
Oh yeah.
Like Kenny and like even I think season 1 Lily is better than season 4 Lily. I think season 1 she's a little more kind of realistic as a character. Yeah, and like they said, like the St. John's stuff was a good standalone thing. I like the vibe. Like I like how depressing it is. Like it's like a horrible nightmare, and it's really mature considering that it's like. I think they just tried so fucking hard to get it perfectly right, and not like they didn't try it before, but I feel like they had everything to gain and everything to lose with this one, so they fucking pulled forward. And I've got to give it the credit of inventing the format, of doing it as it is. And I love, and even though I do think the AJ Clementine relationship is a little more interesting.
I think it's better than Lee and Clem.
I do think there's a lot more stuff around it. I think the outsider stuff is more interesting. With like
the circumstantial,
kind of the factionalism and like the
circumstances.
Led
them to go. Yeah.
And then
So what's your favourite episode and least favourite episode of season 4, which you have in 3rd?
Favourite of 4 is episode 1.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because I think that's the one where it's like
that's the best tone setter episode of the entire game.
It gets you hooked the most, I think, into like what's going on. Like AJ shooting Marlon is like a legendary cliffhanger, and like it does a good job of introducing how the game plays and shit like that. And then worst episode is probably 3 for me. Like I said before, I think that's probably the worst one. I don't like the downtime between it. It feels a little padded, but that's just me.
Yeah, still a good episode though.
Well, it's good. Yeah, it is good.
Yeah.
But okay, so that's what about
second place?
Runner up.
Yeah. Once again, I keep saying this, but yeah, these 3 change regularly for me. But for now, I'll say season 2 second for me. Now,
beef.
Now here's my thing.
Here we go.
Here's my thing with season 2, right? Because for a long time, season 2 was probably my favorite. But
here we go.
Thinking from a different perspective, I think that season 2 is second for me because of the ways it could have gone. So what I mean by that is that if some of the concepts for season 2 had gone the way that they initially were going to in the production of the game, or that we talked about in our season 2 retrospective with the like with the various paths that you could have gone down, characters that could have been more developed, or just going down a different path, different options and stuff. All the lore surrounding it is brilliant, but I think if they had done the game the way I wanted them to, and that they had conceptualized in the creation of the game, and they had more time, then season 2 would be my favorite without a doubt. I think obviously it's hard to know when I haven't actually seen how it would pan out, but seeing how season 2 did pan out, and with these ideas, if they had gone in with the same production team or whatever, I think they'd come out brilliantly. And yeah, so I would have had season 2 higher if it was for that, but because it doesn't, and because they don't have some of those concepts, some of season 4 feels a bit. Season 2 feels like I'm traversing
Freudian slip.
Traversing a maze of different subplots and storylines. Episode 4, I felt really stagnated. The enjoyment for me.
I liked
Not
it.
much happened in it. Sort of killed the pacing of it. And that's why in season 2 I'll give my best episode to episode 5, obviously. One of the best, arguably the best episode of the entire thing. And then my least favourite is episode 4. But yeah, that's why that's second for me. And just brilliant characters in season 2 again.
Got Kenny, Luke, cabin crew.
Kenny becomes, immortalized in the fucking Walking Dead universe, lore, fan base, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that's my take.
But my second is season 1, and I've kind of already explained why I like it and shit like that in the season 4 thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of what it did for the genre. I like the maturity of it. I like the road trip aesthetic. I like Kenny. I like Lily. I like all those characters. I like Lee. He's the only good protagonist that isn't Clementine. Considering the only other one is Harvey.
Yeah.
But
and the jump from Harvey to Lee is just
insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like if Harvey was a little hill, Lee and Clem are like Everest. That's how big the fucking difference is.
It is, yeah. But something about 1 works particularly well for me. It might be nostalgia, but that definitely plays a role into it. But I think it has so many memorable moments. It's so mature for the type of game that it is. It takes itself seriously. It takes the plot seriously. Clementine is so good in that. Even though I said I think the AJ dynamic is just as interesting.
Yeah.
I really like.
Oh my god,
Clementine!
What the fuck happened to my voice?
Yeah. But I still really fucking love that dynamic. Like Clementine is such a good kind of, almost kind of like someone from our perspective going into it, almost like a child's perspective. Or at least might break the top of that.
Like the perfect
You just broke
image of innocence.
You broke the top of that.
I always do that.
Fuck you. But I like the more adult orientated story, and then just it works, man. It works. But in terms of my favorite episode, I think maybe 5. 5 might be my favorite one.
Yeah.
Because it's like the fucking everything is collapsing. There's that cool mechanic of, the way you treated them depends on who goes with you. Like it isn't such an obvious decision. Like it can kind of change and shit.
Wait, isn't that episode 4?
It's 4 or 5 because I'm pretty sure you go back.
I think it's
house.
4 going into 5, isn't it?
4 going into 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the case.
But then the outcome.
But I'm not so crazy of 4 with the going into the school thing can be a little slow. But,
Crawford.
Yeah. But no, but I'm still for me
I
it's still
agree.
it's all kind of like a good level of quality to where it's hard to decide. But yeah, my least favorite is probably 1, just because I've played it so many times that I know everything about it, and it's kind of slow, and it has more. It's other than episode 3, it probably is the heaviest on puzzles. Of that kind of, and that's why.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah,
that's one thing that
Definitely.
leads it back is the puzzly stuff, which doesn't work for me as much as just straight up dialogue.
Some people prefer it though.
Shit.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's still probably the favourite one on top of
Yeah.
just Lee and Clementine stuff. But
Yeah.
people liked it.
It is. Yeah, it's the fan favorite. Isn't
But
it?
no, yeah, for me, season 1 is the second best with episode 5. I think maybe episode 5 or 4 is the best, and then episode 1 is
Yeah,
the worst.
it's tough to call, huh?
But yeah, number 1.
Number 1,
That leaves
the best season of the best game, for me,
season 3.
is
It takes 4 and 1.
You're the Boss, Harvey.
You're the boss.
No,
Harvey,
I'm
you're
gonna
the
say,
boss.
yeah, obviously it's season 4. That's the only one that's left for me. I'm
I mean, we've
probably
spent
in
5
a
hours
yeah.
explaining it,
I mean, I'm probably in the big minority of people who would have that.
No, I think.
Sorry, a small minority of people who would have that as their favorite.
Well, no, I think people generally prefer 4 to 2.
Maybe, yeah. I think the general consensus is that probably.
I think
but
the general-
I think so many people have season 1 as their favorite that anything else is sort of
weird and unusual.
What the fuck? You like a different season
I
than
know.
season 1? What the
I know,
fuck?
I know. But yeah, no, season 4 is my favorite. Like I said, I like the aesthetic. I like the dynamic between Clem and AJ. I think it's a better dynamic than between Lee and Clem. Don't shoot me. But I think it's more developed. I think it's more explored. I like the dialogue options. I like the characters. I like the setting a lot. I like the reverse. I like the art style a lot more. Well, maybe it's because season 3's art style was so bad that I like season 4's a lot. But yeah, I genuinely think season 4's art style is my favorite, just in terms of how the characters look and stuff. Yeah, it's just got that sort of dusty, rusty feel to it, and it's just nice. Villain-wise, it hasn't got the strongest villain of all of the seasons. Voice crack again.
Right.
But for me, yeah, just the aesthetic and all that comes with it.
And everything else.
And everything else.
I just like how it looks. That's probably
I
what's
love the
better
way
than
it
the
looks.
rest.
Yeah, I love the dynamics.
What's your?
It's the only season where you've got any real romance, even though I think it could have been more expanded on. It's still the only season where you've got any of that.
It's good for what's in it. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is that if the production team or if the company had the right funds,
Didn't
who knows
collapse.
what it could have been even better than I already love it.
Wait,
so.
that's what I think similarly to kind of why
Yeah.
you've put 2 a little lower. Maybe
Yeah.
I put 4 a little lower just because I'm thinking if the company wasn't literally being
Yeah.
bankrupted, what else could
Yeah.
it could have been?
And this is we love these games so much, but that's what makes them even more interesting, I think, to both of us.
Background
Is the
shit.
fact that the background stuff highlights a world that could have been so much more different, like all the cool ideas that they had. And that's why season 2 would have been my favourite.
But you got season 4
But,
for
yeah.
what it's
Yeah,
got.
for what it has got.
Yeah.
And my favourite episode is episode 1. Best tone setter in the whole thing. Best for character development. Get to explore the surroundings you're in. It's a long one, but
This is a bloody long one.
You need it to be. This is like double the length of episode 1 of season 4.
It's probably the Jesus.
But you need a long episode when you're introducing a new season, and that can always go wrong if people don't like the characters or stuff. But I loved it.
And what's your least?
And my
favourite?
least favorite, my least favorite is 2. Just the least interesting stuff happens.
Okay.
Simple as that.
Right, fair enough. Bitch. So when I'm talking about, I think my favorite season is like 2. Cause that's the only thing that-
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro. This game, I think a few years ago I wouldn't have said it's my favorite. I think I probably still would have preferred 1. But season 2, it's got something about it. It's got like a vibe. It's got like an atmosphere. It's got an energy. I'm not, what the fuck energy means, but it's got something about it. Like, and I like the characters. Like,
I know what you mean, man.
even if they are objectively underdeveloped, like genuinely underdeveloped, and like don't get as much, and it isn't perfect, I still like it. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Like Luke, I fucking love Luke, even though he could have been better, and there are moments of inconsistencies in his character where it feels like, is this if the way he was originally written, is this the way that he would act now?
Yeah.
I still fucking love him. I'm obsessed with these characters. Like, even the complete like 360, oh, this isn't going to be about Luke and Kenny, this is now going to be about Jane and Kenny. Like, I still, even with
You can
that,
ride with it.
I still like it works. Like, I like Nick, even though I feel like Nick got done dirty because he dies on a fence.
Yeah.
If you don't kill him, but like, I fucking love Nick. Like, it's insane that a character that is not that important to the overall state, I like him that much just because I think the writing, I think this has the best writing of it all.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll go with you on that.
there's certain moments, like in almost every game there are certain moments which are that feel a little kind of immature or cringy. But like here, there's not a single line where I'm like, well, that doesn't work, because like even lines that are a little bit bizarre from Clementine, I feel like they still hit the intended beat. Like the intended beat of Clementine kind of going,
Becoming
"I
a
had
sassy
treehouse
teenager,
once, I
yeah.
hate it." Like, it feels like it's hitting the beat that it's trying to go for.
Yeah, I think maybe even like we talk about the conceptual part of season 2, but even the flaws and discrepancies sort of maybe add.
Well,
a
they
little
add
bit
to the intrigue, right?
Because you've got the season for what it is, you've got the game for what it is, but then you've also got a whole
The intrigue behind it.
a whole load of stuff to explore
I genuinely-
behind the scenes.
I don't think there's any other game. Do comment to correct me, but I don't think there's any other game that has this level of cut content and like concept. Like,
the amount of shit that they like, the amount of ideas they came up with in such a short amount of time, and the fact that the game came out and it worked,
mind blowing.
It's actually fucking insane. And like I said, like I love
their ideas were so good that even though they were probably overwhelmed with time constraints and ideas, it still comes out brilliantly.
It works, and like, I mean, I get certain people's criticisms about like decisions, like some decisions don't feel right, but it's like
and
the point
that
is
true.
sometimes the point is that you can't stop something from happening no matter how hard you try.
Things are out of your control.
Like there are meaningful decisions. Like I think Season 2's multiple endings thing is like a fucking fantastic idea for awesome. Replayability, and like it's a shame that 3 shit the bed, but like the amount of possibilities that could have opened up.
Yeah.
And like God, I fucking love Kenny. I just love, and it's like even with Jane and Kenny, there's still an argument to be had about which one to pick, and like I feel like no other game kind of has that level of the final confrontation isn't about an outside element. It's not about an outside threat, like whether it's zombies or if it's like an outside bad guy. Like the final confrontation is within the group.
And also it doesn't even involve the main character in the sense of direct.
Not really, no.
You're an observer of an event that you have no control over. That is out of your hands.
And I always love stories which are about like factions within one united kind of like tearing apart each other, like a civil war kind of narrative of we were united in the past, but now something has fractured on the inside. And I like the allegiances, the lines being drawn. And yes, there are moments where it feels like, is this realistically how someone happened? Russian gangsters coming out of nowhere? Yeah, a little odd.
Yeah.
Were the ideas of including the 400 days guys better? Yes. Yeah. Was having Luke versus Kenny a better idea? Yes. But even with that in mind, I still think with what they did, it's fucking crazy good. And the atmosphere, dude. Like this, I genuinely listened to the soundtrack of this game because the soundtrack is fucking incredible. Like the environment, I love. I cannot stress like
it's the saddest season.
Absolutely, and it's not. And I'm not.
It's depressing. Depressing's a better word than sad for this.
And it doesn't. To me, it doesn't feel like it's depressing for the sake of depressing. It feels like this is a natural evolution of where the first game left off.
For real.
Like it's not like they're trying to make something that could have been more lighthearted and gone, oh, let's just make this depressing for the sake of it. Because they did. Like we said, there was a dark version of like their fucked up concepts, and then they knew, oh fuck, this is just dark for the sake of it. So then they made something that feels more. I don't know, man. It has a magic, bro.
There is something. Yeah, I like how you sort of explain it as being unexplainable, because there's some feelings associated with games that you can't put into words.
It's a feeling you get, and
because you play it and you just feel this sort of, whether it be nostalgic or magical, enchanting feeling that you never get from another game. You can't put it into words,
and
because it's so unexplainable.
It tailors from person to person, right? Like, there's something about like the depressing nature of it, like the rain, the music. Like I love the cold. Like I love the cold in media. Like the cold is a perfect, and the cold works so well. It's a
pathetic fallacy, isn't it?
Very well remembered from English classes.
Yes.
But like it's a perfect allegory for this kind of creeping sense of dread, and like how, and it's like a slow decline. I fucking love all of it, and the environments. I love rural Ozark America with like the pine trees. Like that's my favorite type of environment.
Or just the pure wilderness,
or like just that type of wilderness with like the pine trees and the mountains and the rain and the snow.
The
desolate nature of it.
Yeah.
I fucking love. I'm sorry, I'm going on a bit, but
what's your favourite episode and least favourite episode then?
Fucking Christ.
You're gonna have to pick a least favourite episode.
Shit. This is genuinely hard for me.
What, really? Episode 4 should just be instantly.
No, I like it.
The worst.
No, I like it.
Yeah, it's fine to like it, but you like it more than episodes 1, 2, 3, and 5. Like Carver's Place. Episode 2 is when you're at the ski lodge. Episode 1 is where, well, yes, the beginning. Episode 5 is obviously episode 5 is your favourite, right?
Conflicted. Because 5 is really fucking good. But it's like it could have been better, right? But the first episode is perfect on its own, and it would have stayed the same. Like I feel like with 1 they got their vision for it, and same with 2.
Yeah.
Like with shooting Matthew and like the ski lodge bit.
Yeah.
But no, I think 5's probably the best one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then worst.
It's gotta be 4, bro.
I like 4, but I guess 4.
Yeah.
Just because 4 doesn't have
I was.
It doesn't
I
have
was,
a clear path. It doesn't have a clear idea of identity of what it wants to
Well,
be.
that's kind of the point of it. Is the idea that the characters don't know what they're going to do, so it's kind of directionless in its aim, which I like, and I like it. And yeah, some shit with the stuff with Jail, where like she says, but then again, that kind of plays into the role of some things are inevitable in this post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think three's is kind of slow for me when I replay it, because I've replayed the game multiple times. 3 is probably the slowest for me, just because it's a lot of like you're in the courtyard going to a thing, walking around. But like Carver is definitely helps tie everything together and maybe like
Keeps it
a
interesting.
bit above 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think 4's the worst. But 4 being the worst for me is like it's still fucking incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's it. Those are our rankings.
That's our retrospective, bro.
Yeah, it goes for me. Final ranking goes from worst to best. It goes 3, 4, 1, 2.
Yeah, and for me it goes 3, 1, 2, 4.
Shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so like, yeah, that's I think that's everything. We're not going to cover Michonne just because there isn't much.
No.
Like brief thoughts. I thought it was pretty decent.
That was our retrospective on our favourite game of all time. I presume it's your favourite game of all time.
It's not even my favorite game of all time. It's
Well,
one of the best.
my favourite
series.
game of all time. One of
of mine.
But yeah, but then again, you are an established gamer.
I'm an established gamer.
You game a lot more than
That's
me,
like a
so that makes
derogatory
sense.
slur.
No,
Calling me an established gamer.
there's nothing wrong with that.
This is labeling me a loser.
No.
You're an established gamer. Fuck that. But no, like we had a lot of. It was a pain in the ass. It was slow. It was a slog.
It was definitely a slog. I mean, together I think everything is like what? How many
This
hours?
was done
like
on
20 hours altogether.
Like an
probably?
insane length of time, and this was done on a whim. Like literally, I remember you were going on a rant about the book, and then I was just like, okay, let's
get this
up.
done. Let's get.
And it is now
our
taken
thoughts
months to get this done. But
yeah,
I hope if anybody is insane enough to have listened to all of this, like good on you.
I appreciate you.
Leave a
We make jokes, but like I actually appreciate.
Leave a comment saying Frodo got the ring, and then we'll know that you made it this far. Frodo got the ring, and then if you say your comment and then put Frodo got the ring.
Yeah, but then our comments are gonna like. But I'd rather comment that to highlight that you got this far.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying just comment
Yeah,
that. I'm
but
saying
also comment
put it on an
any
intended.
thoughts you have. I know it sounds cringe, but like actually comment your fucking
Opinion.
rankings
That's what I'm saying.
and give like justification, not massive justification, not 5 hours worth of blah blah blah. But
Just
like,
give us your opinion.
Yeah, give us a brief rundown on what you thought of it because
this is kind of like a small community of very passionate fans.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
always interesting.
like
to hear other people's
I've browsed the Reddit and other Walking Dead related pages, but I've never really been a part of them. I never posted anything. I just sort of observe from the corner.
For Ed's sake, get him some Walking Dead friends. Not friends.
I just think it would be nice to talk.
to have a conversation.
Yeah, like imagine we just get like into a
Debate
back-to-back
about
chat
someone
with someone.
else's-
Yeah, like
But yeah, I think that's
and always friendly debates when it comes to this. Okay, your opinions are completely
Except if
valid
you're a season
unless season 3 is anywhere but your bottom placed season.
In fairness, though, I would actually find it fascinating how somebody would try to justify.
Yeah, no, actually, yeah. Go ahead, like you will not do anything to change our minds regarding season 3.
Who
but
knows?
but I think it would be intriguing.
It won't change position in seasons, but maybe
no.
I'll see it
But
slightly.
it might be intriguing to just see someone else's
From perspective.
viewpoint. You know.
So yeah, you leave comments and make sure to hit that bell button. I don't know if we'll do anything like this again, but if we do,
Subscribe and put those bell notifications on.
make sure to smash like. Go to my Patreon page. We don't have a Patreon,
Not yet.
but no, God no.
Not yet, guys.
But I think this will be like one of the last big ones, and then we'll see about doing a tier list, like a character tier list.
Yeah.
But like
Well,
we'll
cause
have to set things
cause
up.
that could be interesting.
But yeah, thanks for watching.
Thank you for thank you for listening.
Yeah, I love you.
I really need that.
I want to.
I feel a
hold
connection.
you.
I feel a connection with you.
Unless you're underage, but if you're,
yeah.
of age, like I love you, I want to be with you, I want to marry you. You know, like we have something. Genuinely, who else can say on the planet that they've listened to this exact audio?
That's right.
You've become a part of a very exclusive club. The 0.000000001%.
It's like going onto
a
a pebbly beach and picking up a stone, thinking, "Hey,
No,
I might
you're
be
the only person
who's
who's ever touched the stone.
You might be the only person
You've
who ever
turned
watches
over
this
this
apart
stone.
from us. Yeah, you
Yeah.
turned over that stone.
Take that with you.
Think of the unfathomable size of the internet, right? From the different social media platforms to then delving into
the billions of videos.
Respective platforms, and yeah, looking at the videos and the accounts, you have made your way to something that
It's genuinely 1 in a billion.
yeah. 1 in 7. 1 in how many people in the world are there? Nearly 8 billion.
But there's probably more YouTube videos than that even.
One in
10 billion.
100 billion.
100 billion.
Chance of you being.
And
here
you're
today.
here.
And you're here. And
I
you
love
made
you,
it.
And I want to be with you.
Yeah. And we respect you.
And make sure to mail UKIP flags to Brighton University and then put Edward on them.
I'm just gonna clear up. I'm not a UKIP supporter.
What if they turn off after I say that and don't do it, but it's been too long?
In fact, I'm actually I'm not going to get into my political beliefs.
We'll go for another 6 hours.
that would lead on to something completely else.
No, but yeah. Anyway, yeah.
I'm not right wing.
He's very right wing.
No,
Thanks for watching, and
goodbye.
And goodbye. No, that's fucking stupid. Okay.
Stop.
All right. See y'all in the next video.
That's the last video.
Anyway, okay. Bye.
Bye.